Yo, so the story kicks off with some creepy chanting echoing in this dusty old palace. You got a whole crowd worshipping their supreme god like fanatics bowing and scraping on the floor. The so-called god sits there looking all high and mighty confident as hell. But guess what? Inside, the dude is freaking out, total panic mode. His face is pale as a sheet, sweating bullets. Like, wasn't I just at the office? How did I end up in this hellhole? After using some big brain modern logic, only one answer makes sense. I got ISEKAI'D. Time to use the old noggin. My name's Ash Heath and this body belongs to Ash Heath. Seriously. Talk about lazy writing. I transmigrated into someone with the exact same name, realizing that I give my ankle a little twist. Next second, boom, grinning like an idiot, imagining some sweet rose-colored fantasy life waiting for me. But that lasted like half a second. Panic is back because oops, zero memories of the original owner. Great. Guess I just gotta roll with it and assume these creeps think I'm some child of the other world. The guy who wiped out the soul of the holy son Heath. Looking at these freaks, my fear level just doubled. Suddenly, the 4 statues light up like a Christmas tree. Not just that you got 4 flashy colors dancing around in the sky, mixed with all the chanting buzzing in my ears. Out of nowhere, my body betrays me and I drop to my knees. Without a word, those 4 lights come straight at me. Then they show up one by one. First is the Lord of Infinite Light, boss of combat, courage, and glory. Next up, the King of Wind, Rain, and Snow, ruler of strategy, transformation, and destiny. Then comes the Eternal Burning Heart in charge of life, equality, and sharing. And the last one, a totally smoking hot figure, a free dream spirit governing love, pleasure, and art. I get all excited and just absorb the whole lot of him. The mob down below keeps cheering like crazy, seeing that I can't help but bust out laughing. Ha ha ha. But the party doesn't last long. Suddenly, boom, a loud crash from outside. My so-called loyal brothers are losing their minds. I just give a cocky smirk, and with a rush of adrenaline, Ash draws the sword. A voice booms from the ceiling, followed by the sound of cracking stone. Hunters swarm in from above like roaches. But Ash Heath, zero fear. Still keeping that badass attitude down to every last hair on his leg. The soul powers start manifesting strength, wisdom, life, and pleasure. Ash Heath gasps, damn, that is some terrifying power. With the blessing of the gods, I become this strong. I raise the sword flames, swirling around it and say with a cold, sharp look, what should I name my first move in this world? Every pose is a new technique. Domain expansion, Getsuga, Tenshu breath of reincarnation. Smirking as the attack launches. Gotta stay humble, just a normal slash, nothing special. Ash Heath looks at the slash in awe. Is this void-shattering sword energy? Only seen this stuff in anime and games. I'm patting myself on the back for being so OP. Suddenly, a guy with a sly grin and white hair flies down from above. Just like that, he raises his sword and slices right through the move Ash Heath just pulled. Rocks explode everywhere. The ground gets ripped in half. Nobody can handle the pressure. Everyone hits the dirt. Ash Heath goes down with them. How I've got the blessings of 4 freaking gods. The images of the 4 gods dissolve into smoke. Ash Heath hits the ground hard, shattering the stone floor. Ouch, that hurts. Eyes wide open, terrified, and in total disbelief. What the hell just happened? Why was I acting like that? I'm just a normal dude who just got here. I don't know jack about what's going on. Why did I get so cocky jumping into a fight that has nothing to do with me? That is not how a corporate slave beaten down by society for years acts. A voice cuts through the silence. Gerald Westminster from the Crime Hunting Bureau, Gerald Westminster. Hunter ID 307791. The Bureau suspects you're involved in spreading the 4 Pillars cult along with kidnapping, murder, robbery, and other serious crimes. Got any problem with how we enforce the law? If so, feel free to visit the reception desk at the Enlightenment Branch at the Crime Hunting Bureau number 233 Citizen Avenue to file a complaint or email the mayor directly. Turns out the guy who just unleashed that insane power is the Gerald Westminster. He's huge with these bicolored wings on his back. One side is white, the other is a mix of shimmering pink and purple, plus there's this extra wing glowing gold. Holding a piece of paper in my face, he adds, you really got some nerve, kid. You barely have 4 chaotic 2-winged spirits, which aren't even yours, and you think you can take on a 3-winged sanctuary rank like me. The handcuffs click tight around Ash Heath's wrists. You're under arrest, cult leader Ash Heath. Now he's holding an info board standing in front of a height chart. He looks totally clueless, like a deer in headlights. That day, I made an excellent contribution to the city's security, mainly because that was the day I got busted by the Bureau. Ash Heath is getting grilled. Name Ash Heath. Age 24. He looks blank. Dunno, I lost my memory. Gender. He actually checks his pants to be sure. Let's see. Male. Race. Ash Heath throws his hands up helplessly. Probably not a dog. I seriously don't know my past. Total amnesia. Hunter Amy is shaking with rage. Suddenly, a guy with glasses and side-swept hair speaks up. Captain, this scumbag thinks the Bureau is full of idiots. That interrogation style won't work. Let me handle it. The glasses guy keeps bragging. Back in school, I studied interrogation with my dad in my free time. I even passed the level 1 interrogator exam. I swear on my father's name I'll make this bastard confess to everything, even the time he wet the bed as a kid. Over on the side, the Gerald Westminster sighs, just burned that certificate already. You think the revised human rights law is just for decoration? The council is watching us like hawks. If Ash Heath even sleeps poorly tonight, we're in deep trouble. Amy turns around and asks, where's the memory mage? We've had him for ages. Why hasn't anyone come to extract this creep's memories yet? The Gerald Westminster crosses his arms. The memory mage isn't coming. Why? For a huge case like this, we need extracted memories as evidence, right? But he's different. Different how? The hunter explains. He's seen the four-pillar gods. Not just him, but no cultist is allowed to undergo memory extraction. Memory corruption is the four-pillar god's signature move. Check this. Back in the Four Pillars cult case I worked on 134 years ago, a memory master extracted a cultist's memories and boom, accidentally became a believer without even knowing it. That's exactly why this Four Pillars cult keeps rising from the ashes. It just won't quit. Amy's tail is wagging with pure rage, ears popping out all twitchy. So what's the plan? Gonna let this guy walk free? Or is it time for some special handling for a special case? No need to treat Ash Heath like a VIP. Asking questions gets zero evidence, interrogation fails, and extracting memories is a no-go. It's enough to make you explode. The hunter suggests a specific death penalty, perfect for a villain with crimes so huge they make the whole city scream in rage. Honestly, this interrogation, just a total formality. The real trial happens at 8 p.m. on the 15th, conducted by the entire city population. Still, makes my blood boil just thinking about it. Amy stomps out of the interrogation room, throwing back one last line, I'm furious, you deal with it. The hunter pauses and says, wait a sec. 15 minutes later, the Four Eyes replies, got it. Inside, Ash Heath complains about being thirsty. After 15 minutes, they have to pause for a suspect break. Human rights laws, Ash Heath grabs the water, chugging it down like wow tasty. And hey, the wound's actually healed. Magical. The hunter watches from outside thinking weird. For some reason, it feels like this guy isn't lying. The panic, the curiosity, the fear, the confusion. It all looks legit. Like a regular person who actually lost their memory. According to human rights laws, stuff like split personalities, amnesia, or mental disorders count as incapacitated, meaning no criminal responsibility. Get out of jail free card. If a memory extraction proves Ash Heath really is an amnesiac, the verdict could be innocent. Immediate release. But hey, that drama has nothing to do with me. Since this involves the Four Pillars gods, no memory master is allowed near that brain. Period. Too risky. So judging this mess is up to the public. Our job is just dragging the prisoner onto the stage. The hunter turns around, walking away. Time to hunt the next one. Ash Heath is totally daydreaming, imagining life as a beloved knight. Thinking I'm the hero leaving the starter village, getting praised by all the cute girls. Oh hero, you're so cool, I love you. Yeah, right. Turns out the reality is being a cult leader who just got angel investment funding for a startup. Goal, let's flip the world upside down. Or maybe wow, Mr. Cult Leader is so cool. While getting farmed by a mob of heroes like some wild elite boss. Ash Heath grimaces, staring in painful disbelief. Heartbroken, the guy groans. Transmigrating into a cult leader. Fine, whatever. But seriously, why now I show up right when the hunters are tightening the net? Did I just respawn here to be free XP for them? Dark circles under the eyes, wrists crushed by handcuffs. Ash Heath sits there helpless, looking at the accusation files. Yup, definitely a legit cult leader. The real deal, 100%. And do the accusation files really need high-res illustrations? Gross. Almost puked up that mushroom chicken noodle soup from lunch. Turns out the hunters are actually the good guys. Great. So how are they going to execute me? Because let's be real, I'm dead meat. Even if the interrogation was surprisingly polite with free food and a fancy private room. It feels like a company retreat bonus after closing a big deal. But still, shaking off the doom and gloom, a spark of hope lights up. Face beaming, thinking, hey, maybe they abolished the death penalty. Judging by the vibe here, maybe there's a chance. Suddenly, a light flashes behind the neck. What's that noise? The back of the neck burns up. Panic sets in. What the hell is this? Message from Mr. Ash Heath, criminal number 4023. Kaiman City Hall cordially invites you to appear as a special guest, specifically for the live broadcast of Blood Moon Judgment, airing at 8 p.m. on the 15th of this month on Kaiman Channel 1. Please mind your appearance and attire. An escort will bring you to the studio. To opt out, reply with TC. Wait, is this a notification text? But what is this? Blood Moon Judgment. The name alone screams bad news. Curious Ash Heath taps the keyboard to type TC. System reply TC. You are currently under emergency arrest and review. Messaging function disabled. Ash Heath loses it. So that last part was just trolling me, right? Ash Heath gives up on life and flops onto the bed. Depressed, thinking I can operate this just by focusing my mind. No hands needed. Okay, that's actually pretty convenient. Device name Ash Heath's consciousness screen version 14.4.1. Chip code Miracle 13. Current status messaging banned. Network connection banned. Channel access banned. Recording banned. Kinetic energy output restricted. Virtual realm access banned. Magic output banned. Main account code 459105198. Service provider Kmon Spirit Link. So this light screen really is the smartphone of this world. Makes sense. I mean, it even receives death sentence notifications. I thought this was my special Isekai cheat, but nope, it's just standard issue gear. Everyone has one. Might as well rename it to Ash Heath's consciousness screen. Everything cool is blocked. I'm stuck with the calendar notes and calculator. Even Minesweeper would be nice right now. Suddenly, Ash Heath notices something. There's actually one working app left, Aurora's Sorcerer Manual. Wait, what? How did this thing come with me? Aurora tried to create a game that stands out. Flashback to the modern world back when he was just an office drone. Ash Heath, listen to me. This has to be unique. Okay, Sorcerer Manual is going to be huge. This game we made, absolute fire. I'm hyping it to the moon. The planning manager even broke protocol to let him lead a small team. You have full control over operations and planning for this new title. Now get to work and make it snappy. You got it, boss? I'll work overtime to clear the backlog, then grind out the draft. Ash Heath lies there, remembering his days as a corporate slave for the capitalists back home. Come to think of it, I downloaded the demo for Sorcerer Manual to study it. Never even got to play it, though. I was pulling an all-nighter and bam, got transported here. He shoots up from the bed. Something's off. Why did a mobile game travel with me? And it auto-installed on the consciousness screen. Is this my cheat code? Dragging the icon to the top. Well, it looks way more hopeful than the other garbage apps. Come on, bring me a miracle. Activate. A red screen pops up. Aurora's Sorcerer Manual is launching. Checking for game updates. Network connection failed. Automatically switching to local network mode. Warning, visual system lost. Repair in progress. Warning, dungeon system lost. Repair in progress. Warning, system data lost. Repair in progress. Ash just froze there, burying my face in my hands, totally helpless. Figures. There's no signal anyway. Suddenly, a ding rang out, and my eyes lit up like a galaxy of stars. Top-up system initiating normally. Welcome to the Sorcerer's Manual. Login successful. I cussed out loud in frustration. Damn it. As long as the gacha and payment systems work, the game runs fine. Typical of my company, honestly. I tried tapping the only two buttons that actually worked. The screen immediately popped up prices for diamond packages. I pointed at the screen, jaw dropped, eyes wide. The payment screen is actually here. Ash angrily threw the screen to the ground, swinging my arms while screaming. This is an internal demo for staff testing. Why the hell did they build a payment system? My wallet didn't get transported with me. Where am I supposed to get money to pay? Do they want to claw back the salary they just paid us? Company would totally pull something like that. Let's try the other one. I didn't give up, picking it back up to try another way. Single search. 10 searches. Failed again. I was helpless and furious, cursing out loud as I slammed the screen onto the ground again. You gotta be kidding me. It's a test demo and you want money for the first gacha pull. Who made this shameless mobile game? I really want to try pulling some cards, but I'm broke. Ash felt super depressed, turning away in despair. Since my company made it, I guess that's just how it is. A ding-dong sound rang out, bringing my joy back instantly. Daily check-in system repair successful. Daily check-in system repair successful. Connecting to main server. Connection to main server failed. Automatically switching to local network mode. Logging in for attendance, check purchasing supplies. Searching for agents with cumulative attendance in April. Check-in successful. Ash sat there studying the daily reward system. 1 Origin Crystal awarded for the first newbie check-in. 1 10-pull agent search ticket used to search for high-value targets in bulk. Can perform 10 searches at once and is guaranteed to find at least 1 agent. So basically, it's the newbie gift of 10 free gacha pulls. If I pull an agent, can they come out and help me fight? Screw it, I'll take the gamble. I clicked on the system service. It's a Hail Mary pass now. Wait, go back. I clasped my hands together, bowing up and down like crazy. Buddha bless me, Buddha bless me. Mother Earth, please protect your child. God bless me. Amen. I blew a breath onto my thumb for luck and smashed the button. Can I survive the Blood Moon Judgment next week? I'm counting on you. I peeked at the text: Stamina Potion Experience Potion Violet Berserker Sword Stress. Low-level combat experience card practice wooden sword. I jumped up in pure joy. It actually dropped agent system repair successful. You can now manage the agents you own. Sonia, human female, 20 years old. Intimacy level 0. Shares 30% experience. Class sorcerer student. Class trait learning effect plus 5%. Innate talent junior swordstress. Receives an extra 100% sword technique experience. There is a low probability of receiving 10,000% sword technique experience. Higher levels unlock as strength increases. Personal skill, Black Heart's Eye. Stifles all danger in the cradle. When an enemy intends to attack, there is a certain probability of an automatic counterattack based on the power difference between the two sides. Owned items, none. Spirit control, none. Water school, not learned. Nurture strategy, not set. Man, why does this thing write so much useless junk? Isn't she just a blank slate beauty with nothing to show for it? And what part of this is Violet or Berserker? Ash couldn't take it anymore and smacked the screen hard. If the first character I pulled is trash, I could accept that. But if I can't summon the agent into the real world to help me fight, then what is the point of pulling cards I cursed while stomping on the screen a few times? In a few days, I'm heading to the execution ground to become a KPI stat for the executioner. This mobile game isn't even helping me escape this mess. Are you forcing me to log in every day before I die just to boost traffic for this trash game? Truly typical of my company. The free starter character can't even be used right away. I have to raise her slowly. Modern life is way too fast for that. If you don't give players instant gratification, how will it work? I should have been the one planning this project. Even I could do better. Suddenly, I noticed a red dot. Is there another agent? I hesitated, wondering if I should tap it. But not clicking it feels so annoying. Let's see. A guy appeared on the screen. It's someone with black hair wearing armor and a hood. The Observer. This appearance. This is me. The outfit is exactly what I wore before. Intermediate Observer. The cultists called me that too. Plus, both the Sorcerer's Manual and the Otherworld's Soul are hinting at my current situation. Wait a minute. I have a talent that shares experience with other agents. Going back to the agent list, the Swordstress shares 30% experience. If I'm guessing right. As long as I raise Sonya in the game, the stronger the Swordstress gets, the stronger I become. This might be my only chance to break out of prison. 2 stamina potions, 2 experience potions. A practice wooden sword, a basic combat card, 2 trial cards. All the loot is for nurturing. This is perfect. But why is there an extra note on the back of this combat experience card? The danger level is that low. Ash felt surprised. Apparently, raising a character involves a lot of details to watch out for. Sonya, current mood, 5. No experience bonus. Actions available. Rest Entertainment Training Challenge. Daily action points for this week, 2 points. I can use a stamina potion to add 1 action point. So that's how it is. I have to account for the agent's mood too. What a truly humane raising system, gotta give the designer a like. I poked the female character on the screen and chose to give her some water. The better the agent's mood, the higher the training efficiency. Daily action points for this week, 3 points. Challenge categories for this week. Training combat sword technique. You need reasonable relaxation, balancing work and rest. That is the core of education. Is the girl on the screen crying out of fear because of too much training time? Seeing that, Ash sighed and said, I'm about to be executed any minute now. I don't have time to care about the mood of a paper character like you. Just work hard for my sake. I haven't even started and I already got a penalty. Action points -3. A bunch of questions pop up in front of Ash. Confirm training strategy. Activate the spectator's innate talent to enroll Sonya and the Sorcerer's Handbook. Confirm enrollment for Sonya and the Sorcerer's Handbook. Heads up, this can't be undone. System alert. Agent activation successful. Training in progress. Scheduling. Building the challenge stage. Missing scene resources. Auto-filling now. Found a good spot, taking over. Missing a target. Auto-filling. Found one. Drawing lots. Ash sits there hugging knees, totally spaced out. Is this really enough? Too exhausted to care, just face plants and passes out. Meanwhile, 3 hours away, some girl hits the sack early for beauty sleep. Skincare is life, right? Suddenly wakes up smack in the middle of a dream. The dream's some rocky wasteland. Still totally confused, then spots someone slumped under a rock, impaled by a sword. Teleported to a floating island surrounded by thick fog. Sonya walks to the edge, dipping a hand in the water. Tastes it. Salty. Nope, sweet. Definitely a dream. But why? Turning back to look at the guy with a sword through the heart, slumped under that rock. Weird to dream about a corpse never seen before. Curiosity kicks in. Who's this guy? Why crash this dream? Reaching out to pull the sword free. Gotta admit, this blade totally matches the aesthetic. Fits the hand perfectly too. Like it was custom made, just a tad heavy. Too busy checking out the loot to notice the noise behind until the corpse's hand moves. The guy's struggling to grab the rock. Sonya freaks out. What the hell are you? The guy staggers up, dragging feet closer. I'm the spectator. Call me that. Chill out, sword maiden. Not an enemy this time. Spectator's eyes glow red, grinning like a maniac. I'm just the guy who's gonna kill you. Sonya panics, raising the sword to block. Your definition of not an enemy is pretty twisted. What's the goal here? Spectator gets into a stance, sword ready. For the next 72 hours, the only way out is beating me, pulling out a shiny blade. Otherwise, stuck here for the full 72. A sharp slash zooms past Sonya's wide eyes. 10 seconds rest. Terrified hands fly to the neck. What just happened? Neck slashed. Isn't this a dream? Why does it hurt like hell? Spectator laughs. The difference. Reality is a dream everyone weaves together. A dream is just a cage you built for yourself. 10 seconds up. Spectator strikes again. A lightning-fast flash grazes Sonya. 10 seconds rest. Better grip that sword tight. Only way to die with a shred of dignity. Without thinking, Sonya takes a deep breath and dives straight into the water, swimming deep, cheeks puffed out. Gonna slash the whole ocean, Spectator sneers. Running away, embarrassing, and totally useless. Sonya flails underwater, running out of air. Swims back up. Weird. It's a dream, so why the suffocation? Only surfaced for 2 seconds. No way he saw that fast. The sword crashes down right where Sonya is. 10 seconds rest. Sword in the ground. Sonya standing there looking stupid. Third time now. After getting slashed twice, touches the chin confused. Chin still attached. Didn't it just get blown off? A voice rings out. Expecting something, think tossing the sword leaves me unarmed. After dying over and over, still that naive, Sonya snaps furious. You're being totally unreasonable. Spectator taunts. Reason belongs to the blade. Persuade me with yours, she screams. Spectator. He tilts his chin. Want to cut the break short. Fine by me. Sonya rushes over, hugging his leg, turning on the charm. Oh, great benevolent lord of the unknown. Sonya will pray day and night, listen to every word, praise the miracles. Just stop the torture, please. Just say what you want. I'm good. I listen. Whatever it is, I'll do it. He laughs. Really? Anything? Sonya nods hard. All right. I order you, defeat me. 10 seconds rest. A slash whips past. Reset to Sonya and the sword stuck in the ground. Sonya snaps, totally losing it. No way, I never did anything to you. Why waste time on a nobody like me? There's tons of actual villains out there. You want to punish evil? I can give you a list. Walking closer, clasping hands, begging. And if you're the bad guy, I know some high-ranking phonies who deserve it way more. I'm just a normal student. Totally not worth this much effort. Flips hair pouting. Just say what you want. Look at me, I'm just a delicate flower. Easily crushed, just drifting through life. Spectator cuts in. You're wrong. Wrong where? Tell me, I'll fix it. The first thing you said was wrong. The first thing. He draws the sword again. How can you be so sure I never did anything to you? 10 seconds rest. Slash. Back to square one. Sonya's officially over it. Sits down, chin in hand, hopeless. So I just survived 72 hours and I wake up from this nightmare. Yep, but no clocks here. 72 hours is nothing in a lifetime. But when you're dying, it's an eternity. Think you can handle 72 hours of constant death and rebirth. Also, why trust the guy killing you in a dream? What if I'm lying? Let's say you actually wake up tonight. What about tomorrow? The night after, Spectator swings the blade. If you've tasted death, stop hoping for miracles. Unlike the previous times, the scene didn't reset. Sonya actually fought back, gripping the blade tight to block that slash. Spectator, you left me no choice. A deep voice echoed off the cliffs. You get 10 seconds to catch your breath. Sonya swung the sword, calculating. The Spectator doesn't have any superpowers. Heck, even physical stats aren't better than mine. I've heard about sword masters who reach the peak. Just a casual swing from them feels like needles stabbing your back. Just gripping the hilt is enough to make the weak wet themselves. Sonya sized up the guy standing across from her. Compared to real monsters, the Spectator's just a guy who's handy with a blade. She stared him down. Face darkening, Sonya smirked. Healed in a blink, huh? Talk about a fair fight. She charged, eyes cold. 10 seconds are up. Seeing the Spectator's stance and draw speed, Sonya figured it out. Here it comes. First move is always a quick draw. Sonya swung with everything she had. Thinking fast, quick draw hits hard. It's heavy and solid, but if I move fast enough, I can block it. Clashing blades, she kept calculating. Gotcha. She slashed decisively. Right there, the blind spot, sensing something off. The Spectator kicked off the ground. Just as Sonya's construct move unleashed, the Spectator dodged. Sonya spun to finish the motion. Missed the target, but didn't let it get to her. She figured it out. Sudden dodge. That's not a superpower. Just combat footwork. Suddenly, Sonya stomped her bare feet into the sand. Catching the Spectator off guard, she yelled, "Didn't see that coming, did ya?" As the Spectator swung, Sonya smirked. "I've been waiting for this moment," she said coldly. "Died so many times. Even a pig would have memorized your moves by now." Sonya unleashed the critical hit she'd been saving up fierce as hell. Your own combo, construct plus quick draw right back at you. The blade cut clean through the Spectator, leaving a huge gash. But before she could celebrate, the wound started closing. Closed up like nothing happened. Sonya tensed up. "So, I take it I won." Cold as ice. The Spectator replied, "Yeah, congrats." Sonya let out a breath, but then came the follow-up. "You successfully beat the version of me using only one sword." Sonya froze, confused. Then she saw the Spectator's sword move. Grabbing the blade, the Spectator switched stances. Round one over. Round two starts now. Chin up, the Spectator declared. And guess what? No 10-second break this time. Voices pulled Sonya out of the dream eyes, heavy from lack of sleep. "Sonya, hey, Sonya, early class today. You skipping?" Clutching a splitting headache, Sonya sat up. "What time is it?" Ingrid answered while packing a bag. 7:30. "Joined class this morning." At the door, Ingrid looked back a bit worried. Usually, for morning joint class, you're up an hour early. For skincare and makeup, everyone else already left. You look kinda wrecked. Sonia, hair a mess, mumbled back. What's up, Nightmare? Ingrid called out, while leaving Nightmare's fade fast. Just get to class, don't skip or they'll dock dorm points. The door slammed shut. Sonia sat there, dazed for a sec, then shook it off. Time to wash up, brush teeth, make up hair. Ready to go. Sonia rushed to class, sneaking into a seat while the teacher lectured passionately, pretending to take notes. But Sonia was zoning out. A dream. Then why do I remember every detail? She recalled, the spectator's cryptic smile at the end. The trial is over, but your life is just beginning. Sonia gripped the pen hard enough to crack it, teeth gritted. That sure as hell wasn't a blessing. She fumed silently. Spectator. I won't let you control my life. I just got my life back on track. Meanwhile, in a luxury VIP cell at the bottom of Broken Lake Prison, in Kaiman City, Ash woke up, wrists chained, crawling out of bed, shaking. Why am I so sore? Feels like I got beat up in my sleep. Ash stared at the screen. Game still running. Squinting at the weird text mumbles, was it in background mode? Why is there another red notification dot trying to kill my OCD? Clicking the red text, the character on screen cheered. Trial past, bond with Sonia has deepened. Ash's eyes went wide. Setting up challenges increases the bond. Sweet Ash plonked down, relieved and smug. Good thing I already planned her next steps. Stick to the script, Sword Maiden. I'm a genius. Elsewhere, Sonia bit her lip, clutching her chest in pain. The lecturer called out, is something wrong? Student Sonia. She stood up hesitantly. So before a warlock enters the void realm, they must summon at least one spirit to open the door of truth via the spirit. The lecturer looked impressed. Spot on. Very thorough. Take your seat. Sonia nodded politely. Thank you, sir. Behind her, classmates started whispering. My goddess is amazing. I woke up early just to get a closer look at her. That voice. Sounds so good. Totally sounds like a TV host. The lecturer's voice boomed again. Remember this logic chain. High chance this is on the exam. Sonia focused on her book. Brief intro, I'm Sonia Sagi. From a village in the Starry Kingdom so poor it's not even on the map. Thanks to the miracle bracelet the state gave out for free, I finished all the basic education modules. I was the first person from my hometown in like 20 years to get into the Sword and Rose Sorcerer Academy of Gallus. Everyone just calls it Sword and Rose Uni. When I first got here, those snobs were whispering and staring like, ew, how'd a hillbilly get into our school? I just ignored them and kept walking. But the second she was alone, that lonely feeling hit hard. Cecilia clenched her fists. She threw on that uniform perfectly. Over the next few days, I learned how to do my makeup and style my clothes fast. Took me less than a month to fix my country accent too. Even the professors were impressed with my grades. Since I'm hot, I snag a bunch of part-time jobs without letting my grades slip. Between the scholarships and my paycheck, I started making connections. I got involved in everything. Last year, I even emceed a bunch of school events and my popularity skyrocketed. People basically treated me like the face of the 67th class. Walking out the gate, Cecilia reached out her empty hand like she was trying to grab something. She looked back at her past and smirked, thinking, if happiness exists in this world, why shouldn't I have it? She stepped out of the gate and saw a familiar figure down the road. She froze for a sec, then ran over yelling, Mom, what are you doing standing out here like an idiot? Why didn't you go stand in the shade? You'll get heat stroke. Her mom looked at her sounding guilty-eyed. I was afraid you wouldn't see me, Sonia Sagi. Hearing that name made her snap. How many times do I have to tell you? It's Cecilia, not Sonia Sagi. Her mom looked down, flustered. Sorry, I forgot again. She paused, then whispered, maybe we shouldn't go into the city. Don't want to waste your money. I saw a park on the way here. Cecilia cut her off, grabbing her hand. No way. You barely ever get to visit Gallus. Let me show you around the capital. Just listen to me today, okay? She practically shoved her mom onto the bus. The bus zoomed past the school, heading straight for downtown. Yeah, I changed my name to Cecilia. Linda is a name for maids and waitresses, not me. I'm Sonia Sagi now. From the first day I stepped foot in Gallus, I saw the clean streets, the towering skyscrapers, the luxury cars speeding by the polite, civilized people, the giant screens playing propaganda 24/7. I knew right then if I'm gonna die, I'm dying in this city. And the only reason I made it here is because of Martha, my mom. Cecilia looked at her with soft eyes, remembering her dad, that useless drunk who was always angry for no reason. He drank himself to death when I was little. It was all Martha. She raised me. Because she worked her butt off, I could actually study instead of slaving away in some factory. All the other kids back home had to work in the factories from dawn till dusk. Their only entertainment was watching the Meteor Channel, the only channel we could get out in the sticks, just wasting their lives away in that small town. But now I've got a scholarship and job money. I want Mom to enjoy the good life too. She took Martha everywhere shopping for clothes, trying to take her to fancy restaurants. But Martha kept refusing, terrified of spending money. Scene change. Cecilia sat there silently sipping water with a serious face, then took a bite of bread. They were sitting in the park. thinking she had to finish the bread her mom brought or to go to waste. As the sun went down, Cecilia took her to the bus station. I bought your ticket. It's linked to your bracelet, okay? Just scan it at the gate. Martha looked at her daughter with such gentle eyes. You're so smart, Cecilia. I don't understand any of this high-tech stuff. She waved goodbye. Watching her walk away, Cecilia's eyes started to water. Without thinking, she stepped forward and put a hand on Martha's shoulder. Her mom turned around. Stay the night, Mom. I don't have class tomorrow. We can hang out one more day. She looked at her mom, hoping. When Martha didn't say anything, Cecilia added, one day, I'm gonna bring you to Gallus for good. We'll live like rich people. Martha smiled, proudly squeezing her daughter's hand. I believe you. But listen, no matter what happens, I'll always be back home with a hot meal waiting for you. The city is too complicated. A quiet life back home isn't so bad, you know. She pursed her lips, not saying a word. Martha pushed a small bag into her hands. Oh, right, I'm so forgetful. There's 3 silver coins in here. Cecilia instinctively tried to push it back. Martha held her hand tight. I know you don't need it, but I don't spend money back home anyway. Then she turned to leave. Cecilia watched her go, remembering her words. I'm useless. I can't help you much. But don't worry, Cecilia. I'll never be a burden to you. Just focus on your life in the capital. I'm fine back home, the neighbors help me out. Just write to me, okay? And seriously, don't send money. Keep it for yourself. The post office might just steal it anyway. Cecilia tucked the coins into her bag and smiled. You're right, Mom. Just then, some guy walked up behind her. He stood way too close. She flipped her hair, pretending not to notice. Big cities are so complicated, she thought. The guy pulled out a small knife. He raised his hand to slash at her bag. Cecilia spun around fast, chopping his hand hard. The knife clattered to the ground, his hand shaking. Cecilia just walked away like nothing happened. Looking up at the night sky, she smirked. But Mom, I'm complicated too. Back at school, Cecilia gave the security guard her best puppy dog eyes. There was this huge accident on the road. And the subway stopped for like 30 minutes. I ran all the way here. What do I do? If I'm late 3 times, I get in trouble. And 3 strikes means expulsion. I'm so scared. She even started crying, voice shaking. The guard couldn't handle it and opened the gate. Oh my God, thank you so much. You're such a sweet guy. The gate closed and her smirk returned. Using my looks to get what I want, I've known that trick since I was a kid. But it wasn't until I came to Gallus that I realized just how powerful being pretty actually is. Compared to my dump of a hometown, these civilized city people will give you anything if you look good enough. She mused as she walked. I gotta thank the Lord of Starlight. Thanks to him, the Starlight Nation is so civilized and prosperous that I can actually claw my way into the upper class. If this was some savage land, I'd probably just be some barbarian's trophy by now. Scary thought. Guess I should thank Mom too. She skipped up the stairs, humming a tune. Walking down the long hallway, she thought, if I had been stuck working in the field since I was a kid, then no matter how pretty I was born, the wind and rain would have wrecked my skin, turning me into some rough, crusty village girl. Suddenly, a nasty voice drifted out from the dorm room. It's past 7 already. Bet that country bumpkin is. Someone tried to stop her. Give it a rest, Lois. What if she walks back in right now? But Lois just rolled her eyes completely unbothered. So what I'm dying to tell that shameless loser off to her face anyway. Sonia, creeping up outside the door, thought, wow, talk about perfect timing. Caught a live show of fake friends, 101. Talking trash behind my back, huh? That shrill voice kept going inside. You guys didn't see how thirsty she looked. Making eyes at people right in the middle of class. She's just a hick from the sticks. Aside from an okay face, what's so special about her? Outside, Sonia let out a cocky little smirk. Being hotter than you is already a big deal, sweetie. Then the gossip squad switched topics. Speaking of which, I heard Desiree say that around noon she saw Sonia talking to some peasant woman outside the school gate. Bet that was her mom, right? With a shameless daughter like that, the mother probably isn't any better. Hearing them call me shameless was one thing, but dragging family into it, hell no. I was about to kick that door open when bam, a heavy thud echoed from inside. A few seconds later, Ingrid stepped out. Evening, Sonia. I smiled back. Evening, Ingrid. Then I strolled into the room scanning the scene. Spotted a fresh fist imprint on the punching bag by the door. Ah, so that's what happened. Hands on hips, I smirked. All right then. My gaze shifted to the 2 girls huddled in the corner. Since Ingrid already scared the crap out of them, I'll be generous and just put this on their tab for now. Meet my roommate Lois and her little minion Adele. These 2 are the roommates I absolutely cannot stand. We're talking mortal enemies here. So the lowdown on Lois, she's the daughter of a local merchant here in Gallows City. She's my biggest hater, always thinks she's the prettiest thing walking and loves throwing shade whenever we're in the dorm. Constantly dragging my lowly background. That loudmouth acting all high and mighty earlier, yeah, that was her. But honestly, it doesn't matter what trash she talks. Whenever we show up together, way more guys are into me. Can't help it, I'm just hotter than her. Simple facts. But when I snagged the MC gig for the school event, she was so salty, she stopped pretending to be nice. She started splashing cash everywhere, constantly throwing parties for the water magic department. She paid for everyone to eat at fancy restaurants, deliberately leaving me out. I remember Lois shooting me this super smug look. Like, my money can save people 10 years of struggle. Can you compete with that? A certified rich girl flex. And sure enough, her fan club started growing. But her taste in guys, absolute trash. Take that one senior she claimed was her rare heartbeat moment. They just bumped into each other once. One look, and the guy was starstruck. He quickly hid a love letter behind his back, jumped up and shoved a bouquet of flowers at me. I grabbed them and just laughed. He was totally obsessed and confessed his love to me right there. Obviously, I turned him down flat, but honestly, Lois, you wouldn't want to be with a guy like that anyway. A loser that even a country bumpkin like me rejects. You wouldn't want my leftovers, would you? Even if you liked him, that's just embarrassing. Bottom line, your taste is terrible. That senior has nothing going for him except a decent face. He's totally useless and full of himself. Consider it a favor dodging a bullet for ya. Ain't got no time for romance anyway. My eyes are on the prize galleys. Gonna stick around here no matter what. Problem is just a country kid who got lucky with the entrance exams. Relying on solo grinding to make it big, that would take decades. That's why snagging a quality guy is the plan. It's the ultimate shortcut to high society. The strategy is crystal clear, gotta become a water mage. Did the research. Over 50% of noble wives are water mages. If the noble is a mage too, that stat jumps to over 70%. No doubt about it, being a water mage is a massive bonus when nobles go wife shopping. Sure, Sword Flower University ain't exactly the top-tier magic school, but its programs for sword, water, and wind mages top-notch stuff. Graduate on time from any of those three and the future is wide open. Sonia started daydreaming about meeting the future mother-in-law. Mom, look, a water mage graduate from Sword Flower. And the old lady would be all thrilled, saying, oh, wonderful, exactly the kind of daughter-in-law we need. And by the way, since water mages have tons of healing spells, they usually end up as healers. Wind mages, they get stuck being weather mages, always working outdoors in rough conditions. And sword mages, forget it. Getting all buff and muscular is a huge turnoff. And just like that, Sonia's life plan was set. Been plotting this for ages. Gotta summon the first water spirit by next year. Ideally unleash the silver wings before graduation to become a first wing mage. Then sneak into the inner circle events at Gallus Truth Mage University. That's where the noble heirs hang out. Truth University is the #1 mage academy in Gallus, heck, the most prestigious school in the entire Starry Kingdom. Everyone there is filthy rich or royalty. That's exactly where the future boyfriend is going to be waiting. As for the guys at Sword Flower Pass, not interested. Anyway, gotta hustle, stay pretty, study hard. Careful with the lashes though. Sonia cracked open basic principles of water magic multitasking between studying and meticulously removing makeup. Getting lashes done at perfect starlight is crazy expensive. This remover is cheap but huge, and it cleans off sunscreen like a charm. Being gorgeous costs serious cash and time. If I didn't squeeze in study sessions like this, how would I have snagged that scholarship last semester? Wiping off the face, thoughts started racing. Basically, if everything goes to plan, it's straight into the upper crust as a noble's trophy wife. Then exploit the hubby's connections to stack up some personal capital. That way, even if we divorce, I can still own this city, maybe even bring mom up to live the high life. Suddenly, a voice whispered in the ear, no, you need to practice the sword. Sonia shot up, spinning around in a total panic, pupils shrinking. Over in the corner, some mysterious guy just stood there, arms crossed, staring. The guy spoke up, say if I were in your shoes, I'd check how other people react first. Signaling with a hand, the stranger added, wanna talk? Just think the words inside. That's enough. That mysterious dude must have been standing right next to Adele. Adele was just laughing away like, is that right? Even when Lois walked in, Lois walked right through the stranger, like a ghost. Seeing that freaked Sonia out. Gulping down the fear, Sonia quickly looked away, trying to ignore the creep. But then, looking totally out of it, asked, who the hell are you? The guy walked over slow and steady. I'm the spectator. Just call me spectator. If memory's failing already at such a young age, maybe lay off the lust a bit, yeah. Sonia's face went dark, totally annoyed. You know that's not what was asked. The spectator just smirked, moving lips slightly. But that's all the answer you're gonna get. Relax, sword princess. Not an enemy here. Can't even call this form human right now, just a distant fragment of memory. Stepping up next to Sonia, the guy said, we're off track. Let's get down to business. Business. Before Sonia could even react out came a potion bottle. Drink this first. Sonia's lips pressed tight, eyes dead serious. You kidding? No way. Absolutely not drinking that weird stuff. The spectator stayed silent. With a smirk, the guy popped the lid and just dumped the whole thing. Sonia gulped in shock. The liquid actually forced its way down the throat on its own. Sonia's eyes went wide, totally terrified. The liquid didn't just go down the throat, it invaded the whole body. The spectator looked satisfied. Next up, sword training. Smirking again, the guy handed over a sword. A mental battle raged inside, sweat beading on the forehead. No, don't want to, seriously, don't want to. Finally, with the roommates looking on all confused, Sonia reached up high and brought the hand down, gripping a wooden sword. Adele shot a glance, laughing. Pretty sure Ingrid doesn't have one of those. Sonia stormed out and slammed the door shut, leaving Adele in shock. Angry shouting echoed from inside, Lois cursing in frustration. What the hell is wrong with Sonia? Adele tried to calm things down. Lois, chill, just let it go. But Lois couldn't hold back and screamed. Never practiced for a whole year and suddenly tonight it's sword training. Probably just trying to flirt with the senior fencing hotshots, right? Adele quickly covered Lois's mouth, signaling, keep it down. Scene switched to Sword Flora University. Inside the training hall, everyone was grinding hard, sweat dripping everywhere. Ingrid was there too, swinging the blade hard into a training dummy. Sweat rolled down, followed by a heavy sigh of relief. Staring at the dummy, Ingrid whispered breathlessly, hit the edge of the 9th ring. At this rate, should be able to slash into the 10th ring this month and summon a sword spirit. No, can't get cocky yet. Arrogance just kills progress. Gotta keep pushing. Right then, the gym door burst open and a slender figure stepped in. Sonia walked in. Everyone froze, eyes popping out. Holding a sword, is that a new junior? Ingrid looked shocked. Sonia, Ingrid watched the figure, thinking, this isn't the place for you. Aren't you a water element major? Whispers started buzzing all around the room. Gorgeous, sure, but not even wearing training gear. Can those tiny arms even swing a blade? Total disrespect for the sword. Let's just see how this plays out. Sonia didn't waste breath, just swung the sword with force. Ingrid crossed arms, judging hard, grips, shaky support hands, weak footwork, sloppy bodies too slow. Not a single move looks right. For a female sword master to summon a spirit and master the art, the physique needs to be trained even harder than the guys. Calloused hands, muscular arms, legs, even abs, all built from grinding. Sonia, are you actually ready to handle all that? The boys aren't going to be crushing on you as much. Wait, speaking of boys. Ingrid suddenly realized something. Don't tell me the goal is. Ingrid's face went into full panic mode, total disbelief. Eyes darted over to a blonde guy. Him, that's Felix Vosroda, the genius first year from the sword department. Second son of the Vosroda Duke family, one of the 5 pillars of the Star Council, top-tier nobility. Should have been studying at Truth University, but for some random reason ended up here at Sword Flora. Duke Vosroda, aka the Iron Star Duke, controls the kingdom's most advanced steelworks. Their business covers everything from civilian stuff to military gear. The guy's a massive player in all 3 sectors, military, politics, and commerce. Basically, the most powerful dude in the kingdom. Ingrid's expression turned sour, but the guy himself, total trash. Saw it with my own eyes 5 days straight, a different girlfriend showing up at the training ground every single day to see him. Plus, didn't you say he was dangerous? But then Ingrid's eyes lit up. Though if that's what got you into sword fighting, it ain't all bad. Watching Sonia train, Ingrid felt a secret spark of joy. Awesome, another friend, who's into swords. Wait a sec, Ingrid froze, staring at the dummy in total shock, already hitting the edge of the 1st ring. It's only been a few minutes. Did Sonia learn sword fighting before? Looking closer, the moves were still clumsy, but every single motion strictly followed the sword manual's rules. Every slash was putting everything on the line. Sweat doesn't lie. Good stuff. But burning stamina like that, gonna be too exhausted to stand in a few minutes. Too bad won't get any real training gains that way. Total rookie mistake. I tried continuous swinging, once capped out at 256 swings in 11 minutes before gassing out completely. I'll give some pointers when you stop. New training buddy, let me count for you. 14, 15, 16. As the count went on, the shock on Ingrid's face just grew. 199, 200. The whole gym crowd gathered around now. Hearing Sonia's heavy, panting, their eyes were filled with fear. Outside, a girl walked in, hearing the buzz. How long's it been? 96 minutes. Anyone count how many times the sword was swung? I started counting first. Got to over 1,700 swings right when the blade hit the 7th ring. Was too stunned to keep track for a bit, but estimating gotta be over 2,400 by now. The girl walking in was Celia, Felix Vosroda's senior girlfriend. Pushing through the crowd, she hesitated. This vibe. Did Felix pull some big stunt again? Don't tell me he finally summoned his wave sword spirit. Celia smirked, thinking to herself, where should we go, celebrate later, Amber Plains Club or the Golden Port Bar? Should I make the first move or just head straight to his place so we can rest properly? Getting closer, she froze, staring at Felix Vosroda. His eyes were glued to Sonia, which really pissed her off. What's up with him? Celia stepped up and whispered, Felix Vosroda, what are you guys looking at? He finally snapped out of it and turned around. Senior, you're here. Celia stared daggers at Sonia, analyzing every detail. I didn't know the sword department had such a cute junior. But inside she was thinking, looks like no makeup, but that face is definitely caked with natural tricks. Totally faking that first love vibe. Without serious prep, how could anyone pull off that perfect dream girl image? Hitting every button to drive guys crazy. Confirmed by the eyes. That girl is a hunter too. With skills like that, the prey has got to be Felix Vosroda. Just then, Felix, looking totally out of it, whispered, she's not in the sword department. She's a first year in the water department, named Sonia. Celia smiled, but panic was rising inside. Damn, he already knows the name and grade. Gotta drag him away fast. Trying to steal my prey. No chance in hell. She squeezed his arm tight, then asked like she didn't care, why is everyone watching her practice anyway? 'Cause she's hot. Felix didn't look away, replying, no. It's not just because you aren't a sword student, so I'll keep it simple. An hour and a half ago, she was a total noob. Couldn't even hold the sword right. But now, she just slashed the 9th ring in one go. Celia glared like she could see right through Sonia. She's probably faking it. Thinking to herself, I trained to an upper middle level, and it took me months just to hit the 2nd ring. Felix heard that and shot back. I thought so too at first. Honestly, I wanted to believe that. That's why I watched her. I was hoping to see her hit a wall. I was waiting for the moment she couldn't take another step, but after an hour and a half, my petty jealousy turned into total respect. Celia looked terrified. She never expected him to say something so humble and real. Usually, he looks down on his own dad and brother. This is a massive red flag. Plus, watching a girl for an hour and a half, she suddenly froze. Wait, an hour and a half. An hour and a half, Celia whipped around to look at Sonia, eyes popping out in disbelief. That hunter chick named Sonia. She trained for 90 minutes straight without a single break. Normal people need a breather after just a few minutes. Even Felix Vosroda, the so-called genius, tops out at 3 hours, and that includes an hour of chilling in between. No wonder these guys who usually just grind like crazy are still staring, still watching. The crowd in the gym was going wild, shouting, hey, does wearing girls' clothes boost your stamina or something? Celia let go of Felix, thinking total defeat. If my beautiful intellectual senior act scores 80 points with Felix, then a sword genius girl like Sonia is definitely hitting 150. I have basically zero chance of winning. Over there, Sonia struck the 2nd ring again. The crowd's jaws dropped. Ingrid smiled, looking super proud. Sonia stopped and the training dummy dissolved. The whole room erupted, the armor shattered. The 10th ring. It's the 10th ring. Ingrid rushed over to Sonia. She looked at her thinking, she actually hit the 10th ring. That means even if I do absolutely nothing from now on, once the time is right, I can trigger knowledge resonance in the void realm. I'll summon the sword spirit, enter the void, and become a void wing warlock. Could take a second, could take a few months, but my dream of a wealthy life. Did I just achieve it like that? Ingrid brought over a bottle of water, eyes full of praise. Sonia, you must be exhausted, right? At Swordflower University, not everyone becomes a warlock. Graduation rates hover around 50%. Every graduated Void Wing Warlock is set for a bright future. The crowd watching hadn't dispersed at all. They watched Sonia's every move, whispering, she's wiping sweat. She's drinking water. That monster in a pretty girl's skin is finally tired. Ingrid blushed and suggested, wanna walk back together? Sonia forced a smile, lips pressed tight, thinking, Ingrid really only knows one way to get close to people. Walk together, bathroom together, eat together. Sonia suddenly froze, eyes wide. Some kind of liquid was sliding down her throat. Sonia's pupils shifted. She whipped her head toward the crowd, locking eyes straight onto Felix Vosroda. He smiled. Sonia looked determined. The spectator again. He had poured a potion right next to Felix. Sword Maiden doesn't get to rest yet. You have to beat this guy. An image flashed in Sonia's mind, her holding a megaphone challenging Felix Vosroda. The spectator looked at her, smirking. It's not as complicated as you think. I just want to set up a fight for you, and he's the strongest one here. Simple as that. Doesn't matter if he's a noble or not. Of course, if he is a noble, even better. I love watching nobles get beaten to a pulp. When you win, can you stomp on his face or kick his ass? I heard some nobles in Starry are total perverts. Seeing her look of absolute disgust, the spectator turned away, laughing awkwardly. Never mind, pretend I didn't say anything. Sonia looked at him reluctantly. Can we swap targets? I don't want anything to do with Felix Vosroda. The spectator gave a mysterious smile. Sonia lowered her eyes, thinking I've looked into him a bit. He's weird and totally dangerous. Felix Vosroda is the most approachable, noble guy at Swordflower University. Obviously, I put him at the top of my prey list. Him being a player isn't the problem. The problem is his family background and his army of exes. Rumor has it Felix is a walking breeding machine, servicing 10 girls a day. But he never spends the night out with a girl. He lives in a villa off campus, and every night after practice, he drives straight out of here. His car, the Silver Tiger, is the only one of its kind at school. He swaps girlfriends every 3 days, but never takes them home. A lot of them are noble ladies. I don't believe he could finish them in just 3 days. So rather than being lustful, it's more like he's collecting stamps. Second thing for the son of Duke Vosloda to end up stuck studying here at Swordflower Uni. You gotta wonder if the guy got mixed up in some political beef. Sonia puts on a serious face. That's like exactly how it goes in the novels. Types like him are total villains even to other nobles. Watcher hesitates, then asks, so you're saying if you fight him, you're gonna be in deep trouble? Sonia nods her head off. Surprisingly, Watcher throws his head back, laughing. What could be better? Getting into trouble is exactly what I want for you. Sonia freezes on the spot. Watcher smirks. I want you to go totally wild. Crush every enemy in your path to dust. Isn't that your deepest desire? Sonya screams back. I don't have a wish. That childish and arrogant Watcher cuts the chatter, leans in and whispers. Then congrats on your first big win. Go beat the hell out of that sword, genius. Kick that Starlight Noble to the curb. No. Sonya grits her teeth at Watcher. Absolutely not. But before the words even land in reality, her blade is already pointing right at Felix Vosroda's face. Her voice drips with arrogance. Felix Vosroda, genius of the sword department. In this entire massive academy, only you are worthy of being a stepping stone for my summoned spirit. You got the guts to fight me. The crowd goes wild with hype. Is this the arrogance of a true genius? She declared war. Oh my god, that's so cool. Celia is fuming inside, thinking I knew it. Her target is Felix Vosroda too. Hearing the chance of fight, she bites her lip, looking his way. And, using such a cliche method, but it works perfectly to force a connection with Felix Vosroda. The deafening chants of fight keep going, and Sonya wants to cry but can't. Ingrid steps up. Sonya, you've been practicing for 2 hours straight. Even if you want to spar, wait until tomorrow. Inside, she's screaming, yes, yes, yes. Ingrid, drag me out of here. Just when it seems over, Felix Vosroda speaks up. If not, now, 2 hours. 3,600 strikes. Going from beginner straight to mastery, you have the wildest talent I've ever seen, and you're only the second person to actually scare me. Felix Vosroda walks forward slowly, hand on his sword, eyes locked in. If I don't accept your challenge now, by the time I wake up tomorrow, I probably won't have the guts to draw my sword against you anymore. Right now might be the only chance I'll ever have to beat you. Felix Vosroda raises his wooden sword, voice booming. I don't care if people say I'm taking a cheap shot or hitting you when you're exhausted. I don't care. At least after I win tonight, I'll still have the right and the guts to keep chasing after you. The crowd hears this and lights up. It's the wave stance, the secret technique of the Vosloda clan. Sonya thinks. The Vosloda clan is famous for swordplay. They've got 4 secret stances that can summon spirits. Wave stance is one of them. In their style, a stance isn't just for training. It's for summoning and fighting too. Sonya is just standing in a basic stance. Totally basic tier. Watcher grins next to Ingrid, all hyped up. Didn't expect to face the wave stance so soon. So admirable. I'll definitely catch up to you. She grits her teeth, helpless. Sonya screams at Watcher. What's the point if you just hijack my body to fight like this? Even if we win, it's your win. I'm just a bystander. If you just want to control my body, go ahead. It's not like I can stop you anyway. How about this? Give me back control and I promise I'll fight for real. If one's not enough, I'll take on 2 of him. Watcher sneers. You think this is math class? 1 + 1 = 2. And who told you I'm the one controlling your body to fight? Sonya raises an eyebrow. If it's not you, then is it me? Watcher nods. Exactly. It's all you. You think I just picked some random guy for you to fight? You think I can just totally ignore your will? Force my way into the driver's seat? Why are you even practicing with the sword? Because last night in the dreamscape you beat me. You realize your own talent. You knew you had a shot at grabbing real power. And it's obvious, you've wasted way too much time. That's why you came here grinding until you squeezed out every last drop of strength. Just to be seen. Just so your roommate Ingrid would see. That besides your looks you. Watcher pauses. Sonya's arm swings the sword up. Her face is dead serious, locking eyes with Felix Vosroda. Watcher's voice echoes in her ear. You have the talent to hold your head high and be proud. Felix watches closely, biting his lip. He waits for Sonya to rush in, then jumps. Watcher plants a thought in her mind. Why did you challenge Felix Vosroda? Because from the first moment you saw him, you hated him. She leaps. Just as Felix Vosroda's sword is about to crash down, she vanishes. In a blink, Sonya appears right behind him. Watcher's voice keeps ringing. From the moment you saw him driving that silver tiger through campus, seeing everyone worshiping him. Seeing him become the center of the whole school, you started envying him, admiring him, and hating him. Felix is shocked. Freaky footwork. The draw is strong, but it's no match for the wave sword. Watcher keeps talking. Exactly. In his eyes, you're just some noob who knows basic textbook moves from General Ed. Even if your talent is off the charts, his wave stance is still undefeated. The noble wave stance. Why do they get to have everything from birth? Sonya puts all of her pressure on Felix Vosroda. Amid the cheers, the final words echo. Why do they get to be better than me at everything? Felix Vosroda can't believe it. Dodging a barrage of attacks. He gasps. She can still go toe-to-toe with me. He's getting gassed, gritting his teeth. Where the hell is she getting this energy? Felix Vosroda ducks his head, thinking, no. Gotta end this now. He raises the wooden sword, charging up energy. It's win or lose on this next move. Watcher asks again, do you get it now? The crowd erupts in excitement. It's the final clash, the wave stance at full power. Sonya Sagi stood there in total silence, soaking it all in. All of this was coming straight from the heart, gripping that wooden sword tight. Stepping onto the training grounds, dying to beat him. Just wanting to prove that Sonya Sagi ain't inferior to anybody. Craving that spotlight, that chance to shine. The crowd saw that stance and flipped out, shouting, fluctuating sword style, eyes popping out with pure admiration. Fluctuating sword style is the real deal. No way she learned that just by looking. She's provoking him, ratcheting up the tension. Meanwhile, Celia's cooking up a whole different drama in her head. Never thought a hunter could play 4D chess like this. Using humiliation to provoke Felix Vosroda, making sure that dude never forgets this face. Now, just gotta throw the match. Hand Felix, an easy win, let him save face and just go with the flow. Use that to set up future sparring dates and get closer. But Felix dude felt insulted. Eyes cold as ice hissing, you asked for this embarrassment. I don't lose to anyone. They clashed instantly. The crowd held their breath. Snap. A wooden sword tip hit the floor. The one holding the broken blade, Sonya, Saji. But what grabbed everyone's attention was something weird on Felix. Yo, look. Is that a spirit art on his shoulder? Squinting closer, everyone freaked out. A fluctuating sword spirit breakthrough. Seriously, summoning a life spirit right in the middle of a fight. As expected of a Vosloda. Ingrid screamed, losing it. Don't give up, Sonya Saji. You're gonna summon a spirit soon too, just wait. Sonya Saji just stood there back straight as an arrow, voice hard. I didn't lose. The clueless mob around didn't spot the weird vibe and just laughed. Standard genius behavior, so stubborn. Kinda cute though, just ego refusing to bow down. But then crack Felix's sword suddenly shattered. Sonya Saji looked back a smirk, curling on those lips revealing a spirit. The fluctuating sword spirit, the whole gym went into shock. How could she also summon the Vosloda family's spirit? Did this girl literally learn Felix's move during the fight and summon it on the spot? How is that even possible? One of them thought, totally confused. Wait, does that mean in just a few hours? She went from a total newbie straight to sword master level, achieving in hours what takes us years to maybe never even reach. Then what are we even training for? Ingrid was beaming, but lacy lips pressed tight, salty as hell. Felix never saw that coming, glaring at the crowd with his stone-cold face. Meanwhile, Watcher smirked satisfied and whispered, so what's your point? You're just a phantom from deep inside me, right? Not real. Just a manifestation of my thoughts. A hallucination. Watcher bent down, grabbed the broken sword tip, slapped it back onto the blade, and magicated it whole again before fading into thin air. Before vanishing, Watcher looked back with a cocky smirk. You guess, and poof, gone. Leaving Sonya Saji grinding teeth in pure rage, cursing that dude out internally. Scene switch, a screen pops up showing Sonya Sagi's game stats and skills. Ash stared at the monitor, hype levels rising. Leveled up. No clue what a one-winged sword master is, but that monster who one-shot me had like 3 wings. So wings definitely equal OP status. Ash patted his chest, totally satisfied. Waking up at 6 a.m. to check the game progress wasn't a waste. Hard work pays off, baby. Ah, so much suffering, sleepless nights, early mornings. But yo, where's my 30% shared recovery experience? Hand spamming that refresh button. He looked at his other hand, confused. Why don't I feel a power boost? No enlightenment, no EXP downloading into my brain. Ash stared at the screen thinking. Even the Watcher agent interface hasn't changed a bit. Remembering the promise, finish this and you get a promotion. Ash froze. Did I just get scammed? Then a calm realization. Wait, is it because I haven't topped up? Our company's games are notorious. No money, no honey. But hey, if it's just a paywall, that's fixable. Still got a chance to wail out. Suddenly, a voice dropped in. Dear Mr. Ash, Shattered Lake Prison has confirmed your biometrics. You are now free to roam the designated zones. Check the attached Shattered Lake Survival Guide for details. Note room service is canceled. Get your own food at the cafeteria. Ash watched the door pop open and walked over curious. What the heck? Scratching his head, staring at the screen, displaying the Shattered Lake Survival Guide. Seeing the endless list of rules, Ash's eyes actually lit up. Wait, this much freedom. Is this some April Fool's prank for the new fish? But then a serious thought hit. This handbook only lists rights and perks. 0 mentions of bans or rules, sketchy as hell. Something's up. I ain't falling for this trap. Grr. Stomach growling. Ash poked his head out the door, super cautious. Just gonna grab a bite and zip right back. Gotta be safe, right? Looking around, Ash got nervous. Not a single guard. That's actually creepier. Stopping in front of a door marked Central Hall Gym Sauna. Flashback to rule number 5, couple's room. Please dispose of used items in the bin. Do not wash and reuse. Freaked out, he noped out of there fast. Opened another door and froze. Confused as hell. Is this a prison or a theme park? Looking around, people laughing, joking, chilling on lounge chairs. Scanning the room, Ash's eyes suddenly lit up. Yes, a guard, finally someone to help. The guy ignored him, glued to his screen and giggling, clearly slacking off. Playing games on the clock, Ash looked up, silent tears streaming. I still haven't got my EXP. From Sword Girl, I'm basically a useless sack of meat right now. 0 combat power, just the fragile mental state of an overworked corporate slave. And I'm this gorgeous. Without a guard to protect me, who knows if I can keep my virtue intact? Complain over. Ash hyped himself up and marched forward, all smiles. Feeling way better now. Time to hit the cafeteria. Walk past this giant screen voice booming out news. Whoa, never thought Lorenzo would actually make councilman. Looks like he joined the Eternal Wine Club. Andre's crew totally overpowered the mayor. That mayor's going to be packing their bags the second this term ends. Two mutants in front of the screen start gossiping. Nah, I don't think so. Mayor Fina's got Bishop Enrico backing her up. Just wait. Lorenzo isn't a sign that Andre's taking over. The guy next to him pipes up. If anything, it's a death sentence for Andre. You've been stuck in Kaiman for decades. The church wants to keep things chill, so they definitely won't get their hands dirty. The orc prisoner goes, you forget the railway chief's suicide 15 years ago. Ash watches them thinking to himself. A green orc and a goblin yapping about high-level politics. Ash is busy eavesdropping when suddenly a voice creeps up from behind. If you're into politics, go hit up the reading room and talk to old man Leon. As for Gator and Ludo, before they got locked up, they were just secretaries for the Gov and the Development Bureau. Mid-tier status barely knew what was going on. Just spouting nonsense. Zero value. But for the big bad leader of the Four Pillars cult, you sure care a lot about Kaiman politics, huh? Ash whips around shocked. You know me. The guy steps closer and nods. Duh. You were on the 7 o'clock news. Front page yesterday and the day before. The news is the fastest way to make new friends. He holds out a hand to Ash. Nice to meet ya. You've probably seen me on TV too. Igola. Ash backs up a bit, totally on guard. Ash. People in here usually this friendly. Igola smirks voice, super chill. We're pretty nice to newbies. We're all teammates with the same goals after all. Ash frowns. Same goals? Igola glances at a nearby guard, then turns back to Ash. You interested in joining our jailbreak research group and being buddies who help each other out? Ash's eyes light up immediately. Talk about luck, exactly what was needed. I was just looking for a way out, didn't know there was already a club for it. He grins. But just as Ash is about to grab that hand, a voice cuts in. If I were you, I'd punch him in the face. Ash looks behind Igola, eyes going wide. That voice? Sword Maiden. Without thinking, Ash's eyes flash and he throws a punch straight at Igola. Just as it's about to connect, the chip on his neck goes off. Warning. Excessive kinetic energy detected against a citizen. This behavior is prohibited. This behavior is prohibited. Warning. Excessive kinetic energy detected against a citizen. This behavior is prohibited. The fist stops dead in midair. Igola gives a mocking smile. Ash, that weak little punch is adorable. Ash looks down panicking. Can't move. Frozen solid. Igola turns to leave, tossing back a line. Guess you're happy with prison life, Ash. I won't bother you then. As soon as he's gone, Ash is back to normal. I can move. What the hell was that? The voice comes back. Why are you surprised? That miracle chip on your neck just realized you were trying to attack someone. It zapped your nerves to lock your body down, making the attack totally useless. They use this tech in prisons, but it's super common in cattle farming too, but seems way more useful on humans though. Ash glares at her. So why'd you tell me to punch him? Sword Maiden shrugs, acting all innocent. Even if fighting's banned and magic's limited, there are loopholes. Like using a spirit to sign a contract. If I'm not wrong, that guy's got siren blood. Sirens are natural masters of psychic magic. If you agreed to his request and shook his hand, you would have basically signed a contract. You'd be friends who help each other. But to a psychic mage, friend and slave mean the exact same thing. But get this, you'd have to help him while he'd only help you if he felt like it. Ash looks like he just had an epiphany. He raises a hand. Got it. So if I shook his hand, I'd be his employee. No, wait, an unpaid intern. This isekai world is scummy. They don't even bother with labor contracts. Suddenly, remembering something, Ash asks, Hey, can anyone else see you? Sword Maiden chuckles. Keep talking to me like that if you want, long as you don't mind people looking at you like a psycho. People around are already whispering about the guy, muttering to himself. Guess all these cult leaders really are messed in the head. Ash ignores them and asks, So you're really Sonya? Sword Maiden nods. Yeah, I'm Sonya. Observer, if I hadn't seen it myself, I wouldn't believe you fell this low. You mind if I laugh at you? Ash points right at her. I mind a lot. And hey, why aren't you wearing the outfit from the illustrations? Sword Maiden snaps back. Aren't you wearing the classic prisoner outfit from Lake Shatter? The high-end version? You don't look like your illustration either, so shut it. She leans in, glaring at Ash. I'm a girl, you know. You expect me to show up in the same unwashed outfit every single day. Ash shrinks back, defeated. Okay, fair point. Then instantly flipping the script, he spreads his arms and lunges at her. Since you're here, Sonya, help me break out of this prison. Sonya's face goes cold. Pass. Ash freezes. Huh, Sonya smirks, looking totally smug. Why should I help you escape? Free food, a roof over your head. Suits a loser, like you, perfectly, don't you think? Why leave? Might be even worse out there. Just be a good boy, retire early, and live out your golden years. Sounds nice, right? Ash rolls, his eyes scratching his cheek. Sounds kinda tempting. Then he snaps out of it, pointing at her. But I've got a massive target on my back. In a few days, I gotta deal with that whole blood moon judgment thing. Just hearing the name I know for a fact they ain't inviting me to a buffet. The Sword Maiden covered her mouth and giggled Blood Moon Judgment. Huh, then I really don't want to help you escape now. Ash immediately started whining. You can't treat me like this. It's not like I belong to you. The Sword Maiden glared at him and shot back. Belong to me, as in what exactly? She poked his forehead hard, clearly pissed off. What were you gonna say? What exactly are you to me, huh? Ash got poked so hard he fell back into his chair. The Sword Maiden leaned in close, staring right at him. She growled with a look that was anything but happy. Don't tell me you were gonna say you're my master. You want me to say it a few more times so that trash inside your head has some fresh material to fantasize about. Ash opened his mouth and asked, Is there something wrong with that?
You're just a virtual character in a game, and I'm the actual player.
If I die, obviously you can't keep existing either. Since we got this connection, why can't you just help me out? Hearing that the Sword Maiden felt a surge of rage. Connection. Ash lowered his head, thinking, screw it. Then he jumped up and shouted, Violet Blade Maiden. I ain't your master, but I ain't your slave either. If you can't even treat me as an equal, then just go back to the game and be a stream of data for all I care. The Sword Maiden pursed her lips, then suddenly let out a laugh. She turned away and spoke slowly. A virtual character, huh? You're right. I'm really just a virtual memory. But spectator, you better remember exactly what you said today. You were not my master and you never will be. Ash raised his hand without hesitation. I promise. The Sword Maiden still wasn't convinced and pointed at him. Swear it. The liar will lose their own face, and for 10,000 years it can never be changed. Ash held up 3 fingers with a sincere look. I swear. The liar will lose their own face, and for 10,000 years it can never be changed. The Sword Maiden smiled with satisfaction, turned around and signaled him. Let's go, we'll talk on the way. Ash was curious. Go where? The Sword Maiden replied, the cafeteria, duh. Didn't you want breakfast? He hesitated. What about breaking out of prison? To be honest, it's not that I don't want to help, it's that I can't. As you've seen besides you, nobody else can see or touch me. I can't affect the physical world, so how am I supposed to help you break out? Ash felt so helpless, his mouth twitched. Then why are you even here, showing off your new skin? The Sword Maiden huffed coldly. You said it yourself. That connection. He frowned. Connection. The Sword Maiden stopped and looked back at Ash. I'm here to transfer that 30% shared experience to you. All right then. Ash spread his arms and legs looking ready. Come on, then I'm ready. The Sword Maiden got mad again and poked his head hard. Ready my ass. You think it's gonna go ding and you'll instantly know all my sword skills. If you want to dream, go find a bed first. Ash looked confused and asked, then how are you gonna transfer it? The Sword Maiden smirked. It's simple. You go find someone to fight and I'll transfer the experience to you while you're fighting. It'll make you naturally absorb a massive amount of experience right in the middle of battle. Got it? Ash looked all around seriously, observing his eyes, locking onto a guy in the corner as his target. Bald, tattooed buff, bulging muscles with a knife scar on his face. Just one look and you know he's a serial killer who took out a few hundred people before getting thrown in here. A total psycho. Ash walked over and pretended to accidentally knock over his water. Ash made a punchable face and pouted, oops, sorry. The big man stood up, eyes bloodshot. Ash swallowed hard, waiting for the beating. But the man's attitude suddenly changed and he spoke softly. Be careful where you're walking, all right. The milk today is pretty good, definitely worth a try. Ash completely froze. Until a full tray of food was placed in front of him, the cafeteria was crowded and buzzing. He looked at the food tray, then glanced at the Sword Maiden who was grinning and chattering away. Sorry, I'm professionally trained not to laugh. Spectator, you are unbelievably stupid. Unless I really can't hold it back. Seriously though, let me explain it one more time. All you prisoners are locked with a chip in the back of your neck. You're not allowed to attack others, not allowed to insult others, and not allowed to hurt yourselves. That's exactly why Shattered Lake Prison looks so free. Because every bone, every nerve in your body is dragging invisible chains. They even have students come here for field trips in the spring and fall. That chip can even release a strong electric current that stops your heart instantly. Just as she finished speaking, a group of people across the room started pointing. Look kids, these are criminals. Don't end up like them when you grow up. The Sword Maiden's sharp voice rang out. Were you trying to dig a tunnel with a spoon? Any attempt to damage property and the chip stops you immediately. Ash was still in shock, thinking, they actually have spring field trips here. The Sword Maiden spoke up again. Anyway, just go find someone to fight first. Nothing simpler than a fight right. Wait a sec, prisoners aren't allowed to attack others. So how am I supposed to provoke someone into hitting me? You asked me about everything. Is it you who wants to break out or me? If you get hungry, are you gonna cry for mommy too? Ash actually turned into a brat and called out mommy grandma. Sword Maiden froze, flicked his forehead hard and gritted her teeth. You got a death wish. Ash bumped his head into a prisoner's back. The guy sat up and greeted him kindly. Hi, I'm Ash. What's your name? The prisoner across from him smiled back just as friendly. Hi, Ash. He laughed awkwardly, thinking, guess I just gotta ask around for info myself. They can't beat me up anyway. The man smiled as bright as a flower, pointed at himself, and calmly said, I already have a boyfriend. Ash looked at that expression and his voice trembled. I didn't mean it like that. I just wanted to ask you something. He kept that terrifying expression, resting his chin on his hand while staring at Ash. I get it. I get it. Really, when you're trying to flirt and you run into someone like me, and I just straight up tell you I'm taking it, must be super embarrassing for you. But my love for my boyfriend is pure and sincere. It can't handle even a tiny bit of doubt. So making my stance clear from the start is best for everyone. Ash, you're a good guy too. I'm sure you'll find your own love eventually. Ash shrank back in fear, stuttering, I just. The man stopped and looked at him. Ask away. Ash gulped and nodded. All right. Before he could say another word, the guy cut in, yo, no need to be so awkward about it. Striking out when trying to chat someone up is totally normal. If your brain's fried and you can't think of a comeback, I can wait. Here we go again. But real talk, Ash, your way of grabbing my attention is ancient history. Spilling my milk on purpose. What are you in grade school? He couldn't help but force a laugh, cutting him off. Quick question, how do I get into a fight around here? Gotta shut this guy up seriously. The guy's face instantly changed. You're new, huh? If you're looking to stretch your muscles, you definitely came to the right place. He finally got serious and introduced himself. Name's Lana. I'm with the Deathmatch Club. The warden officially sanctioned us. During a deathmatch, we can temporarily bypass the chip restrictions to fight. That's a perk exclusive to club members. The match only ends when one side drops. Ash gasped, totally shook. Deathmatch, fight to the death. The prison actually lets us kill people. Lana's tone got all cryptic. Just because someone dies doesn't mean you killed them. Ash looked blank, so Lana broke it down. Right next to the arena is the infirmary. As long as the body's in one piece and they haven't been dead for more than 5 minutes, drag them there and they can be revived. Of course, can't promise there won't be side effects. And even if a prisoner actually kicks the bucket, the prison doesn't give a damn. We're all on death row anyway. Ash gave a dazed, goofy smile. Huh, oh yeah, right. People die sooner or later, I guess. Lana spoke up. Think you missed my point. Then he pointed right at Ash. Wait, I remember now. You're the guy blowing up the news lately. The leader of the Four Pillars cult. Lana gave him a totally thirsty look. I'm actually super interested in the Four Pillars. Too bad I've already got a boyfriend, or I might have given you a shot. Ash shrank back, creeped out. About that deathmatch club you mentioned. Lana tilted his head back, sighing as he did the math. No wonder you're in such a rush to join. I mean, there's only a few days left until the 15th. Ash looked lost. Huh. What's up with the 15th? Lana pursed his lips. I hate to see a nice guy like you get wasted. His voice suddenly got super serious. You never heard about Shattered Lake Prison when you were on the outside. You never watched the 2 blood moon judgments on the 1st and 15th of every month. All right, let me break it down for you. You really don't follow trends, do you? Here at Shattered Lake, everyone's on death row. No appeals, no escaping, and you're stripped of your rights for life. Once you're inside, you can eat good food, sleep tight, work out, watch movies, play games. But the one thing you absolutely can't do is take a life, even your own. Because there's only one ending waiting for us, the Blood Moon Judgment. Under the eyes of everyone, dying a totally gruesome death. That's why we're all dead men walking. Hearing that hit Ash like a truck. So it really is a death sentence. No retrial, no probation. He froze. Lana spoke up again. Seems like you really don't get what the Blood Moon Judgment is about. It's a live TV show broadcast in every city. Most people stay home on the nights of the 1st and 15th glued to their screens, watching criminals meet their end. The ratings hit like 70%. Ash fell silent. So this prison just keeps us alive so we can die even more horribly. Isn't that a total waste of resources? Lana shook his head slightly. Compared to the ad revenue, the Blood Moon Judgment pulls in the cost of feeding us is basically peanuts. Watching executions became a hit show in this world. It's completely messed up. How do 70% of people have time to watch entertainment at 8 p.m.? Don't they have overtime? I guess their jobs aren't busy enough. A wave of hopelessness crashed over him. Lana suddenly leaned in close, whispering mysteriously, but if you want to escape the Blood Moon Judgment, there's a way. Ash's eyes lit up. What? There's still hope? Lana nodded. Even though someone definitely dies every time the Blood Moon Judgment airs, there are 8 participants and those spots aren't set in stone. Every prisoner starts with 50 contribution points, and 10 get deducted every month. Hitting 0 doesn't matter. The prison won't do anything extra to you. But the higher your points, the further back you get pushed in the judgment line, and the lower your points, the closer you get to the chopping block. The 8 people at the front of the line are the ones who go to the Blood Moon Judgment. In other words, keep your points high enough and you can dodge the judgment. He rubbed his chin, seriously scheming. There are plenty of ways to earn contribution points. The easiest way is to create value. Even though the memory masters wiped our memories before we got thrown in here, making our intel totally worthless, we can still rake in points. People in for embezzlement can propose plans to reform the system and stop future corruption. Here's the loophole so you can't cook the books. Scary stuff. Wait, no, that's awesome. I totally want to run an explosive experiment to contribute some value. No other choice. Some people got busted for illegal experiments, so they can continue doing legal experiments inside and write papers. Gotta update this fast or I won't have enough content for this book. Some people even write bestsellers right here in prison. That counts as creating value too. But most of the inmates in here are in for murder, and they don't exactly have any special creative talents. Like me. And like you. Ash pursed his lips, thinking hard. I mean, Ash is a cult leader after all. Lana smirked at him. And the deathmatch club is how we score our contribution points. In every deathmatch, both sides gotta bet a chunk of contribution points. Winner takes all. Win and you escape the blood moon. Lose and you face judgment. That's how we contribute weeding out the weak and keeping the hype alive. That's exactly why the prison lets the deathmatch club exist. After all, every actor needs to put on their makeup before hitting the stage. Ash looked totally lost. Lana suddenly licked the rim of his cup. He suddenly asked, so hearing all that you still want to join the deathmatch club? Without hesitating, Ash nodded. Hell yeah. Lana stood up and signaled, if you're in, follow me. Ash looked back at the dude, totally confused. Huh, where'd Sword Maiden go? Lana called out from ahead, if we get lucky. We might catch some fresh corpses while they're still warm. Ash asked, people are deathmatching this early in the morning. Lana nodded. Deathmatches cost contribution points, but the first round is cheap, just 1 point. But every match after that, you gotta bet 1 more point than the last. Second match is 2, third is 3. It stacks up like that. Even if the bets get huge, you can lose the first 5 rounds and still have a shot at flipping the script. So everyone uses those first 5 fights to vibe check their opponents and figure out where they stand in this prison. That's why the fight frequency is so high. 1 match a day is pretty standard. We're getting close to the 15th, so the low-rank scrubs are desperate to escape judgment by fighting. I bet the arena floor is still sticky with blood right now. They walked in silence for a bit. Suddenly, Lana asked, oh yeah, almost forgot, you want to buy some meat? Ash looked suspicious. Meat? What kind of meat? Lana's voice got all savage as he tilted his head. Meat that drops in the arena. It's one of the few ways to spend points here. Anything that falls off a fighter belongs to the prison, but we can buy it back. Get lucky, and you might score a nice big thigh. Sashimi or cooked, it tastes amazing. Highly recommend it. As soon as they saw him, the crowd inside started clowning around. Look, the food critic Lana is here. Then they noticed who was behind him. Newbie. Whoa, it's the leader of the 4 pillar gods. Yo kid, you got guts hanging with a pillar god. Hey, Lana, that your new boy toy changed your taste, huh? Lana winked at the guy, flashing his long-ass tongue. Desmond, you keep running that mouth and messing up my romance, and I'll bite your head off right now, got it? The guy laughed nervously. Chill, Lana, I didn't mean it like that. Anyway, aren't you gonna introduce the fresh meat? Lana turned and pointed at Ash. This is Ash, showed up 2 days ago. Ash could feel the vibe. You could pick some random bald guy on the street who looks weak and easy to bully, but turns out he's a notorious killer in this prison. The fight was already on. Someone just walked in and asked, who's throwing hands right now? Tiger Norris versus Luther the Feeder. Luther was attacking like crazy while the crowd roared. What's up with Luther? Tiger's old news, but he won't even let these scrap points go. You guys didn't challenge Luther. Of course, we couldn't pass up such easy prey. But Luther's never seen Tiger fight for real. He thinks the old man's soft and the payout is high. So in the ring, Luther was looking all cocky at Tiger. But the old man just smirked like a fox, threw a light punch, and boom, Luther was on the floor, shaking and begging, no, don't. Tiger unleashed a combo, beating Luther, the Feeder, into a pulp. Ash covered his face, terrified, his voice shaking. Isn't the winner decided already? Why aren't they stopping? That's brutal. Suddenly, a familiar voice came from the shadows. Winner ain't decided yet. The air barrier is still up. That thing only drops when one of them is dead or totally out cold. As long as that barrier is there, you can't let your guard down. You gotta keep crushing, destroying, and ending them. Plus, there's no tapping out in a deathmatch. Losers only have 2 options, die or pass out. You wouldn't believe how many idiots get cocky with their kung fu, look down on their opponent, and treat this like some friendly sparring match. They prioritize the sport, hold back halfway, and then get killed by the guy they spared, losing a ton of contribution points and sending the other guy shooting up the judgment list. But that's the point of the deathmatch club, transferring points from you to someone who actually deserves them. Ash looked up, confused about the points. Tiger Norris bet 35 points, Luther, the Feeder, bet 5. The figure smirked. As long as both sides agree, even unfair bets are fair game. Besides, equal bets are rare. Rules say every time you fight, you gotta bet a little more than your last match. Tiger fought 34 death matches before this, so he had to put up 35 points. Ash asked, so this is Luther, the Feeder's 5th fight. The figure shook his head. Nah, it's his 10th. He lost 10 in a row. By the 10th match, he only had 5 points left. That's why they call him Luther. The Fear outcome is always obvious, picking fights he can't win. They looked back at the ring as the figure explained, watch this, just like that. Barriers down, door opens. Medics come out, drag the body to the clinic. That's when the match is officially over. The crowd whispered as Tiger Norris stepped down. That old man is nasty, playing weak to hustle points from the beastman. How's it a hustle? I knew from the start the old guy was trouble. Tiger walked down, stroking his beard and acting all frail. That beastman packed a punch, huh, think I'm hurt. The crowd wasn't buying it. Yeah, right, who believes that? Someone yelled out, "Old man, you got enough points. Next time, Lee, the easy wins for us young guys." The figure next to Ash stepped into the light. "In this ring, he's a monster," she said. Ash lit up Sword Maiden. She signaled him to zip it. Ash asked, "Why is he so strong?" Sword Maiden sighed. "Because this arena allows attacks but caps your magic power. Mages come in different types, crafters, warriors, scholars, healers, but most of them need magic power to control their spirits. Limit the power, and they're just regular people. But some mages are built different. Even without spirits, they're stronger than normal humans. They're called physical mages. Any mage that trains their body counts. Sword mages, brawlers, gunners, lancers, axe wielders. Give them the right weapon and they can solo a crowd. But when it comes to raw physical stats, they only got the edge in skills and physique, not much stronger than your average Joe. But there's this one type of martial artist who keeps buffing their body, even using spirit arts to mutate their flesh and blood structure, using their own self as a weapon, gaining this overwhelming violent power. This type of fighter, even without spirit arts, the buffs in their body don't just vanish. They're called pain ascetics. Weak flesh and blood. Nah, their bodies aren't even made of that stuff anymore. Ash nodded, finally getting it. So that's what Tiger Norris meant. How many people has the old man sent packing now? Counting from the day I got here. The geezers kicked out at least 5 people. Tiger lifted his head, voice sounding ancient. Seriously think I got internal injuries here. The others couldn't hide their annoyance. That guy rubbed against the railing so hard the scrap metal is falling off. Who believed that Geezer's Sword Maiden looked at Ash. Since you're here, just start fighting already. Just don't fight that old man. Ash pouted, I ain't stupid. Sword Maiden kept a straight face, hard to say. Then like she remembered something, she blurted out, oh right, for your first fight. Pick an unarmed opponent. And you should be empty-handed too. Ash looked confused. Why? Sword Maiden smirked, teasing, cause your body is weak as hell. If you grab a real sword right away, you'd probably get beaten to a pulp before you could swing it twice. If the enemy just uses fists, you can last longer to farm some experience, instead of getting disarmed and getting your head chopped off in one swing. I don't expect you to know how to fight, but getting beat up, that's guaranteed. Ash turned to the guy next to him. I want to join a deathmatch, preferably against someone unarmed. Got any suggestions? The guy chuckled. Unarmed combat, huh? You asked the right person. Buddy, I'm a pro at hand-to-hand. Fight me. I promise I won't bully you. Ash nodded excitedly. Cool, but this is my first match, so I'm only betting 1 contribution point. Even if you're trying to play dumb to catch a big fish, you won't earn much. The man waved his hand, signaling this way, and reassured him. Relax, buddy. I won't turn my nose up at your point. I'll even give you points. I'm super weak. Besides, even you want to punch me in the face, right? Meet again, Ash. With the cute fists. In a daze, Ash was dragged to the ring, hands getting wrapped. The crowd stared and shouted. That new cult leader wants a death match with Igola. Igola won't let go of even a single point. Did the cult leader fall for his trap? Then it's not just 1 point anymore. Igola might score 50 points this time. Looks like you really were faking being weak. Igola rolled his shoulders, pondering, I think you're hiding your strength to trap me. You're the 4 Pillars cult leader, the guy who faced the Gerald Westminster. And I'm just a regular scammer. Anyway, you slice it, your combat power is higher. That guy Igola, known as the Swindler, worked in insurance, scammed a bunch of rich folks out of huge money, and ended up in prison. Ash frowned, glancing back, thinking, but I'm not the original body, though. Sounds like he can't fight head-on either. Remembering what Lana and her boyfriend warned him. Kid prison bans, spirit arts, but he's a scammer. By the way, this is my boyfriend. Watch out for him using arts indirectly. Ash snapped out of it looking pumped, telling himself. Just like when he sent that party invite in the hall, right, as long as I don't agree to anything. Don't shake hands or touch him. I should be fine. He's just a conman anyway, looks skinny and weak. The advantage is mine. Sword Maiden sat on the side, trying not to burst out laughing. No way. The advantage is mine. Spectator, you trying to kill me with laughter. She grinned. Who gave you that confidence, huh? Then look at why you're even on the stage. Ash suddenly realized, asking himself, right, why am I on stage? Why did I agree to fight him? Ash watched his opponent, anxiety rising up. Hard to describe this feeling. It wasn't mind control. It was like his perspective shifted. I was totally sure I had to fight him to the death. Felt like believing some crazy idea that water is poison. Refusing didn't even cross my mind. Igola smiled mysteriously. Because you already agreed. Flashback to earlier, fight me. I promise I won't bully you. Sure. A chill ran down Ash's spine. Was it because of that? Sword Maiden stood behind, arms crossed. That's why I said, don't just accept invites from randoms. You're a spectator. I think you should reject everyone's intentions, good or bad. Just say no to everything. Take everything with your own power, rule everything with your will. Dominate the world like a demon lord. Ash turned away sharply, refusing. No, Sword Maiden roared in anger, you brat. Then the announcement echoed, match start, barrier activated. Igola bets 46 contribution points, versus Ash betting 1 point. Chip limit unlocked. Ash froze for a second, feeling it. Like his body was freed from chains. Aigola didn't wait, he lunged. Instinctively, Ash raised his hands to block, but Aigola feinted, dropped low, and swept Ash's legs. Ash face planted, slammed his chin hard on the floor. After that, every move Ash made was read like a book. Aigola attacked easily. Ash whimpered, holding his face. Aigola sneered, ordering clench your teeth, and Ash actually did it looking up. Aigola swung a fist right into his head. Ash stumbled body, hitting the barrier wall. Aigola used the same combo as before, chain punches. Ash gritted his teeth, taking it thinking, has the experience transfer started yet? Keep this up, and I'm dead meat. From afar, Sword Maiden just stood with hands on hips. Ash screamed for help. It hurts like hell. Sword Maiden, possess me and smash this blondie. Sword Maiden, mommy. Save me. She closed her eyes, ignoring him. Soon. The more you get beat, the faster the XP transfer. Also, don't just take it, try fighting back. Does fighting back speed up the transfer? No, but it make this death match less boring. Watching you get stomped is dull. She lowered her eyes, thinking to herself. Thought the guy would be on knees, begging, crying eyes out or something, right? Even if looking pathetic, pushed to the limit, trying to back against the wall to cut down the attack angle. This is Shattered Lake Prison, yo. Before getting ISEKAI'D here, probably just a regular office drone, huh? Hands guarding the triangle zone on the face, popping right back up after hitting the deck instead of laying flat to get pinned. Feel like even without that sorcerer's manual. After getting over the initial pain of crossing worlds, still adapting fast to this brutal world that looks pretty on the outside. Then deep down to the bone, ain't no coward. After dealing with that first wave of agony from the transfer, adapting quick to this cruel place disguised as paradise. Once the environment changes, true colors come out. Sure enough, that's the spectator right there. Ash Heath is all beat up now, but eyes still locked in. Counterattack. Yeah, fighting back against me. But as a working stiff. Aside from not talking back to the boss, ain't taking zero crap from nobody. Gritting teeth, throwing out a military instructor's horse stance punch. Aigola dodges, smooth voice, all-provoking, soft as cotton, real cute. Just as the sentence ends, boom, a straight punch right to Ash Heath's head. Gritting teeth, eyes shut, swinging the fist. You, damn piece of. Nowhere allowed to even curse. That chip banning prisoners from swearing. On the stands, everyone's waiting for it to kick in. Aigola's magic trick is so elegant, looks like both sides are just acting. Opponent's face diving right into the fist. Aigola 145 matches straight too strong. Gotta get old man Tiger to handle Aigola, huh? Tiger squints and smiles. No, an old timer like me is gonna be a stepping stone for you kids, sooner or later. Looking down at the hand, can't help but want to spit on the old guy. Who you fooling? That railing's about to get twisted into a pretzel. Lana's boyfriend speaks up. Lana can see through Aigola's tricks. Dunno, gotta fight around to know. But don't want to fight Aigola, not my type. Don't worry, babe. Ash Heath is totally battered while Aigola ain't got a scratch. Curling lips saying know why I won the last 45 matches. Physically ain't great, reflexes ain't fast, so why keep missing me while I hit every single time? Ash Heath is pissed, frustration, written all over the face. For real, physical stats are about the same, martial arts skills, just average, otherwise wouldn't have lasted this long. Both clearly noobs, so why only you getting the hits? And Aigola smirks arrogantly. Cause you're all livestock, skinned and deboned, then sliced by the master into tasty little shapes. Not just you, even those trolls and goblins with way better bodies. All fell on this ring, handing over contribution points that didn't belong to them. Moment stepping in neck was already in the chain prepared, until every last point is squeezed out, just a domestic animal to be ordered around. Ash Heath can't take it anymore, charging in with rage. Aigola doesn't even dodge, just stands there taunting, weak, way too weak. Thinking inside, gonna attack the left side of the face. Aigola throws an uppercut, voice dripping with sarcasm. Fist still smells like milk, think that's gonna hit anyone. Every time Ash Heath attacks, Aigola sees the next move. Gonna lift a leg to kick the left shin. Wants to grapple. Wants to use a right hook. Aigola smiles, super calm. Thoughts kept flowing into consciousness, attack intent can't escape the vision. Wants to punch straight at the chest. Aigola leans back, mocking. Now just a seasoned lamb kneeling at the feet, waiting to be grilled. Let me trample all over. Livestock. Ash Heath swings again. Aigola keeps dodging. Come on, almost hit that time. Aigola tries to smash the wrist down on the head in some magical way. Ash Heath smoothly dodges. Aigola jumps back, eyes wide with shock. Dodged the attack. Not good, bad omen, can't play around anymore, gotta knock out cold. Aigola rushes in like a beast, tearing prey apart. Aigola getting serious now. Right, let's wrap this up. Crowd on the stands buzzing with excitement. Rare to get a newbie, don't break the toy so fast. Aigola got so many contribution points, let me have some fun too. Aigola bring a knife next match, wanna eat some chewy thigh meat. Someone shouts up, Lana, don't fight me for it. But Lana suddenly sits up, silent. Even if not fighting for it, you ain't eating. Suddenly someone speaks up. Look y'all, before every punch from Pretty Beast hit the mark. Now landing 1 out of 4 is lucky. Plus, that punch might get blocked by the arm, pretty interesting. Over by Tiger, dude next to the side smirks, playing dumb to catch the prey. Tiger Norris looks like the same breed as you. Tiger replies calm, no, not acting, was a real pig before. Lana jumps up too, watching serious. Body can't lie, hasn't been through any combat training. Clearly, a scholar used to silk and velvet. I brought the kid in, I saw it clear. Whole stand goes wild, whispering getting louder. How's that possible? Doesn't that mean in just a few minutes of fighting developed combat instincts, this kid, a believer of the 4 pillar gods? That's right, wrong person, wrong place, awakened the wrong talent. What a shame. The vice leader of the evil sect, making Egola defend for the first time. Tiger rests chin on hand, smiling. Should be over now. Scene change, every era's got a main theme. In this day and age, big wars hardly happen, humans ain't expanding territory no more. Classes are fixed, the system is supreme looting replaced by high-level exploitation. Everyone fighting for resources that are already there. Every move gotta follow rules set thousands of years ago. So the main theme now is domination ruling over others. Ruling organizations, culture thoughts in a world where class is fixed from birth, life's path already set. Most things ain't got nothing to do with the Blood Moon Kingdom in the Void Realm. Spirit warlocks like us, we're basically apex predators sitting at the top of the food chain. Even the rulers of this country, the Blood Saints and Moon Shadows, are terrified of us, so they blocked all spirit knowledge from the lower classes. But since my Siren bloodline woke up and I found 2 killer spirit arts in the Void, Resonance and Execution, I taught myself Evolve and boom, became a full-blown spirit warlock. Plus, I was already a contractor in the insurance biz, rocking the basic spirit art contract. So combining Resonance contract and Execution, I created a miracle combo specifically for messing with intelligent life forms. It's called Walk the Talk. Joke or lie doesn't matter. Once the mouth opens, Resonance links us. Contract locks and the promise, and Execution forces them to do it. In a civilized society, this move is undefeated. Literally cheat codes. If I hadn't run into a monster opponent, I'd be chilling at a beach villa right now, sipping fine wine. But hey, anywhere with rules, I'm the boss, prison included. Even with my spirit, arts, and powers dampened here, the big 3 contract. Resonance and Execution are all tied to speech. Just by talking, I can bypass the chip's limits and trigger spirit resonance. Using the contract link and guiding words, I keep the resonance going between us. That's how I read the attack patterns, aiming for my left cheek. Thanks to Walk the Talk, even if they lose, they'll agree to a 2nd, 3rd, even 4th death match. Until I drain every last contribution point. I won 45 matches in a row like that. Back to reality, Egola's eyes are popping out, sweat dripping down. But this guy, he went from silent cattle waiting for slaughter to, well, loud cattle waiting for slaughter. Just more screaming. He suddenly grinned, mocking, cute punch, softer than a baby's fist. Egola stepped back and asked, tired already. Gotta admit, I underestimated you. Your learning speed is insane. Is this a gift from the 4 pillar gods or some hidden talent you just found? You got the guts to stop being cattle, I'll give you that. But your body is trash. Weak. I just need to stall and you'll collapse. Consider that 1 contribution point you bet as the ransom for evolving from livestock to human. Count your lucky stars. Ash, you're the only cattle that managed to break the chains, but that's where it ends. After this death match, I'm done with you. No more challenges. And under prison rules, you can't touch me for revenge either. Know the rules, exploit them, rule them. That is true power. When you're swallowed by strength and dragged to the Blood Moon Judgment, that tiny fighting talent will just turn you from cattle into a wild beast. Meanwhile, I'll be sitting somewhere safe, sipping red wine and watching you struggle. That's the difference between us. The gap between the ruled and the ruler. Ash pursed his lips, raised a fist, and dropped a cryptic line. Don't cover your face. Egola froze. Ash's dark eyes went cold. You look pretty good. I want to keep looking at you. On the other side, Egola's thoughts turned into a chaotic mess. You look pretty good. I want to keep looking at you. You look pretty good. I want to keep looking at you. You look pretty good. I want to keep looking at you. You look pretty good. I want to keep looking at you. You look pretty good. I want to keep looking at you. You look pretty good. I want to keep looking at you.
You look pretty good. I want to keep looking at you.
Unconsciously, he stepped back. Egola paused. It was the first time he'd heard such a sincere compliment in the ring. His vanity kicked in. He dropped his hands to show off his face, and bam, Ash launched a punch that sent him flying yards away. The crowd's jaws dropped. The bell rang, game over. Winner Ash. But his eyes glazed over as he slipped into a hallucination. He face-planted, groaning nonstop. Hurts. Is this a real fight? It hurts so bad. Then Tiger Norris's voice echoed in his head. Weed out the weak. Keep the aggression. Before hitting the stage, actors must put on their makeup. Ash realized what was up and nodded. I get it. It's just like when we make mobile games and draw those insane character illustrations. This deathmatch. It's turning death row inmates into living illustrations. After losing enough matches, the inmate goes crazy from the pain, totally desperate and insane from fear. And that's when the audience gets what they want, a bloody beast full of fight, despair, fear, but still trying to resist. Watching that is way more entertaining than seeing some numb, dried-up zombie die. It's an open conspiracy and we can't refuse it. The loser becomes the product the prison needs live-streamed and sold for a bargain. But the winner, we're just drinking poison to quench our thirst. Sooner or later, we'll end up on that broadcast too, walking the same road to hell. Private showers, good food, nice facilities. They're just fattening us up for the slaughter. Ash rubbed his chin deep in thought. This judgment chain, it's just internal competition. A zero-sum game. Either you go face judgment or I get executed. In the dream, a clear version of Ash appeared and replied, makes sense though. Who told them to break the law and end up on death row?
Don't want to be exploited, just lie down and die. Want to live. Compete. If I wasn't locked up here, I'd probably applaud the system and watch the drama from the sidelines.
Both versions of Ash rubbed their bodies in surprise the pain was gone. Suddenly, a voice called out, Ash, if you're awake, walk. You'll miss dinner, and there are no sick meals here. Heavy eyelids opened, and Ash stared at the weird girl. Number 222. She frowned, asking fast, why are your eyes popping out like that? Something wrong? Where does it hurt? Let me see. The more it kept yapping, the closer that Crow got. Ash was sweating bullets, thinking I'm totally getting threatened here. He huddled in the corner, stumbling over his words. My eyes are fine, face is fine. Actually, to be honest, my face might be a little messed up. Number 222 heard that and got all worried. Your face has a problem. I healed all the wounds though. Did a blood vessel burst inside? Doesn't look like it. Ash watched the crow panic and thought, scary looking, but definitely a healer, not some cultist freak. Ash cracked a joke to lighten the mood. I just feel like I'm not as handsome as I used to be. Did you botch the job? Hey, do you guys offer plastic surgery here? Inside he was thinking, actually looks pretty serious and responsible. Doesn't seem like a bad guy. Just trying to make conversation. I'm pretty confident in my comedy skills. But a second later, Ash froze completely. The crow lady got right in his face, sounding super friendly. Of course we do. Corner cutting nose jobs, bone shaving, chin implants. I can do it all. Whatever look you want, you got it. Heck, I can even change your species if you're into that. I highly recommend the cylinder technique. Great for widening the eyes. Oh, sorry. Were you looking for mouth surgery? Ash was annoyed but too scared to speak up, thinking, your beak is literally stabbing me. Number 222 raised a hand menacingly. I've got this new technique called Y-bit candy. It gives your lips a natural sweet taste. Ash shrank back and blurted out, I'm broke. But the crow dropped a terrifying line. I don't need your money. I just want your body. They stared at each other in awkward silence. The crow turned away, holding its head. I didn't mean it like that. Ash tried to break the tension. Moving a bit fast, aren't we? We just met. Wait, are you a guy or a girl? Hold up, what species are you even? After calming down, the crow explained. I meant that if you let me operate on you, that's payment. Enough. No cash needed. Totally free. Ash shamelessly asked, what if I want you to pay me? The crow actually pulled out a wallet. How much do you need? Ash had to get serious to stop it. Whoa, stop, I was just joking. I don't actually want plastic surgery. The crow looked disappointed. You really won't do it. I'm a silver rank healer with 3 spirit arts. You won't find a skilled healer who works for free out there. Finding me is like hitting the jackpot. Ash raised a hand like a wise sage. In my line of work, we have a saying, free stuff is always the most expensive. If I get greedy for a freebie, I'll pay for it some other way. The crow lowered its head and mumbled, fine. If you let me operate, there's a tiny risk. Ash felt a chill. Tiny number 222 pinched 2 fingers together. Just a teeny tiny bit. Ash looked at the gesture with a knowing nod. A teeny tiny bit. Yeah, I've heard that one before. Then he screamed, no way. Number 222 pouted. Really? You won't? Seeing that, Ash felt a bit bad. Maybe. You should explain what teeny tiny means first. So the 4-eyed crow started the lecture. Medicine in this world comes from spirit arts. As long as the patient has water in their body, we can drain blood, cut flesh, and trigger the spirit art to regenerate wounds fast. The spirit art we healers use most is hydrotherapy from the water school, but it has flaws. Like, sometimes things grow back too much or you get a random lump of meat. But the hydro spirit art evolves. If you treat enough patients, you get better at handling the same issues. It can even evolve into a 2-winged spirit art. Just a few more tries and I'll nail it. Broken Lake Prison is awesome. Prisoners get beaten half to death every day. It's the perfect place to farm XP. Ash's eye twitched, watching the crow geek out. So that's how it is. It wasn't just a setup to make prisoners fight each other. They're turning us into renewable resources. Literal XP farms for healers. This prison really knows how to maximize profits. He rubbed his chin deep in thought. But it's free. No contribution points needed. The prison's thinking too small. Compared to my old company, they're amateurs. My company didn't just sell us sudden death insurance, they literally docked our pay for the electricity we use while working overtime. My plan to get rich off overtime and crypto. Poof, gone.
Number 222 heard that and shivered, stuttering. That place sounds absolutely terrifying.
Ash pointed at the crow's getup. Can't you guys put a little more effort into your looks? The crow pointed at its outfit. This is tradition. It has meaning. The crow leaned in with a creepy vibe. Think about it. If I treat you and something goes wrong, and you wake up missing a few parts, looking at me like this, would you dare attack me? Ash nodded. Nope. Definitely not. The crow looked pleased. Exactly. Ash pursed his lips. So the outfit is just a tool to manage the doctor-patient relationship. Then it clicked. He glared at the crow. Wait a minute. Does that mean the chance of you messing up is actually super high? The crow looked away and mumbled, just a little bit, not huge. Ash's lip twitched as he forced a smile. Yeah, just a little bit, sure. Then he went off. Your customer service sucks. I bet you don't get any patients on the outside, do you? People probably trash your skills, so you had to hide in a prison to farm XP on inmates who can't sue you right. The four-eyed crow drooped its head. I healed them, but they still reported me and caused trouble. And some of those issues weren't even my fault. They did it to themselves. I provided the basic medical guarantee. Why are they so demanding? The crow couldn't hold it back anymore and started sobbing. Ash watched this meltdown and asked, you know what your problem is? The crow didn't hesitate. I know. My technique isn't good enough. Ash squatted down, putting on his life coach voice. Wrong. It's because you're too soft. The crow looked stunned. Ash scolded the bird. You sound wimpy and weak. If you act like that, the second a medical accident happens, patients are going to walk all over you. Even if you don't charge a dime, they're going to squeeze you dry till you drop. Let me school you on this. When you say a cure isn't guaranteed, gotta speak up, back straight, say it with chest, pure confidence and pride. That's just step 1 though. Step 2, find something wrong with the patient. If they're hot, tell them they're living too wild. If they're ugly, say it's 'cause nobody loves them enough. Skinny malnutrition, fat overeating. There's always some criticism that fits. Nobody's perfect, so there's always a weak spot to press. Just follow these steps. And boom, authority established. Puts the patient in their place, makes them feel lucky to get treated like they should be grateful. Even if the treatment gets botched, they won't blame the doc, they'll defend him instead. Crow shivered, doubtful. Seriously, that works? Ash nodded, totally sure. For real. Years of personal experience speaking. So got it? Crow asked timidly. What do I do? Ash grabbed Crow's shoulders and shook hard. From now on, after any surgery, just tell him I did my best. Crow stammered, I did my best. Ash screamed louder, can't hear a thing. Crow took a deep breath and yelled, I did my best. Ash sat back on the bed, satisfied, chuckling softly. You'll figure out the rest. I gotta go eat. Thinking inwardly, man, I know this manipulation game way too well. Crow kept muttering, I did my best. I did my best. Ash thought that pulling this stunt in a corporate office should be illegal, but for volunteer healers working for free, gotta make their career path a little smoother. Just as Ash turned to leave, Crow called out, hey, seriously, not gonna get plastic surgery. Look in the mirror. Don't you feel like showing up in public looking like that is kinda disrespectful to others? Ash ignored the narcissism. This kid learns fast using the skill on the teacher already. If you join my company, you'd be middle management material for sure. Ash stood up to deliver a polite roast. Compared to that ugly crow mask, I think I look pretty damn good. Next time for sure. Crow boiled with rage. I ain't ugly, you are, Ash squinted. So confident. Why not look at yourself then? That shut Crow up. Suddenly, Crow shoved something into Ash's hand. Right, Ash, take this. Ash looked at the number plate confused. The hell is this? Crow replied, my ID tag. Keep it on you 24/7, even when you sleep. That way everyone knows you're with me. Ash squinted at Crow, asking suspiciously, so what are you exactly, a G or an M? I'm chill, but if your demands get too weird, I'm charging extra. Crow poked Ash's head, annoyed. If you don't get surgery, you'll scare people into challenging you to a death match. Just wear my tag so when you get beaten to a pulp, you get priority treatment. And if your face gets smashed, I can fix that too. Ash laughed helplessly. Learn that manipulation trick fast, huh? Crow pushed Ash out. All right, go eat, cafeteria's closing soon. Ash remembered the food, nodding. Before leaving though, Ash turned back. Hey, next time I drop by, peel an apple for me, yeah. Crow stayed silent, pushed Ash out, then finally answered, sure. But if you want to thank me, let me fix your face. Ash grinned, let's grab food sometime. I'm out 222. See ya. Oh, and thanks. Next time for sure. Walking away, Ash felt pretty smug. Mission accomplished. The advice was just a corporate hack. Getting someone to do small favors for you is the fastest shortcut to bonding. Use that exact move to win top 10 employee votes back in the day and snag a 6-month bonus. Just as Ash left, another Crow walked in. Why are you still here? A patient just woke up, took a while. Crow explained, then froze, looking at the other's tag. A senior. 222 added, gave him my tag to book future treatment. 176 ignored that and asked, you didn't talk to that guy, did you? 222 paused. 176 snapped, you know, chatting with prisoners breaks the rules. Our identities are strictly confidential. If news about our rituals here leaks, the Human Rights Association will burn the council to the ground. 222 bowed apologetically, I know. 176 shooed Crow away. Then get back to your room. That thesis on 11-inch blood arts is due this weekend. Don't think a little talent lets you slack off. Without the team leader's say-so, you aren't even qualified to be here. Crow scrambled out obediently. Stopping at the door, Crow's mind raced. Is Senior just picking on my flaws to flex authority, trying to put me in my place? I got in cause of the team leader can't change that. It's got nothing to do with my skills, but he keeps using it to drag me down. That guy made a lot of sense, actually. And his recovery speed way stronger than normal martial artists. Treating him felt awesome. Hope Ash gets beaten half to death again soon. Meanwhile, Ash thought this whole ordeal had bought some safety. Turns out, just running in circles. Ash yelled, for what looking absolutely miserable. Gripping the fork tight, Ash fumed. I earned 45 contribution points. Still gotta face the Blood Moon trial in a few days. Didn't they say high contribution pushes your trial back? Lana shrugged. Yeah, but there's a catch. No prisoner is allowed to skip their first Blood Moon trial. Only after you survive the first one do points start mattering for the schedule. Out of 8 people, only 1 dies. 12.5% death rate is actually pretty low. Ash went back to eating, nodding. Sounds doable. Lana paused for a sec, then dropped the bomb. But hey, you're the head honcho of the Four Pillars cult. You've wrecked at least 1,000 innocent lives. Your bad rep is everywhere right now. Everyone knows your name. You're definitely going to be the star of the show at the Blood Moon Judgment. So what's it going to be? If you're going to quit, just toss those contribution points my way. I'll totally remember your sacrifice while I'm living it up with my boyfriend. Ash didn't hesitate, just waved a hand and dipped. Who knows, I might actually make it. No way I'm quitting. Lana took a sip of water, giving a deep, calculating look. Cool. Someone wants to challenge you. You down? Ash stopped chewing, totally caught off guard. Wait, is that why you were camping out for me at the cafeteria? Lana gave a serious look. The challenger bet 37 contribution points. Ash chewed, looking totally shocked. 37. Did you seriously fight 36 matches just to challenge me? I can only bet like 2 points. Lana nodded. Exactly. Usually the veterans don't bother challenging newbies, especially someone who hasn't even fought 5 matches. The vets don't give a crap about those points. So spill it, you got beef with this guy or something. Ash kept chewing. Who is it? Lana dropped the name Vargas. Ash shook his head. Never heard of him. Lana licked the rim of the cup out of habit. How about Xylan? Ash tilted his head looking clueless. Who? Lana didn't answer, just kept drinking. Finally, Lana replied, nothing. Just reminded me of someone I used to know. So you accepting Vargas's challenge or what? Ash asked immediately. What weapon does Vargas use? Lana dropped one word, sword. Ash unconsciously glanced to the side, thoughts racing. A sword. It's a sword. The sword spirit caught that look and glared. What's with the sneaky side eye? Spit it out. Ash felt a chill run down his spine. How to explain this? Ash blushed and pouted. I was just wondering. If you can touch me, can I touch you too? Hey, make sure you wash up good when we get back. The sword spirit drew her weapon, voice low and dangerous. Is that what I asked you? With a blade at his throat, Ash blustered. Tell Vargas to wash his neck and wait for me tomorrow. Lana stood up to leave. All right, hit up the death arena tomorrow morning then. My boyfriend's waiting. Later. Ash watched Lana walk away. Ash muttered, confused. Isn't that the way to the death arena? Didn't he say he was going to the couple's suite? The sword spirit waved a hand dismissively. Get back to the dorm. You're going to be busy tonight. I'm taking you to a whole new world. Ash's face turned beet red, mind going straight to the gutter. A whole new world? Do I look like that much of a virgin? This girl has zero chill. If I let her keep bossing me around, I'm never going to get any respect. Taking too long, the sword spirit called out, What are you waiting for? Ash immediately ran over like a puppy. Coming. Scene shift. 8:45 p.m. at the death arena. That guy was weird. Ash agreed, but not. 'Cause of that name you gave me. He's just hyped to fight someone with a sword. A mysterious guy spoke from the shadows. Thanks. I owe you one. Lana didn't hold back. Vargas, you can pay me back right now. Lana pressed on. Just tell me why you're suddenly obsessed with that cute kid, Ash. Does it have something to do with that name, Xylan? The man in the shadows smirked. I don't mind telling you as long as you don't regret hearing it. Lana pulled out some stew from the loser's stash and shrugged. Hey, never mind then. Me and my boyfriend are super happy. I like my life the way it is. I don't want to get crushed in some big shot power struggle. Chewing greedily, Lana glanced back with a warning look. But seriously, is Ash actually the leader of the Four Pillars cult? I'm usually pretty good at reading people. He looks like some fresh intern or student. I actually thought he was innocent. The man narrowed his eyes and scoffed. Anyone who steps foot in this hellhole is a long way from innocent. Deep in the shadows, Vargas spoke, his voice grim. Ash agreed to fight me from the start. The warden glanced over, a slight smirk playing on his lips. You have to completely crush his brain, destroy his heart and life so badly that even a 2-winged sorcerer couldn't fix him. Vargas walked past the warden, voice dripping with suspicion. I'll do what you want, but what about your end of the deal? The warden crossed his arms, cool as a cucumber. As long as Ash dies tomorrow, then once the next Blood Moon judgment is over, You'll vanish from this prison. But you and that kid can't stay in Kaimeng City. That's Mr. Xylan's condition. Vargas froze, then scoffed, clearly annoyed. Fine by me. I have zero interest in breathing the same air as Xylan anyway. Suddenly, the warden slapped Vargas on the back, his voice firm and heavy with pressure. All right, free time's almost up. Quit loitering and get back in your cell. Vargas was led to a lonely room with a bright window, the voice still echoing in his ears. Just an elf on death row, yet he still acts like some high-born noble. The scene shifts from the shadows to a wooden door. And Ash, he had no clue about any of this drama. He was in his room with the sword spirit talking about some grown-up stuff. Ash and the sword spirit were deep in conversation. I've got 2 pieces of news, she said. Good news, you get free housing from the government for the rest of your life. Ash lit up. Wait, seriously, that's awesome. Suddenly, she leaned in close, grinning. Bad news, they can drag you out and chop your head off literally whenever. Ash froze. Can't I just break out? She sat back, crossing her legs, totally chill. You saw it yourself today. Those ascetic monks who turn their bodies into diamond, even they're stuck here rolling around in the muck because of the chips. So as long as that chip is in your neck, you ain't escaping. Ash's mind raced through the possibilities. Even if I did manage to bail, I'd be screwed immediately. He went pale thinking about jumping from the 18th floor, only to realize he still couldn't escape the chip's reach. What if I just cut the chunk of meat out of my neck? The sword spirit looked at him like he was an idiot. If it was that easy, I would have sliced it out of you ages ago. The miracle chip is fused to your marrow. It's in your bones, your nerves, your muscles. Unless you want to jump into a vat of molten steel, like in a movie, it's not coming out. In other words, removing the chip the normal way is a total no-go. Ash Heath suddenly asked. What about sorcerer tricks then? Sword Maiden smirked, sizing him up. Sorcerer tricks, there's tons. But the one you've actually got a shot at grabbing is the swordsmanship miracle self-severance. Ash Heath's face lit up instantly. Seriously, there's actually a way. A vision appeared, a figure training inside roaring flames. Sword Maiden broke it down. Self-severance is a defensive miracle for swordsmen. It's meant to purify abnormal statuses. All you gotta do is cast it, and boom, every single miracle chip in the body gets wiped. It might just be a silver rank miracle for a one-winged sorcerer, but it can directly purify. Most lingering damage caused by 2-winged spirits. That's your only ticket to jailbreaking out of here. Ash Heath couldn't hide the excitement, so how do I get my hands on it? Sword Maiden held up a hand to cut the chatter. To pull off a miracle, first thing needed is a spirit with crowd control dispelling skills. I like that look. Anyway, to get a spirit, there are 4 paths. Sword Maiden started listing them out. 1. Study hard and resonate with the Void Realm, letting Void Realm knowledge manifest as a spirit in reality. Yeah, that path is a dead end for you. The miracle chip severed the link to the Void Realm ages ago. Doesn't matter how much knowledge gets absorbed, triggering a resonance is impossible. 2. Trade for a spirit. Needless to say you're broke, so no trading. 3. Kill a sorcerer and loot the spirit off their corpse. A mortal killing a sorcerer. That usually only happens when male or female pets catch their masters off guard during intimate moments. You don't have the chops for that either. Ash Heath froze, then threw back with a bit of cocky confidence. Hey, there's a chance I could totally make a living off this handsome face, right? Sword Maiden ignored that completely. 4. Go to the Void Realm and hunt for a wild spirit. That's the only option left right now. A ghostly face glowing with mysterious light appeared between the two. Ash Heath asked curiously, so how exactly does one get to the Void Realm? Sword Maiden answered calmly. The only way is to activate the Gate of Truth inside a spirit, projecting consciousness directly into the Void Realm. Ash Heath suddenly clapped hands together, looking pumped. Okay, got it. If I want to go to the Void Realm, I need a spirit. And my whole reason for going to the Void Realm is to find a spirit. Seeing that realization, Sword Maiden grinned. Bingo. The scene abruptly shifted to a silhouette holding a rejected job application. Isn't this the classic fresh grad nightmare? You know, finding out every entry-level job requires 3 years of experience. Ash Heath dropped to knees, hands thrown up like complaining to the gods. I don't have a spirit, so I can't go to the Void Realm. But to find a spirit, I have to go to the Void Realm. Isn't this just a doomed loop? Meanwhile, Sword Maiden just leaned back in the chair, chill as ever. Who told you that you have to use your own spirit to get to the Void Realm? The words hit, making Ash Heath whip around to look at Sword Maiden in confusion. Sword Maiden pointed out with a bright face. Did you forget? Oh wait, I already have a sword spirit wave, so I have the qualifications to enter the Void Realm. Ash Heath just stared blankly. Spectator, you and I are soul-bound through the manual. Taking you along to the Void Realm, obviously not a problem. Ash Heath immediately spun around to check the system panel in disbelief. That feature actually exists, Sword Maiden grumbled, annoyed. Did you seriously forget? Check it yourself. Ash Heath's eyes went wide looking at the system. Since when was there a new function module? A finger tapped on a character avatar. All right, then let's mark it. Scrolling down and clicking preparation complete. Then, as if realizing something, Ash Heath glanced back, looking blankly at Sword Maiden. The system panel started running the confirmation. Ash Heath gave a side eye and said, I've already confirmed I'm ready. You better hurry up and confirm too. Sword Maiden slowly stood up and turned away completely. I'm heading back to get ready. You just chill and wait. Ash Heath blinked, confused. What else do you even need to prepare? She glanced back, waving a finger back and forth. Lots of stuff. A virgin guy like you wouldn't understand. Steam practically blew out of Ash Heath's ears. What the hell? What proof do you have that I'm a virgin? The scene shifted, something suddenly flashing by. Ash Heath slumped onto the bed in the empty room, eventually flopping down to hog the whole space, muttering softly. Wait, huh? Eyes slowly drifted shut while thoughts raced. Ash Heath was genuinely wiped out today. Cut to the night sky in Starfall, where the time zone was 3 hours ahead of Ash Heath. In front was the Swordflower University girls' dorm. Inside her room, Sonia and Ingrid had just returned from practice, chatting wearily. Ingrid, ugh, I'm dying. You showering first or me? I'll go first. Gotta do laundry later anyway, plus your legs are basically jelly right now. Sit and recover some stamina. Yeah. Professor Trozen is way too strict. Adele chuckled softly as the complaining continued. Advanced classes sparring with her, then night practice to master the sword spirit wave. Meanwhile, Eves just ignored the chatter, feeling the weight of the jam-packed schedule while staying glued to the book in hand. The conversation didn't stop. It just kept rolling. Isn't this actually good, though? That's Professor Trozen, the Hidden Hand Sword Saint, one of the 10 elite sword saints of Starfall. Rumor has it she's about to break through to the four-winged legendary rank. When that happens, Sonia, you'll be the student of a legendary sorcerer. Professor Trozen hasn't actually said she'd take me as a student yet. She just thinks I have talent. Well, tomorrow I'll introduce you to Professor Trozen. But then Ingrid suddenly raised a voice, firm and loud. No need, I'm about to break through to the 10th ring anyway. A few more months and I can summon a spirit, and the swordsmanship department's resources will open up for me too. Who knows, I might just catch up to you from behind. Besides, the professor obviously wants to nurture geniuses. I'm just regular. Sonia just replied, I won't wait for you. She added, Ingrid, lucky you were there earlier. If not for you, I wouldn't have known how to turn down that invitation. From Felix Vosseroda. Swordflower University is still too small. In the future, I definitely have to go to the University of Truth to find romance. Just wait until my swordsmanship achieves something real. He said Professor Trozen already signed me up for the fencing tournament over at Truth University. I get to use their gear too. Gonna be running back and forth between Truth and Swordflower a lot, I guess. Suddenly, Adel whipped around, looking super hyped. Yo, Sonia, that means you'll be rubbing shoulders with all the elites at Truth, right? If you spot any hot guys, you better hook me up. Sonia was like, no problem. Meanwhile, Ingrid was thinking, not my business. She crept up behind Lois, who was buried in a book, and started teasing her. How could I forget my roomie when good stuff happens? We've spent such a blissful year together as besties, haven't we? Right, Lois, all is the little princess studying water arts. I'm so jealous. I wish I could keep studying water arts too. So elegant, so classy. Sonia watched that trembling hand with pure excitement, thinking, can't keep up the act? Huh, gonna blow your top. Come on, do it. She stared at Lois, shaking totally, expecting a fight. But then, Lois just calmed down. Realizing she wasn't gonna snap, Sonia just walked away. Whatever, I'll shower in the morning. Gotta head to the meditation room to prep for my first void dive. You guys have a fun night. Adel waved cheerfully at her back. Bye, Sonia. But inside Lois's head, thoughts were racing like crazy. That hillbilly. Acting all high and mighty. Lois, don't let it get to you. With that attitude, she's gonna hit a wall eventually. It's just a little sword talent, big deal. What's so special about that? She muttered to herself. I lost this time. That country bumpkin climbs so high. I actually have to look up to see her now. If this keeps up when we meet after graduation, I'll be the one bowing to her. Lois exploded with a mix of rage and jealousy. I can't accept this. No way I'm inferior to that peasant. Adel turned away slowly but kept eyes glued on her. She popped open her system panel, glanced back at Lois, who was still grinding away at that book, and then just slumped onto the desk, book in hand. Cut to a towering building under the night sky. Arms stretched out, the bracelet started glowing. This was Swordflower's meditation hall, built specifically for sorcerers exploring the void. The guard piped up with instructions. Bracelet data verified. Please proceed straight toward this wall. Sonia walked calmly at the wall, phasing right through it like it was nothing. Her face lit up. The inside was enchanted with the starlight blessing, boosting mental processing. Sonia gasped, whoa, my thinking speed. It's seriously way faster. Even the sword spirit vibes were buzzing with excitement. Totally lives up to the hype of a place blessed by the Lord of many stars. Spectator had been tagging along the whole time unbeknownst to her. She asked, so, once I enter the void, you gonna stick with me? Spectator just shrugged. That counts as overtime. Gonna cost you extra. She shot back. You said I'm broke. The most valuable thing I own is literally me. Hearing that, she grinned. That's exactly what I was waiting for. From now on, you're my employee. Since you haven't graduated, you're on probation. No contract and definitely no pay. You've put in so much work already. Testing me in dreams, setting up my training, unlocking my sword talent. You've invested a ton into grooming me. You definitely want to return on that investment, unless you're just a figment of my imagination. Spectator got serious, but with a hint of mystery. The only thing you gotta do is survive. Sonia whipped around, confused. Survive. What's that mean? He just laughed it off. Just kidding. Truth is, for various reasons, I'm super weak right now. Can't go deep into the void alone, so I need you as my bodyguard. Go on. With that, she slapped her hand on the scanner. Info verified. The door creaked open and Sonia stepped into the silent, floating darkness. She wandered through the dark, found a spot, and sat in a meditative pose facing a flame. Sonia closed her eyes and boom, she dropped into another dimension. The flame morphed into some mystical creature and suddenly she was free falling into an abyss. Panicked, she reached out and screamed, "Spectator." A voice echoed back, "I'm here. Chill out. We're bound together." A figure materialized in the fog, looking kinda awkward. Divine fate has linked us. They stared at each other, both shocked, whispering simultaneously, "Spectator, Sword Maiden." Realization hit them. Is this the void? It looked exactly like the textbook descriptions. This is the sea of knowledge. The silver sea. The primordial sea. Spectator stared at the reflection in the water. Wait, why isn't it showing my face? Sonia looked around skeptical. Whether you're a genius or a nobody, the legendary six-winged god, lord, or a one-winged sorcerer, everyone starts here in this sea. Unlike her, he just stood there with a blank look thinking, I'm rocking this pitch-black cloak just like in the illustrations. Looking pretty cool. Suddenly, Sonia threw her arms up and yelled, "Why the hell is there a boat?" The textbook said all sorcerers arrive here buck naked. Hearing that, Spectator looked up, eyes drifting. Somewhere appropriate. Naked, you say? She quickly backpedaled. Naked means we don't have external gear. Our appearance here reflects our consciousness. I heard everyone has to swim in the sea the moment they get here. There shouldn't be a boat, Spectator just pointed. He spoke calmly, I get it. Your consciousness is split. The heavy part of your soul morphed into this little boat to help you get around. The agile part of your mind became your current form. So, the boat is the real you. You're just a mental projection. Soul is the boat, consciousness is the person. Boat carries person to shore. Makes total sense. Sonia narrowed her eyes, suspicious. And how are you going to prove that? He wasn't backing down. Voice dripping with challenge. He said, don't believe me. Try jumping. If I'm right, you can't leave this boat at all. Barely finished talking and Sonia just dove straight into the water. She popped back up a second later, soaking wet, but still looking totally arrogant. You're wrong. I can totally leave the boat. This thing ain't made for my soul or whatever. Sonia climbed back up, smirking like she won. She thought to herself, ha, Spectator, guess you ain't perfect. Spectator just grunted, but then Sonia froze when she realized exactly where he was looking. She snapped. Hey, what are you inspecting, huh? Testing the merchandise. Bam, Spectator instantly got a bump on his head. He crossed his arms, grumbling. It's just a boat, dude. Why the drama? Still pissed, Sonia yelled. Of course, I'm surprised, you idiot. Having a boat means not drowning, duh, isn't that obvious? And don't joke about drowning. That's like the #1 way sorcerers die while leveling up. Exploring the Void Realm is a huge deal. Almost all the crazy power-ups and breakthroughs happen right here. Tons of sorcerers waste their whole lives exploring this place. The real world. That's just a stage to flex your powers when you have free time. But if you go too deep or just stand around like a statue, the sea of knowledge is going to swallow you whole. Spectator still looked clueless. So, what happens if we die here? Sonia rolled her eyes. Die here and you're out for 3 days recovering your spirit. The scene shifted to a shadow drowning in the deep. Dying in the void messes up your soul big time. The stronger you are, the harder you crash, and the longer it takes to reboot. Newbies need 3 days, but a silver sorcerer out for at least 15 days, and gold ranks. You're talking months. Heard that sanctuary and legend ranks take 3 years to heal. 3 years and then another 3 years. Man, do you know how hard that life is? In the void, realm time flies by years. If you can't explore, your growth speed tanks by like 90%. That's why sorcerers argue about this stuff. Some play it safe, grinding slowly. Others, they love the risk. Win the bet and you're surrounded by hotties at the club. Lose and you become the hottie working the club. Spectator rubbed his chin, looking deep in thought. Put it that way and this boat sounds totally OP. Wait a sec. Why does this feel like a hack or something? He scratched his head, staring at the system panel popping up. Does this cheat have something to do with the sorcerer's manual? The manual actually works while everything else totally flopped. Another window popped up. Entered Void Realm Exploration Mode. Please read the newbie guide. Spectator's eyes went wide. A guide. For the Void Realm. Damn, that's friendly. Suddenly, everything started shaking, making him flail around wildly. Earthquake. No. Just Sonia trying to steer the boat. He yelled out, Hey Sonia, quit thrashing around. Let me handle it. Sonia looked confused. You wait. Spectator, do you actually know the way through the void? He hesitated. Let me just finish reading the tutorial first. Sonia snapped, don't make lame jokes right now. I knew it. Even you wouldn't know. There's literally no guide for the Void Realm yet. Even Professor Trozen just shrugs and says nope. He always taught that the reason sorcerers are equal is because in the Void we're all equally stupid. Her eyes got sharp and serious. But listen, don't stop in one spot. Sonia kept rowing, her arms pumping harder. You stop moving in the Void, your heart stops beating in the real world. Not even a healer can save you because your soul ain't in your body. Basically, it works like this. If you stand still here, your body assumes you're dead and just shuts down. That's what all the teachers say. The boat floated in the vast emptiness. Geez, Sonia, that's dark. Thought you were the party type, wanting to be some hot young model at the club. Screw off. Sonia looked up, smirking. I used to be all about the risk. Didn't have anything to lose back then. But now things are different. I'm a sword genius now. Professor Trozen said, I'll hit gold rank in 20 years, easy, and maybe sanctuary in 40. In the Starry Nation, a 2-winged gold sorcerer can easily become a noble. That's basically my life goal right there. If I hit 3-winged sanctuary, I could start a legendary clan. I know hard work pays off okay. Her face got intense, paddling furiously, desperate to grab that happy future. Can't blame me for being careful. Heard the safest path is where the fog is thinnest. Seniors say there's a 60% success rate that way. But suddenly, Sonia got jerked backward. Spectator was standing behind her, pointing. Nope, we're going that way. Sonia froze and turned around. You can steer this thing. Did you bring this boat? Spectator blinked at her surprise. Yep. Sonia screamed furious. Then why'd you trick me into jumping overboard earlier? He replied calmly, chill. I just figured out I could drive it. Definitely wasn't just to see you soaking wet or anything. A white mist drifted by. Sonia's eyes went wide. This mist. Her jaw dropped as endless sword moves flashed through her mind. Sonia jumped up. It's knowledge. She couldn't believe it. Sword techniques. They're flowing right into me. Just moving through the void gives you knowledge automatically, and it condenses into silver sorcerer power. It creates void wings, the symbol of a silver-winged sorcerer, even if it's just one feather right now. Sonia spread her arms, soaking up the mist. This is insane. I feel stronger every single second. Sonia was totally lost in the rush of pure power. Arthurs is acting like a total slacker in class, zoning out and staring at the map on the screen. A system panel just popped up showing a new dungeon exploration mode. Looking at the instructions, Spectator rubs his chin, thinking total waste of time. I knew it, there's absolutely zip inside. Suicide mission, hard pass. Wait. Actually looking at it, it's worth the risk. Definitely a game hint. Staring at the boat icon, the decision is made. We're taking this one for sure. Over on the other side, Sonia notices something and calls out, Yo, looks like there's something hiding in that fog ahead. The white mist clears up to reveal a silhouette. Realizing what it is, Sonia screams, Island. It's a tiny island. Doesn't this look exactly like where Spectator and I train in that dream? No wonder that guy's so cocky. He's totally exploiting this zone to grind levels. Exploring a void zone, piece of cake for Spectator. The dude is a mysterious pro. The second the boat hits the shore, Sonia jumps off without hesitation. Spectator quietly follows, scanning the area as the fog lifts, but they barely step foot on the island when a random stranger blocks the path. Some dude with a rifle on his shoulder starts spouting nonsense. Outside 7 steps, the gun is faster. His eyes narrow, looking super shady. Then boom, he aims the gun right at them within 7 steps. And inside 7 steps, it's fast and precise. They panic immediately. Spectator tries to de-escalate. Whoa, chill. Let's talk about this. But a beam of light blasts out, wiping everything and blowing Spectator away. Leg smoking, Spectator starts flailing around. I'm hit, I'm gonna die. It hurts like hell. Wait. Actually, it doesn't hurt that bad. Just super tired like after sprinting 400 meters. And look, the colors are fading. Spectator sees the leg turning transparent and goes, oh, I get it. We're just in consciousness mode right now, not physical bodies. Getting shot just drains soul energy, that's all. Right then, Sonia grabs the sword and charges. The guy's gun is still smoking, but he keeps yapping about his art, a single gun in hand. Speed is invincible. Nothing I can't break. The barrel spits out a fiery beam. But the creature behind Sonia glows up and she swings, screaming, waves slash. The sword's energy blasts the guy backward. Taking the chance, Spectator rushes in and locks him up from behind. Sonia. Now, she moves fast, jumping up and thrusting the sword straight through the guy's head, while Spectator watches with a huge grin. The guy finally dissolves, leaving the two of them gasping for air. Hey, you almost chopped my head off. That was way too close, seriously. Smoke rises from the ground, fading to reveal a book. Spectator's confused. What the heck is this? Sonia nods, I get it. She picks it up calmly. This is a legacy island in the void. And this, it's the manual of that gun-wielding sorcerer. Spectator blanks out Sorcerer's Manual, Chapter 18. It starts with vivid drawings, first a rat pinned by an arrow. Didn't even spare the tiny spider on the wall. Then a rabbit gets it. Shows a kid holding a bow looking super proud. The kid grabs the rabbit by the ears running around to show off. Suddenly, a villager screams in agony. A huge mob is closing in, guns smoking. The kid and the man try to fight back with bows, but the arrows just bounce off the iron armor. Totally useless. Bullets spray everywhere, making the villagers scream and scramble in terror. Not long after, the village is just smoking ruins. The man carrying the kid stumbles, kneels, and finally collapses. They both hit the dirt in the forest. The kid wakes up later, looking at the body beside him, quietly takes the man's hat, puts it on, and cries tears of pure rage. Somewhere else, a bandit is scouting with a gun. Bam, arrow straight to the skull. He freezes dead on the spot. The kid walks over slowly, picking up the bandit's gun. Cut to another bandit doing his business, bullet through the head, eyes wide, spitting blood. The gun aims at two guards. In a split second, both are laid out on the green grass. Gone. Almost got caught, but the enemy triggers a trap and gets hoisted up. Easy target. The kid takes the shot, fighting them all solo, even shooting their weapons to pieces. The numbers drop, the enemy starts shaking, but the kid doesn't care. Eyes cold, gun raised. Enters an area filled with massive tombstones. Yeah, there's a fight there too. With that gun, the enemies got wrecked easily. Even collected a whole box of fangs as trophies. Sees a wanted poster, beastmen must die. Everyone followed orders. Until another war broke out, explosions everywhere. Holding ground, gun blazing non-stop. Eyes wide, veins popping, face twisted in rage. Flash forward, medals on the chest, sitting calmly on a bench with a wife. The town looks peaceful, everyone minding their own business. Just sitting there, taking a swig from a bottle. In the corner, a dog lies dead on the ground, surrounded by empty liquor bottles. Someone runs by in a panic. Standing there, booze in one hand, gun in the other, the target drops. No remorse, just switching to the next one. One by one, they fall. Eyes bulging, blood vessels bursting. Completely losing it, the gun turns on the family. It's the wife looking back with pure sadness, but the vision narrows, turning dark. Suddenly, the shooter collapses instead, leaving her standing there in shock. Back to reality. Spectator is glued to the book. So Castor is the guy who owned this diary, Sonia's thinking. You seriously read the whole thing? Spectator flips to the last page, a picture of the medal, the guy won. Suddenly, smoke rises up. It's the one-winged rapid-fire spirit. Requires a ranged weapon. Basic effect allows an instant second shot right after the first one. Passive buff boosts long-range accuracy. Sometimes lagging a few seconds means you'll never catch up no matter how hard you try. Ash Heath glanced at the system panel, totally impressed. So this is a sorcery spirit, huh? Wait up, a window just popped. My screen actually has descriptions. Rechargeable currency detected. Exchange for points. For real, I can top up with this. Can't believe this world actually has currency the game accepts. Sick Lemme, dump some cash in. Hold on. This stuff is the foundation of supernatural power here. The juice every sorcerer is dying to get their hands on. Probably the sword made in spirit. Suddenly, Ash Heath looked over at Sonia and asked, "Hey, you want this?" Spirit. She just stared back. Clueless. You want it? Then take it. Ash Heath held up the medal, trying to sell it. It's a sorcery spirit, though. Don't you want it? She frowned, shooting back. It's not for sword arts, and it's not a general type either. Useless to me, just a waste of money. Then Ash Heath asked something so confusing she froze. What's money got to do with it? Sonia squinted, looking totally done with this. Ash Heath. Are you mocking me for being broke or something? You can sail the void, so how do you not know basic sorcerer stuff? Or is Ash Heath just so loaded that feeding spirits isn't even an issue? Like those funny novel scenes where rich nobles are clueless about real life. Finally, she explained it like she was talking to a toddler. Can't believe I found such an endangered species. Look, in the real world, spirits need to be fed. And you gotta feed them current currency. One-winged spirits eat silver coins. Two-winged spirits eat gold coins. If you don't feed them, they vanish. Some broke sorcerers actually let their spirits starve to death. Little spirit, don't die on me. We've been together for over 10 years. I raise you like my own son. Though you can use other materials to feed them. But every spirit needs different stuff. Hunting for it is a pain in the ass. Shutting them up with money is way more convenient. Plus, just existing drains a sorcerer's mental energy. Having too many spirits is like a guy juggling too many girlfriends. Your wallet can't handle it, and neither can your body. Sword Maiden, that's getting a little too personal. Brain processing data. Okay, got it. Spirits are money pits and mental vampires, so hoarding them isn't the move. Quality over quantity is the strat. Keeping it real with the working class traditions. Sonia shrugged, continuing the lecture. Also, spirits have usage limits. Based on that, sorcery gets split into factions. Like the sword, faction needs swords. Gun faction uses guns. Hardship faction needs insane stamina, and the brawler faction dominates with fists. Spirits with no special recs or stuff anyone can do are called general spirits. Like Eagle Eye, you just need working eyeballs. Basically, a sorcerer's build is a mix of specialized and general spirits. Best not to spec into more than 2 specialized factions. You got a synergy check, general spirits too. Don't keep trash around. She glanced at the medal in Ash. Heath's hand pointed and casually trashed it. Bottom line, I'm not interested. That spirit is obsolete. Even if you sell it to the academy, you'll get 1 silver coin tops. The NPCs in this game are detailed as hell. That's the floor price for a one-winged spirit. Rapid fire is from the musket era centuries ago. Modern handguns can already pop off 7 rounds a second. Ash Heath decided, I'll take it then. Sonya replied, totally indifferent, take it, take it. He held the medal, prompted the exchange, and it sat snugly in his hand. The medal vanished instantly. Ash Heath hunched over, staring at the system panel like an addict. Finally, it popped. Top up successful. You got 10 points. He couldn't contain the hype. Top up worked. 6 points for an origin crystal, 1 gacha pull costs 3 crystals. Then he froze doing the math. 2 one-winged spirits for a single pull. Ash Heath covered his face, crying a literal river. Spirits are supernatural powers. Why are they as cheap as fresh grads? He paused, tears still in the corners of his eyes, and looked at the notebook. Write this notebook. Before he could think, Sonya cut in. That's a sorcerer's handbook. You don't know this either. I just said it. A sorcerer's handbook summarizes a sorcerer's life. Basically a diary. But they don't write it voluntarily. When a sorcerer kicks the bucket, their soul returns to the void and turns into a projection. Their life memories settle and form a book. Birth, aging, sickness, death, it's an unavoidable natural law. Ash Heath stared at it thinking, this is a sorcerer's handbook, little different from my game. Meanwhile, she kept explaining, like the medal, you can absorb the handbook. You'll get a random skill from the original owner. The skill doesn't belong to any faction, it's total RNG. He suddenly shoved the book at her. You want it, she recoiled, putting her hands up in disgust. No way. I read 2 pages and got dizzy. These handbooks are toxic. Sorcerers can only read ones with a compatible worldview. Values and life views have to match yours. Force absorb a mismatch and you'll damage your soul. Could even end up with schizophrenia. Ash Heath's jaw dropped, eyes popping out. That's serious, Sonya added. Prevention is easy though. If you flip through it and don't feel gross, it means you're safe to absorb it. They say out of 10 handbooks, a normal sorcerer is lucky to absorb 2 or 3. Some never even find one in their whole life. So how did you just casually pick up a handbook and absorb it without getting corrupted? Dude froze up for a sec, muttering, my worldview is pretty open-minded. She's all hype teasing. Or maybe your morals are just flexible as hell. Zero hesitation. The book in his hand vanished the second he dropped the word absorb. System pinged, you got a new skill. Anti-scout mastery. Spectator stared at it deep in thought, feeling some weird knowledge click in his brain. Anti-scout skill. Guess that'll come in handy eventually. Felt like ice melting right inside the brain. Then boom, the island under the mountain starts crumbling, rocks raining down like crazy. That's the void realm for ya. Nothing lasts, it's all about passing stuff on. Countless islands just floating on this sea of knowledge, waiting for some new sorcerer to stumble on him. Spectator and Sonya scrambled onto the boat, getting the hell out. Once you grab the loot, the island sinks back into the sea. Bullseye. Every sorcerer leaves a mark deep in the void realm. We're gonna run into tons of leftovers from the old-timers here. Fighting a sniper from centuries ago, chatting with some ancient genius. Anything goes. She looked back at the sunken island thinking, our marks are gonna be stuck here too. And 100 years from now, when some random sorcerer busts through the white fog, they gotta deal with the mess we left behind. He goes, sounds kinda romantic. She rolls her eyes, snarky. For real, you okay with future generations seeing your entire life uncensored? Spectator just shrugged, chill as ever. Can't we delete our browser history before we croak? Like, study materials or art. Suddenly, a mirefish dragon bursts out of the water jaws wide open. Sonya and Spectator fly off the boat, screaming mirefish dragon. Dragon's piss blasts a huge water cannon. Spectator's confused watching it rage. Since when can it shoot water cannons? Sonya's getting annoyed. Spectator, let's book it. Can't you drive this thing? Guy's fumbling, opening the system panel. Dunno if it still works after flipping. Boat zooms forward. It works, sweet, just gotta gun it that way. Looking like he's totally winging it. They finally hit the safe zone. Sonya looks around paranoid. It didn't follow us right. He looks around blankly. I don't think so. She snaps at him. What kind of navigator are you trying to kill us? Spectator just repeats himself. Told you before we started might be a little dangerous. They start bickering on the boat, who was acting all cocky earlier like a kid who cheated on a test, saying no problem. You call this a little dangerous? We almost died. Once they catch their breath, huge simultaneous sigh. Soul colors looking faded, practically transparent now. Wasted an hour for 0 loot. Decided to stick to the good spots on the map. No more wandering around like idiots. Sonya looks up, then slumps back against the boat, bored out of her mind. Can't you just kill that mirefish dragon? Spectator gives her a confused look. Even you can't do it, why do you think I can? She thinks, wait, is Spectator actually weak? If he's weak, shouldn't I pay him back double for torturing me? She slaps her own cheeks to snap out of it. Hold up, Sonya, chill. Don't let this normie mess with your head. Can't be petty, focusing on small grudges. Even if Spectator is weaker than I thought, I can't just off him. Still haven't figured out how to break his control over me. Plus, even Professor Trozen couldn't detect him. The guy's power is legit, no doubt. He's special. Everyone knows nobody can spot the void realm mist. That's why all sorcerers are equal. But now there's a guy who can spot unknown risks before the rewards. Equality my ass, even the strong die here and the weak can get lucky and rise to the top. But he's here. The elite of the elite, the final spectator. Sonya shakes off her evil thoughts. Enemy. No way this guy is a golden ticket. He's a bigger carry than the top whales in a live stream. Stick with him, and the void realm is a walk in the park. She glances over imagination running wild. Why'd I get so lucky that he picked me? But if he realizes, wouldn't I lose my shot at being top tier? She looks up at him, spectator, am I really that special? He claps his hands epiphany style. Right, what do I even need you for? Bam, kicks her right into the water. She's looking around calculating. Why would a powerhouse ask stuff like that? Is it too dangerous? Gotta stay sharp. Spectators role-playing as a weakling. This guy is twisted. If I fall for his act, he'll probably use it as an excuse to punish me even worse than before. Spectator looks at Sonya asking casually, by the way, what was that fish thing earlier? She sweats hard, skipping a beat. Fake. Totally faking it. Asking basic questions to test me, not gonna slip up. She puts on a bright face and explains, that's a mirefish dragon, super common in the void realm. Drops, water or earth affinity loot, maybe some spell spirits. If it ate other sorcerers before, it might drop their spell spirits too. He flinches looking at this totally different person. Why is Sword Maiden being so nice all of a sudden? Thanks to Sword Maiden's info dump, I get how this place works. Void Realm has two mob types, true intelligence and knowledge creatures. Kill a knowledge creature, get the knowledge they hoarded. The spell spirit drops are RNG but usually match the element. Plus, the loot gets patched in real time. Like if a sorcerer in real life invents some new generation spell and summons a new spell spirit successfully, then other sorcerers killing mobs in the Void Realm might just loot that brand new spell. If the new knowledge is wild enough, it might even spawn a whole new type of mob, expanding the bestiary here. Spectator cranes his neck, getting closer. So, how do you protect your new inventions? Other sorcerers can just snag your hard work in the Void Realm. Sonya closes her eyes, playing along and explaining it all. Damn straight. Nobody can cut off knowledge forever. That's a huge deal, true equality. Knowledge is the great equalizer. Guan suddenly froze, totally startled. Wait, that means nobody gets to retire in peace, does it? Since opportunities and knowledge are equal, if you don't want to lose what you have, you gotta keep grinding and taking risks to create value. So, sorcerers are stuck working for life. Isn't this just a massive KPI scam? Guan looked up, lost in thought, kinda getting the picture. But hey, this process sure guarantees the next generation of sorcerers grows up strong, plus it constantly weeds out the white rabbit sorcerers who settle and stop trying. Add a final elimination mode and it's perfect. Fine by me. If sorcerers are just corporate slaves, then I'm confident as hell. When it comes to grinding and hustling, I've never lost to anyone. Sonya looked over, totally confused. Why is Guan suddenly so hyped? Floating on the boat, she nervously reminded him, hey, stay away from combat zones. I'm beat. Let's just check one or two more areas, then bounce. Guan agreed instantly. Got it. I'll scan the perimeter. Sonya, curious now, whispered carefully. By the way, Guan, couldn't you figure out what those creatures in the fog were? He glanced around and gave a half-assed reply. Too blurry, couldn't scan him. All I know is the fog's dangerous, but no clue what exactly is hiding in there. The wind howled, making Sonya depressed. So I bet you definitely couldn't find that goldfish either, huh? Guan stared blankly. Find out what about the goldfish? Sonya glared at him, annoyed, thinking, here we go again. Is he asking dumb questions just to test my obedience? If I push back, he'll feel my loyalty isn't high enough, then he'll torture me with some harsh punishment. The goldfish quickly. An image popped up from her description. The goldfish floats on the surface of the Sea of Knowledge. On its back is the continent of time where two-winged sorcerers go. It's huge. No one's ever seen the whole thing at once. Guan jumped, eyes darting over with intense curiosity. Hold up, how big is this fish continent? I heard even the smallest scale is the size of a major city, big enough to hold 1 million people. He couldn't help but dig deeper. A fish that huge should be easy to spot, right? Sonya played along and explained, sounding a bit ticked off. Actually, the opposite. Only a lucky few ever find the goldfish. And without exception, those lucky few become famous, legendary sorcerers. Guan's eyes lit up with excitement. What's the perk of finding it? Sonya dropped the suspense, lowering her voice. You instantly become a two-winged sorcerer. He stammered, totally shocked. That good. An instant upgrade. She smiled back, playing dumb, thinking, right, amazing. Keep acting, I'll play along. When a one-winged sorcerer in the Sea of Knowledge maxes out their sorcery power and fully opens their silver wings, they can't gain any more power from sea voyages. You have to research knowledge, summon a two-winged spirit, and find the door of truth inside that spirit. Then you reach the second layer of the Void Realm, the continent of time. Only there can a sorcerer absorb more power and condense the second wing, the Golden Wing. Guan rubbed his chin, picturing it. I think I get it. One-winged sorcerers condense silver wings in the Sea of Knowledge, and two-winged sorcerers condense golden wings on the continent of time. So can a one-winged sorcerer just snatch a two-winged spirit from someone else, then find the continent straight away? Sonia closed her eyes, shutting that thought down immediately. Absolutely not. If you didn't summon the spirit yourself, you can't find the door of truth inside it. Spirits are made of knowledge. If you don't understand the spirit's structure, how are you going to probe its secrets? Guan tapped around on the system panel unimpressed. So finding the goldfish is basically a cheat code, a backdoor for promotion. Sonia didn't look back, just enjoying the view. I prefer calling them sea crossers, crossing from the lowest level to the top. Who could say no to getting something for nothing? Suddenly annoyed, she barked. If you haven't found the goldfish, why ask all that? Just drive the boat. Guan ducked, his head flustered. Okay. Voices below shifted from panic to calm. Found the goldfish. Is it a monster again? No, look. Guan stared at the golden dot on the screen. Hello there. The view cleared up, revealing an island misty in the distance. Encounter Island. No danger, no trials. Just wild spirits playing around. Suddenly, figures rushed in. Guan stared, stunned. Is that Sonia? She was already poised to strike, annoyed. What are you standing there for? She grabbed a nearby blue spirit. Snapped it up. Guan jumped into the fray too, grabbing a gold one. Yoink! The spirits scattered, but they managed to bag two. The captured spirits accepted their bad luck, agreeing to serve. Avatar spirit, if it hurts, just pretend you're someone else. No pain that way. Riptide spirit, slow flow is life, violent flow is revolution. Nothing stays the same except the flow itself. Guan's eyes sparkled at the glowing object. Is this a spirit, an avatar spirit at that? Exactly the core component I need for my miracle slash. Sonia looked up and glanced over. I want this Riptide spirit. I can sell this for a high price back at the academy. He agreed instantly. Deal. What does a paper person need money for anyway? Whatever. They say the body auto-upgrades in the game, and right now I gotta ride Sword Maiden's coattails. Can't offend the only technical support I have. So they decided to end their first Void Realm trip. Guan sounded cheerful, bragging about the full haul. Sonia sighed softly in relief. Finally, a perfect logout. Guan smiled and waved as his avatar faded. Later, Sword Maiden. Sonia smiled as he dissolved. Just as I thought, Guan. Must be the Void Realm's mechanics. In the Void Realm, it seems you can't read my inner thoughts, but back in reality you can, right? Perfect. Actually, I didn't tell the whole truth. The Riptide spirit is rare, yeah, but the Avatar spirit is way more valuable. Avatar is a universal spirit. The base price is already a tier higher than specialized spirits. Specialized ones are only needed by sorcerers of specific schools, but universal spirits can be used by everyone. Unless it's super niche, a one-winged universal spirit can sell for the same price as a two-winged specialized spirit. Why hide this info? Because I can tell you're thirsty for that. Substitute spirit, even without seeing your ugly mug. Fake being hyped about snagging the Riptide spirit just so you'd settle for the substitute one. Once back in reality, you read my mind and boom, you get the scheme. Yeah, I plotted a bit, but it's all for your own good, okay? Playing the dumb, shallow girl you can see right through. Might not score a critical hit, but hey, should at least boost my favorability stats. Thought you were playing 1D chess while I was on 2D, but turns out you're on 3D watching me. 2 days of brain training later, finally got a grip on my thoughts. Only thinking what I want to think. Back to level 1 now, so hurry up and read my mind already. Yo, spectator, I'm showering, so look away, perv. Still nothing, seriously, not here. Went through all that trouble to suck up to you. And you just took the candy and bailed. Sonia swings the wooden sword around, pissed. Spectator is such a jerk. Soft voice calls out from afar, morning Junior Sonia. Someone approaches fast. Celia smiles, faking concern like a pro. First time in the Void Realm looks exciting. Sonia smiles back, totally annoyed. Hi, Senior Celia. Being fellow apprentices of the Hidden Hand Sword Saint, hard to avoid Felix Vos Loda, so naturally stuck knowing Celia too. She's just like me. Female hunters are all the same, just want to climb to the top. Finally, corner a rare beast, only to find a fully geared beast tamer standing right next to the trap. No wonder she's got beef with me. Can see the mockery in Celia's eyes and smile. Sonia holds back the rage. Seriously, stepping back like that, train without showering, sure, but wipe down with a towel. Definitely don't smell. Can't let that slide without clapping back. Senior, did you come to the meditation hall just to borrow the shower? Celia stutters, speechless. I came to enter the Void Realm, obviously. Then pulls out an item to flex. Found this spirit legacy last night. What do you think? System gives a quick, lazy explanation of the sword hilt. Sonia holds it, clapping sarcastically. Nice, good stuff. This spirit could even spawn a whole sub-school of sword arts. Assassin-style, glowing hilt charged strikes, void-breaking blade energy. These burst skills could let you kill way above your level. Top tier for the whole faction. Celia's gaze softens, testing the waters. Think Felix Vos Loda would like it. Sonia gives a fake smile. Wow, really admire your boyfriend. For a swordsman, this spirit is super rare. She pushes her luck, all excited. If you say so, Junior, I believe it. Look at that smug face. Sonia's already sick of it. Made this same face at the dorm last night, right? Thanks a lot to those clueless roommates. Celia throws a look full of pity and disdain. Junior, you gotta work hard too. Heard your family background isn't great getting into Swordflower University through the national exams. Your skills might even beat us, Gallows locals. Stick around, maybe you can bring your family to the big city one day. Could have been a bird flying high, too bad the family drags you down. Celia doesn't even hide the judgment anymore, faking a sympathetic nod. Senior's right. Sometimes, where you start decides where you end. Being born is just the first lottery ticket we pull. I only got the consolation prize. Celia freezes, never seeing someone admit that. Totally broke her defense. She starts explaining in a panic. People from poor places like us can't shake off the cheap vibe. Anyway, talk so long I forgot to wash my face. Talking to you, looking this messy, so rude of me. Celia plays along fast. Oh, you don't have to put it like that. Sonia's hand glows and boom, a stream of fresh water appears. Smiles, washes her face right there. Celia watches, shaking. What is? Sonia wipes her face. Ah, refreshing. Oh, this got lucky in the Void Realm last night. It's the Riptide spirit I found on a rare island. My luck isn't half bad, huh? Celia forces a smile, dead silent. Her eyes scream, I don't believe it. Later, a stuffed animal gets strangled. Celia screams, venting pure rage. No freaking way. First day in the Void Realm and she finds a rare island and a water faction spirit. The Riptide spirit is one of the rarest. Think I'm stupid, impossible. Where's a country bumpkin getting money for that Riptide? Spirits are basically priceless. Been trying to buy one forever. If she didn't buy it, someone gave it to her. Who at Swordflower University just hands out Riptide spirits? Not many people. Celia storms off. Senior, I gotta bounce. Catch you later. Figure approaches slowly. Senior waiting for me, Felix Vos, Lotus smiles, sweating buckets. Void Realm is intense. Heading to the library to research it more. Celia bites her lip, remembering. You could just hand out Riptide spirits. Then comes Felix's gentle invite. Wanna come along, Senior? She turns instant happy face. Sure, look, this is the scabbard spirit I got last night, but I don't do sword stuff. Junior, what do you think I should do with it? Meanwhile, Sonia's showering, totally vibing and waiting for the show. Bet she thinks Felix gave me the Riptide. Probably foaming at the mouth. That's what you get for messing with me. Oh, great spectator, Ash Heath wakes up at 8 o'clock, thinking he's the earliest criminal up. Decides to grab a feast, but sees the massive line. Ash mutters depressed, too freaking crowded. Who knew these criminals had such healthy habits? Just brings back more annoying memories for Ash. Starts dancing with excitement. First spirit check is the miracle I need. Let's try. Substitute, turns out rich kids use bonds to snag sword maiden powers. Just as Ash is happily using substitute, a system warning blares from behind. Spirit power detected. That is forbidden. Ash Heath stood there, totally stunned. Couldn't believe it. The chip is restricted. If I want to use my powers, specifically the miracle release, I gotta find a way to bypass the damn chip. But to bypass the chip, I need the miracle release to purify it first. It's a total catch-22. Sword Maiden Ammon, save me, will ya? But Sword Maiden didn't show up. Whatever, guess the paper man needs a break too. Soon it was Ash Heath's turn. Curious, Ash Heath asked, Yo auntie, what's this stuff? She answered fast. Ralphie Royal Seafood. A second later, and it'd be gone. Ash Heath rubbed hands together, drooling over the food. Sweet, hit me up. But then a chill voice came from the left, gimme 5 portions. The lunch lady didn't say a word, just dumped the last 5 servings into that guy's bowl. Ash Heath stared confused. Seriously, how does that guy get 5? The lady shrugged it off. He's a beastman. Ash Heath wasn't having it, giving a questioning look. Why do beastmen get 5 portions? The lady didn't answer, just quietly finished up, beastmen get 5. That's just how it is. Ash Heath felt that burn inside, wanted to shout, if he takes 5, I got nothing to eat. Suddenly, zap, a shock ran through Ash Heath. The system started blaring a long warning. Warning. You are attempting to voice racial discrimination. This behavior is prohibited in the Blood Moon Kingdom. Racial equality is the first rule. Take note, Ash Heath was fuming inside, screaming internally, saying if beastman eats too much, Hounce's racism now. Are you kidding? This is nuts. Finally found a spot, but that guy was taking up 2 seats. He looked tough, but hey, everyone's got a chip. It's not like he can attack or anything. Yo, you're taking up 2 seats. Scoot over. The guy turned, looked, and completely ignored Ash Heath. I'm an ogre dude. Ash Heath was about to let loose. Being an ogre doesn't mean you get 2 seats, but the system kicked in instantly. Warning. You are attempting to voice racial discrimination. This behavior is prohibited in the Blood Moon Kingdom. Racial equality is the first rule. Take note. Ash Heath froze, completely dumbfounded and helpless. Seriously, saying your butt takes up 2 seats is racism. Ash Heath wanted to curse, but the words got choked off in the throat. Wanted to smash the plate, but the hands wouldn't move. The ogre kept eating like a slob. Ash Heath was furious, but couldn't say a damn thing. The guy opposite was suffering in silence too, watching another weirdo play with their food. You want to fight back, but your body just won't listen. Suddenly, compared to this civilization, Snakehead from the wilderness seemed way cuter. Someone up high waved and shouted, Ash Heath, you're here early. You eat yet? Ash Heath forced a smile and answered, eyes full of suspicion. Yeah, I ate. Was it an illusion? That guy's boyfriend looks skinnier than yesterday. Ash Heath wolfed down the food and bolted over to Snakehead, sighing and sitting down to chill. This spot felt way better maybe because the lights were still on. But then a voice came from nearby. Igolo walked up and sat down without even looking. Don't get all tense. I'm not interested in challenging you to a death match. I don't fight battles I can't win. I bet I pay. Fair and square. Ash Heath looked over deadpan. Tactical types like you have dirty hearts. I don't trust you. Igolo smirked. Fine. Let's skip the boring intro and get straight to the oldest human activity. Ash Heath looked over, eyes wide with curiosity. Oldest activity. Then both of them stared at two flies. Doing it, Ash Heath looked away, stammering. Hey, Igolo gritted teeth, trying to stay serious. A trade is a trade. You ask me a question, I answer you. Ash Heath looked bored, not really wanting to play. I got nothing to ask you. Igolo eyed Asha suspiciously. For real, don't you want to know why that elf Vargas challenged you out of the blue? Ash Heath glanced at Igolo silently. Finally, curiosity won. Fine. I am kinda curious. But how do I know you ain't lying? Igolo softened the look. I don't know if you're lying either. We take the same risk. Ash Heath looked exhausted. Then what's the point of this deal? Igolo smirked, eyes sharp. I'm confident I can tell if you're lying. Even if you do, I can deduce the truth. Which means you can too. Ash Heath looked dumb as a sheep. I can't do that. I ain't smart. You're definitely gonna scam me. Igolo went silent, totally done with this kid. Igolo looked down, face darkening seriously. Fine. I'll just tell you the info. You decide if it's worth anything. Then shaking with helplessness, Igolo added, if it is, you answer my question. Deal. Ash Heath nodded. Seeing Igolo like that was kinda sad, looked as defeated as a Sichuanese person forced to eat mild hot pot. Igolo spoke calmly. W used to be a researcher at the General University. As Igolo spoke, Vargas seemed to shine with a brilliant aura in the story. Because he's an elf, he's the only criminal who skipped the Blood Moon trial and went straight to prison. But here's the kicker. He's never faced the Blood Moon trial. Not even once. Ash Heath looked surprised, intrigued. How'd he dodge the trial? Because he's an elf. But isn't racial equality the first rule of the Blood Moon Kingdom? Igolo smiled, anticipating Ash Heath's confusion. Sure, racial equality is the first rule. But some races are just more equal than others. Ash Heath was hooked, needing to know more. So why'd he challenge me? Igolo shared a theory. That goes back to the crime he committed. Stealing tech and killing colleagues is bad, but not enough to land him in Suiyu prison. The crime that really ticked off the higher-ups. He tried to raise a child on his own. Ash Heath was lost. Why is raising a kid such a huge crime? Igolo's eyes flared with anger, leaning in. Because it's unauthorized. No one is allowed to raise a child privately. Ash Heath was full of questions, totally confused. No one raises kids, then. How did we grow up? Igolo looked annoyed, done with the topic. We were all raised in orphanages. Socialized upbringing is the fundamental policy of the Blood Moon Kingdom. Are you asking this just to start trouble? Ash Heath froze brain trying to process this crazy info. Socialized upbringing. You mean the state raised us? We're all orphans with no parents. I wanted to say that, but the words wouldn't come out. This time, it wasn't the chip stopping me. I just couldn't find the words. I searched Ash Heath's memories, but in his native language, the words father and mother didn't even exist. The only word that came close was guardian. Parents didn't exist. It proved that in this society, the Blood Moon realm wasn't supposed to have these two freaks, just orphans raised by the system with chips stuck in the back of their necks controlling everybody like puppets. What kind of messed up world did I get thrown into anyway? Ash closed eyes, took a deep breath, and when they opened, total ice-cold stare. The voice dropped way down too. You saying that guy challenged me, cause of that kid. Igolo glanced over and replied, all chill. Vargas has been acting like a good boy in prison for 5 years now. Barely picked fights with anyone. Just taking contribution points from people looking at him wrong was enough to live the high life. Then Igolo turned to Ash, looking all helpless, like this time the dude just jumped out of nowhere. Gotta be because of the kid, no other reason. That kid's been in the orphanage system for ages. Tons of people could have made contact. Saying that the eyes got super serious. But there's only one key player linking that kid Vargas and you together, with a face saying, I'm 100% sure. Igolo dropped the name, Cylinder. Ash looked totally lost hearing that name. Even with Igolo poking at the cheek, Ash just asked blankly, who the heck is Cylinder? Then finally realizing that Igolo was being a bit too touchy-feely, Ash asked, yo, what are you doing? Igolo realized that was weird and snatched the hand back real quick, but then let out a helpless sigh and explained, that guy's Cylinder, history prof at Khan University, president of the Elf Authorization Association, and added, the biggest connection to you, that dude is the faculty advisor for the Ancient Artifact Research Club at Khan University. Ash's face was just one big question mark pointing at self and asking. I used to be in the Ancient Artifact Club. Igola saw the total confusion, and seeing Ash didn't get it, replied seriously. Actually, to be precise, you're still the president of that club right now. Then added, I don't have proof, but you and that guy definitely have some shady deal going on way past just teacher and student stuff. Ash heard that and got deep in thought. It's gotta be the Four Pillars God cult. An image popped up in Ash's head, a guy in a long black cloak standing right in the middle with some evil force behind grabbing the shoulders like a puppet master. Underneath, countless hands reaching up like crazy worshippers. Thinking that to pull strings in a gangster crime ring like that, Ash must have someone backing him up. Cylinder's probably the shadow helper. Igola saw. Ash, thinking for so long and got impatient, saying, look, I showed you I'm real. You gonna answer my question now, or what? Even though I kinda guessed the answer. Ash shot back. If you guessed it, why bother asking? Whatever, shoot. Igola finally got to ask what was bugging the mind. Asking, how the hell did you use your inner thoughts to trick me? Flashbacks of the fight with Ash hit, and Igola said, totally confused. In the arena, I read your mind to predict your attacks. That move never fails, cause nobody can lie to themselves. Ash looked totally shocked and yelled. What, you can hear my thoughts? Igola's mouth just twitched, glaring like wanting to eat Ash alive. Only in the arena, I can hear your inner whispers through your emotional vibes. Ash quickly made an excuse. I didn't trick you with my thoughts, I just found out you could cheat like that. No wonder I couldn't land a single punch on you earlier. Igola frowned. Then how did you think she's kinda hot while punching me right in the face? Ash just gave a dumb look and said, thinking you're pretty and wanting to punch, you ain't contradictory. Huh. That answer made Igola grind teeth so hard, brows twitching, shaking with rage. Staring daggers, Igola shouted back, normally speaking, I hear people's deepest desires. If you wanted to hit me, I should have heard, I want to smash your face, not some compliment. You're pretty cute. Ash poked fingers together, nervously looking away and mumbling, I think I get what you mean. I must have zoned out. Yeah, when I zone out, my mind wanders looking for something pretty to look at. Igola was shaking even harder now, gritting teeth, zoned out. Ash didn't even care about Igola's murderous face, just grinning like an idiot. So yeah, I genuinely think you're pretty. Igola's gaze got super dark. Then why did you suddenly punch me? Ash put on this fake righteous face and said, cause after zoning out, I got back up. Obviously, gotta get back to work mode fast. Looks just slow down my grind. Igola's mouth twitched, glaring gloomily at Ash, who was still acting all cool. Like couldn't believe this crap. Face going black, teeth grinding together. Thinking. A leader of the Four Pillars, cult, a martial arts genius growing fast in battle. This guy zoned out in a fight and made me miss here, then suddenly screaming. No way, Igola went totally nuts, yelling at Ash. Even if you zoned out, I definitely would have heard your true thoughts. Ash started sweating bullets, seeing that, stepping back and mumbling. Don't be so sure, maybe your powers just suck. Suddenly, Igola poked Ash's cheek, freezing the guy in place. Igola declared aggressively, I can tell if you're lying by the temperature change on your face. Shouting, say something true or false. I'll know for sure. Ash just shrugged and replied, this statement is false. Ash didn't realize that line sent Igola into a total mental crash. Is it true or false? If it's true, but the guy says it's a lie, so it's false. But if it's false, then the opposite is true. Watching Igola short-circuiting in a mess of thoughts, Ash smirked, thinking, seen this kind of overthinking brainwave too many times in interviews. Guess the kids in this world never heard of a paradox before. Right in the middle of that thought, a voice cut in. Oh, ain't this our fancy elf excellency? A demon with sharp fangs, walking with a little imp, and Vargas looking all cocky and throwing shade. Oh right, your excellency. This lowly beastman offers you their most precious blessing. Need me to lick your boots or something? Seeing this, a dude in the stands cut in. Back off, move it, don't dirty the elf young master's threads. You trash-tier races don't deserve to be within 5 steps of an elf. Vargas spun around, placed a hand on chest, and bowed. Thanks for the concern, guys. Then Vargas looked up smiling, but with ice-cold eyes, voice dripping with sarcasm. You guys talk so sweet. Bet you wiped your mouths real good after leaving the toilet, huh? The demons up top went nuts, screaming Vargas, you sayin' we eat SHT. Vance stood facing the rage of hundreds, hands behind back, chill as ever. Nah, I just meant folks who eat crap usually wipe their mouths. Why'd you jump in? Did you eat some too? A blue-faced demon roared. Vargas beeped. The chip warned, please use civilized language. Vargas acting like the fire wasn't big enough, poured on more oil. Damn, your breath kicks. Smells like piss. Guess your menu's pretty diverse. A long-nosed demon raged out at that. Vargas the chip warned again. Beep. Please use civilized language. Vargas spun around, pointing at that demon voice full of mockery. Yo, why you tweaking? I wasn't even dissing you. But hey, if you throw a rock and a dog barks, you definitely hit the dog. The crowd went ballistic, screaming Vargas followed by a non-stop stream of beep. Please use civilized language. The mob kept screaming Vargas while Vargas just casually waved and walked off. Ash and Igola watched the whole drama from the stands, breaking out in cold sweat. Both had the exact same thought. Who knew someone could wipe their mouth so clean after talking that much crap? Igola spoke up, a roast battle this magical could only happen in Shattered Lake Prison. How do you curse folks out without swearing? How do you make them lose their minds without the chip gagging you? That's the key to prison trash talk, and this toxic expert is undefeated. Vargas walked away while a red-eyed demon rushed up from behind for a cheap shot. If you want to talk dirty, the chip gags you. But if you try to throw hands... Before the demon could even touch Vargas, the chip slammed it face first into the dirt. A robotic voice chimed in. Beep. Please use civilized language. Vargas didn't even turn around, just waved a hand at ease. Dismissed. Then Vargas looked up totally chill. Ash and Igola looked down at Vargas hearing the challenge. If there's no issues, let's just get this started. A spotlight cut through the dark. Someone handed Ash a blade. Ash turned voice flat, sword maiden. Ash looked up at the stands, thinking it felt kinda lonely. Igola watched Ash walk to the ring, rubbing a chin in thought. Whose sword maiden? Igola racked their brain. Nobody here goes by that name. Suddenly, Igola shouted, making Ash turn around. Yo, Vargas is way stronger than me. That ain't an opponent you can beat just by being smart. Ash smiled at that. Thanks. But I ain't planning on using cheap tricks this time. Igola looked stunned. Then what are you using? Ash stepped onto the ring where Vargas was waiting and said firmly, my life. As Ash stepped up, the betting board flashed. Vargas bet 37 contribution points. Ash bet 2. The crowd on both sides started trash-talking Ash's sword stance immediately. That human killed an elf. But what the hell is that stance? Has Ash never held a sword before? Ignoring the noise, Ash just gripped the hilt tighter, thinking, I'm betting my life. If Vargas first strike doesn't kill me, just gotta survive the first one. Then the second strike is my shot. The crowd kept roaring. If you can't use a sword, drop it. Should have grabbed a spear. Nah, a hammer's obviously better. What are you on about? Spears are for newbies. I ain't making it up, hammers are best for noobs. Ash turned pale thinking. These rough dudes are bickering like high school drama queens. Muttering, they're so loud. Vargas ran a finger along the blade whispering, that's a cesspool for you. Flies everywhere. Maggots don't turn into butterflies. Vargas swung the blade, eyes sharp. And even a butterfly in a cesspool is just a slightly bigger fly. Ash gave a nervous smile. Wow, you got some deep feelings about prison life. Gonna write a book. Vargas didn't answer, just dipped ahead. Pardon me. Ah, my bad. Flash, a cold light sliced right across Ash's shoulder, freezing Ash in place. Vargas had struck. Ash tried to dodge, but the blade still bit into the shoulder. Too fast, Ash lunged forward, thinking Vargas got the reach. Gotta close the distance. Using their height difference, Ash ducked low, aiming for the waist. Even with a sword, Vargas can't swing down here. Closer means deadlier. Suddenly, the blade spun. Vargas blocked Ash's strike, effortlessly looking down with judgment. You really never learned how to use a sword, did you? Then Ash caught a brutal elbow to the face, stumbling backward just as something came rushing in. Vargas sword stabbed into the ground where Ash had just been. Ash barely rolled away in time. Under Vargas blade, the solid floor had split in two. Ash stared, completely stunned. How? This floor is reinforced and our swords haven't even been sharpened yet. The answer popped into Ash's head, but it seemed crazy. A spirit art Vargas channeled power into the blade, replying softly, why do you look so shocked? Isn't it normal for a sorcerer to use spirit arts in a fight? Vargas pulled the sword from the floor. Some things can't be locked up even if you tie down their limbs. Suddenly, the sword swung up, generating a massive source of light. They'll still grow wings and fly. Vargas said coldly. That massive light slashed the ground right next to Ash, scaring the living daylights out of Ash, who scrambled away, screaming, whoa, whoa, whoa. The arena floor cracked wide open. The crowd started buzzing. That's the earth-shattering elf sword miracle. Ash froze hearing that. Vargas used a miracle. How is that possible? Don't just stand there. Watch closely. Igola frowned from the stands, worried sick. Using spirit arts and unleashing a miracle are two totally different vibes. A miracle needs a bunch of complex spirit arts mixed together, just right to even trigger. Watching Vargas keep swinging that blade, Igola thought going from high difficulty release to a full-blown miracle. That guy is a walking miracle himself. But seeing Ash faceplant after just one hit from Vargas, Igola could only sigh. I've never pulled off a single miracle in this prison. Not even once. The crowd outside started buzzing. Ash is toast. That elf is out for blood. Forget about an open casket funeral. Good luck scraping the meat paste off the floor. They kept yapping. Damn shame. That guy was actually kinda interesting. But when they saw Ash still hopping around on death's door, the mood flipped. How is? Their faces went pale with shock. Why isn't Ash dead yet? Even if the miracle's power was nerfed to barely a fraction. Vargas suddenly yelled, seeing Ash still standing there, clutching a shoulder. It shouldn't be so weak that it can't kill a scrub who can't even hold a sword right. Ash's face went dark, eyes cold as ice. Thought to self, think I can actually read Vargas's sword moves now. That look gave Igola the creeps, sweating bullets. The guy standing next to Igola just blurted out 3 words out of nowhere. 4 pillar gods. Another beam of light slashed toward Ash, but Ash jumped the gun and dodged it. Mid-air, the thought crossed Ash's mind. Sword Maiden's combat experience is no joke. Ash spun around, dodging and thinking. At the start, I couldn't even see Vargas's blade. Now, just by looking at the shoulder, I can predict the path. At least I mastered the art of running away. The crowd just stood there, jaws on the floor. For real. It's just like that death match with the beast yesterday. Ash is a total monster. Such a monster that they're learning swordsmanship mid-fight. Meanwhile, Igola was grinding teeth together, stressed out of their mind. This is a prison. Watching Ash struggle to block every strike from Vargas, Igola cursed internally. Not some genius training center, you idiot. A strike from Vargas knocked Ash flying. Vargas stood there, sword in hand, looking down like royalty. You really think you stand a chance against me? Ash wiped the sweat off, grinning like a stubborn mule. I just have a reason why I absolutely can't lose to you. Vargas's face went cold. What reason? Ash gave a faint smile. I want to ask. Did Silence send you to kill me? Is there some conspiracy behind me getting thrown in this jail? Vargas looked puzzled. What's that got to do with beating me? Ash shot back. If I don't win, would you even bother answering? Vargas shrugged. Maybe, maybe not. Even if I answered, could you tell truth from lies? Ash replied, I asked someone else that same question earlier, and they said they could actually tell. Vargas got curious. So you can too. Ash laughed, eyes hardening. Nope, I can't. But I figure, if I beat the answer out of you, it'll be closer to the truth than just asking politely. Right? Vargas burst out, laughing like someone hit their funny bone. Ha ha ha, haven't heard such a pure naive reason since I left the nursery. Then putting on a vicious face, Vargas said, oh right, hundreds of years from now, bards will be singing about your glorious deeds in the streets. How Ash, who never learned swordplay, faced an arrogant elf swordsman in battle, miraculously won and started a legendary life of 0 defeats. Ash looked hype. So when's Vargas dropping the book? Vargas gripped the sword tight, speaking casually. Ah, the merciful Mr. Ash. This lowly Vargas begs you to mention my name in your future autobiography. Saying that, Vargas swung again, blue light exploding out. Let me be the villain famous for 10,000 years, okay? The slash was too fast, so fast that Ash couldn't dodge and took a deep cut to the thigh. Ash looked down at the leg, eyes wide, watching blood gush from the deep wound. Ash grit teeth in pain, thinking, that was way too fast. One wrong move and I'm done for. Seeing Ash struggling hard, Vargas sneered. You're slowing down. Your growth rate is impressive, gotta admit. Too bad you're tired. You've been bleeding since the start, and after a fight this intense you've lost too much blood. Watching Ash's eyes glaze over, looking ready to shut any second, Vargas kept talking coldly. Your brain's lacking oxygen, stamina's tanking, so you're getting slower. Vargas's eyes were ice cold. Arrogant like a predator who's already caught the prey, spitting out every word. You know why I'm talking so much? Because the longer this drags on, the weaker you get. Then suddenly soared up. It's over. A massive beam of light shot straight at Ash, followed by a voice, thank you, Ash. Sorry, Ash. Ash was drifting into a haze, mind spinning with blurry thoughts. Is this my limit? If it hurts, just pretend you're someone else, then it won't hurt. That sentence snapped Ash back to reality. Behind Ash, amidst thousands of screaming fans, Sword Maiden stood completely still, watching the fight seriously. Ash mumbled, if it hurts, pretend I'm someone else. Then the memories hit the miserable days of the past life. Waking up at 5 a.m., getting documents thrown in the face by a boss after working so hard on them. Days buried in paperwork with dark circles under the eyes. Those days of waking up before the roosters and sleeping later than the dogs. They actually gave Ash hope. If it hurts, pretend I'm someone else. Then no pain. A golden sphere popped up in the darkness with a tiny creature clinging to it. The little creature looked up and beamed a huge smile at Ash. Ash rushed to touch it. The memories unlocked. Fingers brushed against the creature's cute little beak. Even if you tie their hands and feet, Ash's eyes lit up. They'll still grow wings and fly. Gripping the sword tight, Ash charged into the light, screaming. Charging straight into the blue light, leaving nothing but an afterimage. Boom. A massive explosion erupted where Ash was. Vargas stood there watching the smoke and dust, totally unfazed. Standing in the smog, Vargas smirked. It's over. Suddenly, a bad feeling hit. Wait, something's wrong. Gripping the hilt tight, Vargas thought. That impact felt off. Vargas spun around. The smoke cleared, revealing a massive slash mark. But the slash didn't hit Ash Heath like that guy thought. It just sliced through a familiar shadow, a decoy. Dude was so shook, his eyes practically popped out of his skull. Totally clueless about the killer vibe creeping up from behind. By the time he figured it out and spun around, too late. Ash Heath's blade was already zooming straight for his neck. Even with hands and feet bound, Ash Heath put every ounce of strength into that wind-shredding stab. Gritting teeth, eyes locked in pure determination to sprout wings and soar no matter what. Bam! Ash Heath's sword pierced right through the center of Vargas Ur's throat. Blood everywhere. Vargas Ur coughed up, red eyes wide like no way. Just then the notification chimed. Ring, ring, ring. Game over. Ash Heath takes the win. But right then Ash Heath's vision went dark. Total blackout. When eyes finally cracked open, some dude with a crowbeak mask drifted by. Number 222 saw Ash Heath waking up and panicked, yelling out, "Don't move. Unless you want your face ruined, keep those eyes shut." "All right, you can get up now." Ash Heath blinked open and sat up slowly, spotting a fancy plate of sliced apples right there. Number 222 goes, "Yo, the apples you asked for." Ash Heath started munching while feeling around the face, totally relieved. 2 eyes, 1 nose, 1 mouth. Phew, nothing's missing. Number 222 got super annoyed hearing that. "Hands on hips, like I performed surgery to save you and you doubt my skills." Ash Heath pointed a finger right at the guy, making him jump. "Look me in the eye. You didn't sneak in some plastic surgery, did you?" Number 222 looked guilty as hell and stammered, "Okay, actually. It was just a tiny procedure. Just a druid technique to smooth out wrinkles, specifically forehead wrinkles. Just a smidge." Then like a light bulb went off, the guy clapped, looked up at the ceiling, and started bragging. "I graciously performed this surgery for you. You should be bowing down to thank me. Forehead wrinkles totally ruin a person's vibe. Out there, a druid would charge a fortune for." Before the bragging finished, Ash Heath exploded with rage. "Say what? You erased my most handsome manly forehead wrinkle, you shady quack, ruining my face while I was asleep. Stealing a patient's best feature. Is there no law in this joint? No justice. This is medical malpractice. It's a scam." Number 222 just shrank into the corner, whimpering under the verbal beatdown. Ash Heath didn't waste time, hand shot out. "Pay up. Compensate me." Number 222 stammered how much, and froze when Ash Heath demanded 1 silver coin. The guy haggled back, leaving Ash Heath's jaw on the floor. "Is a gold coin okay? I don't have change." Holding the shiny gold coin, Ash Heath thought, wait, so silver coins in this world are basically spare change for beggars. So Ash Heath goes, "I have my reasons." Sword Maiden said, "Spirit arts need money to maintain, and I'm broke, gotta hustle some emergency cash from the simple-minded." Then flipping the switch like nothing happened. Ashius smiled at number 222. "Oh yeah, quick question. Is there a place to trade spirit arts in this prison? A guy gets lonely, you know, wanna get a pet." Suddenly, someone in a weird mask and a sharp beak wearing number 222, probably a healer, pointed an angry finger at Ash Heath. "Trading. Spirit arts. I'm reporting you. Shady plots. Attempted jailbreak." The healer turned to leave, but Ash Heath grabbed an arm. Chill. I'm already on death row. What are they gonna do? Kill me twice?" The healer spun around, slapping the hand away. "Don't touch me. And I'm not answering your stupid questions. Death row trash like you should just be good little test subjects for my treatments. When you're useless, just go die quietly." After that rant, Ash Heath felt totally misunderstood. "If I said I was innocent, would you believe me?" The healer, still fuming, snapped back. "Don't think I'm that stupid. The Bureau of Sin definitely saw the crime in your memories before sentencing you. Since the memory evidence system started, there hasn't been a single false conviction." Ash Heath just calmly shut that down. "Nope. Sitting on the bed, totally chill. The Bureau never took any memories from my head." The healer stepped back, shocked. "Impossible." To prove it, Ash Heath added, "Check the report." "Seriously, they didn't touch my memories." Looking for a shred of hope in the healer's eyes, I really was framed. The healer stared for a long time before whispering, "You're not lying, Ash." Heath smirked, half joking. "Lie to you? I've never even gotten paid for overtime in my life." Pointing a finger right in Ash Heath's face, the healer warned, "If you're playing me, you're dead meat. Better pray you don't get hurt again. If you end up on my table, I might just swap your gender and species for fun." Ash Heath looked horrified. Medical tech in this world is that advanced. Ash Heath's mind raced. Can I even trust the hot girls on the street? Is there no trust left in humanity? The healer just stood there speechless at the reaction. Even with a bit more trust, there was no way to help, so she just sighed. "Look, even if I wanted to, I can't help. Spirit art trading requires the seller to use art power to release the spirit, and the buyer to use art power to activate it right. But you death row inmates have your powers restricted. You can't release or activate anything." Ash Heath sighed, bummed out. "Isn't there a deathmatch arena or something where they unlock our powers?" Thinking back to the trip with Sword Maiden, it felt hopeless. Scavenging the Void Realm for special arts would take forever. The healer shrugged. "Yeah, there is." "You didn't know?" Ash Heath blinked. "Wait, really?" "Yeah. Every death row inmate goes through it at least once." "Oh right, you're new here. Haven't been around long enough." Ash Heath probed the Blood Moon Judgment. The healer's vibe turned dark and spooky. "Bingo. During the Blood Moon Judgment, the prison unlocks all your restrictions. That's when you can use your art power. Theoretically, you could trade then, but nobody pulls it off. I don't need to spell out why, do I? You've seen a Blood Moon Judgment, right, Ash?" Heath stared back, wide-eyed and innocent. "Nope. Never seen it." The silence after that was dead serious. The healer blew a fuse. "You think I'm that easy to fool? No way I'm buying such a dumb lie." Then she stormed off in a huff. "Even a toddler wouldn't fall for that crap. Who do you take me for?" Ash shouted after the retreating figure. "Can I ask just one more thing?" The healer shot back a nasty refusal. I'm not answering another word from you. Ash pressed on anyway. Is the spirit I fought still alive? She froze. Finally, the healer caved. Their injuries were lighter than yours, left ages ago. Ash couldn't believe it. Getting stabbed in the throat is a light injury. She turned back, sounding hesitant. Why ask? You worried about M? Ash explained, saying, I'm worried makes things kinda awkward. Just curious. I mean, that was supposed to be my first kill. The healer's eyes lit up with gossip. For real, your first time phrasing it like that sounds totally misleading, you know. So you want him to survive or you just want him to not die? Ash answered without missing a beat. Both. The healer was confused. Both. You want him alive and dead. Ash lowered the voice, confiding. Honestly, the beef between us wasn't big enough to demand a death sentence. If I could, I'd rather just beat him with a crescent stick to vent my anger. Plus, I got questions for him, so I wasn't exactly hoping for a funeral. Ash chuckled softly. But if they are dead, I'd probably just lie in bed tonight thinking about how life is like an ocean. Only the strong-willed make it to the other shore. So yeah, even if they kicked the bucket, I wouldn't lose sleep over it. The healer listened in silence, then suddenly marched right up to Ash. Okay, I kinda believe it's your first kill now. The healer imagined Ash at a protest advocating for being nice because deep down, Ash is a softie. The way you put it sucks for both sides. If this went public, admitting you're soft-hearted might get you sympathy from human rights groups. Saying you ruthlessly wiped him out would get kudos from the extremists. But this wishy-washy, half-assed attitude, everyone's gonna roast you for it. So lame. Ash sighed helplessly. But come on, how many people in this world are actually that extreme and decisive? Looking resigned, aren't most people indecisive like me? The healer pondered that, then clapped hands together like a light bulb went, off rummaging through a sleeve. Indecisive people exist, sure. Then the healer shoved a notebook full of hot guy photos at Ash. But you need assets to be indecisive, like being hot. Check it out. These are the trending handsome looks lately. Want to pick one for your new face? I recommend number 1 here. Looks kinda like that famous pop star. You'll definitely dig this look. Ash called out the bluff immediately. You just like that face for yourself. Somehow they started bickering again. So what if I like it? If you wear this face, you're the one benefiting. Says who. Ash pointed at the current face, aura so intense it spooked the healer. I don't look in the mirror all day. What good does being pretty do me? It's everyone else staring at me who gets the eye candy. I just get judged. Sacrificing myself to please others is stupid. You think I'm down for that? The healer looked internally defeated. You have a point. Just as the gloom set in, Ash spoke up again, voice soft, but Ash leaned in smiling at the healer. You listened to my whining and chatted with me for so long. That's the only warmth I've felt in this ice-cold prison. If it's a request from a friend, I guess I can say yes. The healer was stunned. What? We're friends? Ash started walking away. All right, gonna go grab some grub. The healer grabbed Ash. Wait, so you're cool with the surgery? Ash crossed arms, eyes closed. Honestly, not really. I like my current face. I've had it for years. It's like a brother, a lover, a best friend. The healer probed. So Ash cut to the chase. You gotta pay me extra. Money, no problem. The healer spun around happily and walked off. Deal. When's the surgery? Ash sighed, total sugar mommy vibes. Suddenly, the healer rushed back looking frantic. Wait, there's some techniques I haven't quite mastered yet. Give me 2 nights to study. Don't worry, it's safe. My magic can prevent flesh, rot, and other nasty side effects. Ash looked terrified. I'm totally reassured. I'm gonna go now. Take your time. If I actually manage to break out, I need some cash anyway. Guess I'll just have to suck it up and rely on this pretty face. Ash went to close the curtain, both of them lost in thought. Price seems steep now. High chance of facial ruin. Those spells are. Suddenly, Ash asked the question that had been brewing for a while. Been meaning to ask. Are you being bullied by your coworkers? The healer flinched. Both times I woke up it was just you. Where are the other doctors? Did they dump the hardest job on you and then clock out early? The healer nodded in agreement. Well, you are the hardest job. That part's true. Ash gave a reassuring look. If they're bullying you, tell me, okay? The healer looked surprised. Then burst out laughing. Why would I tell you? Ash stammered. Aren't we friends? Friends are just. The healer didn't wait for the rest, shoving Ash out. People who secretly laugh when you screw up. Get out. Ash waved back. Haha. See ya. Thanks for the apples, they were dope. The healer waited until Ash was gone, then left too. Entering the staff break room, she froze. It was packed. The other doctors were standing in perfect formation. Someone was kneeling in the center. She recognized number 176, senior doctor, 176. The crowd bowed respectfully. Miss, this one peeked at your healing techniques. Tried to steal the blood tier research without permission. That violates the Constitution. Divine, personal, and collective property is inviolable. Definitely a crime. She looked at the kneeling doctor. Did the master send you? Doctor 201 bowed low. I'm a researcher, under your senior psi. The mistress told me not to disturb you usually, but this trash stole the lab's assets. I couldn't let it slide. The healer's voice went cold. Now my cover is blown. So does this mean I gotta get out of here? The guy answered super carefully. Young miss, you're kidding right. We came to Shattered Lake Prison for the blood fusion ritual. And who here isn't a reserve kin from the 4 great research institutes? The docs lined up on both sides, shouted in unison. Why would we ever sell you out? How would we dare betray you? Suddenly, Dr. 176 screamed. Eyes. Totally bloodshot. I don't accept this. What makes you the new blood kin of the Blood Terror Research Institute? I had to rot in some tiny research lab, grinding and scheming just to get a shot at blood fusion. But you just get it handed to you like it's nothing. Why do you get the power I begged for so easily? Why do all the best prisoner test subjects go through your hands? Huh. The old guy's eyes were practically popping out. I'm clearly a prodigy among the fishmen. I could have been a supreme bloodkin too. What I hate the most is, why is your talent so damn good too? Dr. 201 immediately smacked him down. The audacity. You unrepentant piece of trash. The old doctor collapsed to the ground. Still running his mouth, I can't just watch you surpass me. I won't. 201 turned to the healer. Young miss, how should we deal with this garbage? Normally, we'd end him right here. She thought for a second, walking inside. He doesn't annoy me enough to want him dead. But if he dies, I don't really care either. So you mean we should find a crescent-shaped soft rod, beat him until he's covered in wounds, deny him any treatment, and kick him out? Exactly. Isn't he a blue-scale fishman? Flesh wounds won't kill him. Tonight, toss him into the sea and let him swim back himself. The doctor stammered, wanting to ask more. But young miss, the healer didn't stop walking. If you don't agree, then do whatever you want. I don't care. The guy quickly clasped his hands. I didn't mean that. Your will shall be done. I'll take my leave now. She walked straight into the inner room. That doctor followed her. Realizing someone was there, the healer turned around. Something else. Since I'm already bothering you, I thought I'd say a few words. Scared she'd refuse, he quickly added. Just a reminder, just a few reminders. Speak. Dr. 2 carefully chose his words. I noticed you're spending a bit too much time in the treatment room with a prisoner. It's against protocol. Then he waved his hands frantically. Of course, that's not a problem at all. I guarantee no one will use the rules to mess with you, and I'm not here to warn you either. If it weren't for avoiding the Human Rights Association and the Race Rights Protection Association looking for trouble, we wouldn't even need to pretend to be doctors to perform the ritual. Those rules just lower the chance of drama. But young miss, you don't need to worry about trouble. I'm just worried that while you're playing around, you might catch feelings for those raw materials and delay the blood fusion ritual. The healer replied patiently. Every prisoner I've treated has had a blood fusion seed planted inside them. I just wait for them to die during judgment. The seed naturally condenses their magical power and knowledge, converting it all into my origin blood. The doctor felt relieved hearing that. As expected of the young miss, my worries were totally unnecessary. She just silently walked into the room. While taking off her mask, the healer recalled what Ash Heath said earlier. If your coworkers bully you, remember to tell me, okay? Aren't we friends? Behind that weird mask was actually a beautiful girl with white hair and mesmerizing red eyes. She whispered to herself. Our Blood Saint clan never catches feelings for our food. Meanwhile, Ash Heath was eating when he looked up, spotting Vargas. Holding a glass of water, the guy grumbled. You won big, and this is all you're eating to celebrate. Ash Heath watched him quietly sit down opposite him and spoke up. No choice. I was late. You guys ate all the buffet. Vargas said calmly. Order something. You won 37 contribution points. Spending 1 or 2 to treat yourself isn't too much to ask, right? He looked confused. Huh. Ordering food costs contribution points, didn't you know? Oh right, you've been here less than 2 days. Ash Heath's face lit up when he heard that. You can order whatever you want whenever you want without worrying about the cafeteria's daily limits. They'll even deliver it to your cell. That good. Any 3 dishes for just 1 contribution point. But his face froze. 1 point. That's too expensive. Prisoners only start with 50 points and they deduct 10 every month. You can use points for fancy hair care too. You can order uniforms, buy special bath products, and upgrade to a bigger cell. Renting a 2-living-room, 3-bedroom suite with a window costs 1 point a day. That's the diamond status standard. Hearing that, he stiffened and raised his voice. 1 point a day? Are they crazy? Who would live there? Meanwhile, Vargas calmly took a sip of water. If you do the math, 1 contribution point is worth about 1 gold coin outside. Living in prison might actually be richer than living outside. He asked blankly. We prisoners are worth that many gold coins, the guy leisurely explained. 1 gold coin is a whole year's salary. You can live a decent life in Con City with that, which means 2 dishes equal a year's wages. A stranger's silhouette popped into his mind. Wait a sec. Is she a real sugar mama? The silhouette spoke. I don't have small change. Then Vargas continued. What comes next is just me talking to myself. If you hear it, pretend you didn't. Cylinder. Besides being the president of the Elf Race Rights Association in Con City, a con councilman, and a university professor, he has a hidden identity, one of the backers behind the Woodpecker Committee. On the surface, he protects the interests of other races against the councilmen of the Blood Saint and Moon Shadow clans, but he's secretly done tons of shady deals with councilmen from both the Blood and Moon clans. The Woodpecker Committee, his Black Glove Gang, Even the mayor of Khan City, Fina, owes her rise to him. The scene shifted to people working together. The Four Pillars cult hasn't surfaced in years, basically vanished. Except for one rumor, there's zero evidence. During the excavation of the Eastern Ruins 8 years ago, rumor has it that some major demonic ritual books related to the Four Pillars cult were found inside. And the team leading that Eastern Ruins excavation, Professor Cylinder, was the main advisor in charge. A blinding vortex appeared. That same year, the Eastern Ruins got hit by a void storm, destroying most of their findings. Cylinder is an incredibly patient elf. At least I've never seen any creature outpatience him. If you want someone dead, it means that person holds intel that's super critical to him. Leaking that info would totally wreck him. Anyway, just talking to myself here. Ash stares at Vargas's retreating figure, thinking, oh, so that's how it is. Silent thought the secret was out, so he tried to off Ash. Confused, Ash calls out, yo, why help me though? Vargas glances back, grumbling, ain't helping you, kid. Just want to mess with that scumbag, Silent. Ignoring the attitude, Ash keeps it friendly. Cool, cool. You know anywhere in this jail to trade spirit arts, if I could snag a few. Spirit sword arts, I could really ruin Silent's day. Vargas just shrugs it off cold as ice. Not my problem. Ash pauses but keeps pushing. You failed to kill me and lost the fight. Won't you get in trouble? Same cold response. None of your business. Vargas reaches the door but Ash hollers. Come on, at least tell me how Silent plans to come at me next. Vargas replies without looking back. You'll find out when you see him. It's confirmed now. The mastermind behind all this drama is Heath's old college professor, the spirit scholar Cylinder. Scene switch, Ash walks in shouting, Sword, maiden you home. She's chilling on the bed, calm as ever. Here but not fully here. What's up? Ash spots her and walks over. That was you in the deathmatch, right? Suddenly, I could use spirit arts like a pro. Sword Maiden replies flatly, isn't it obvious? You understood the avatar spirit art had the right conditions and triggered a resonance, so the art manifested in reality. Same deal for everyone else here. Ash holds a slimy, floating orb. Got it. Ash thinks it's simple, but Sword Maiden crosses her arms, expression dark. Not simple. Grasping knowledge and understanding are two different things. Deep perception is key to mastering spirit arts. Ash just stares, looking totally blank. Is this a perk for leveling up friendship? Ash pokes the orb head bobbing. With the spirit art, I can enter the void realm too, right? Sword Maiden warns, you won't find the gate of truth inside that thing. Ash looks confused. Huh? Why? Unless you summon the spirit art yourself, the gate of truth stays hidden. The truth doesn't tolerate flaws. Ash pouts at the orb. Truth is harsh. Dropping the subject, Ash asks, hey Sword Maiden, where'd you vanish to for half the day? She crosses her arms, all haughty. Do I need to report my schedule to you? I ran into danger, okay? You summoned me after all. Before Ash can speak, she chucks something invisible at his head. Bam! Ash hits the floor while she keeps yelling. You promised to respect me, but deep down, you don't mean it. You think I'm just some data-generated illusion. A paper waifu born to serve you right. Even after all this time after we braved the void realm together, you still look down on me. I can't change how you think, but remember this. I'm a person too. I have a life, hobbies. She spins around. I have dreams and a world I live in. You're not my whole life, just an accident in it. Even without you, I do just fine somewhere you don't even know about. Get it? If I help, be grateful. If I don't you dare whine. Cappish Ash jumps up, looking like a light bulb just went on. Got it. Thanks for everything, mommy, Sword Maiden. She clenches her fists, screaming, don't call me that, I'm too young to be your mom. Ignoring her rage, Ash switches gears. About that NPC role I played. Hey, Sword Maiden. Tell me, did anything cool happen to you today? Sword Maiden closes her eyes, calming herself, then explains. This morning I flexed my torrent spirit art at the meditation hall. By noon, the whole school knew I scored 1 in the void realm. Cut to her at her desk. Some self-proclaimed genius approaches. Sword Maiden gives a scornful laugh. Even my stuck-up roommate, who thinks she's all that, asked if I was selling it. Ash interrupts. So you had a blast today. She frowns, voice rising, boring. And the air in this bachelor pad is nasty. I'm out. Ash yells back, not backing down. Apologize to the air purifier on the ceiling right now. Then totally chill. Ash asks, so Void Realm tonight? Obviously, she replies. From now on, unless it's an emergency, don't expect to see me hanging around. Save the chatter for the Void Realm. As she turns to leave, Ash calls out, but if I'm in real trouble and need you, will you show up? She freezes, glancing back. Didn't I tell you? You're not my whole life, but you were a part of it. If something happens to you, I'll be there. Mostly to laugh at how you messed up. Ash grins. She continues. So, don't expect me to pop up and chat just because you're lonely and bored. I don't offer that service. Hands on hips, Ash snaps back. I'm a functioning adult, I don't get lonely. Before vanishing, she shoots him a mocking look. Ridiculous. A spectator afraid of being alone. She fades into the darkness, clinging to me like a lifeline, scared like a kid if he doesn't see me. Guess he's not emotionless after all. Lucky for me, he's a bit thick-headed. Thought hiding it from him would be way harder. Scene change. The Starry Kingdom outside a sword training dojo. Water drips. Drip drop. Sonya sprawls on the grass with a water bottle chatting with her friend. Yo, why is this water so sweet? This ain't water, it's top-shelf booze. Even Royal Swallow can't touch this. Ingrid turned to her and whispered, I've actually had Royal Swallow before. Snuck a sip of my dad's stash when I was a kid, even watered it down. Tasted like trash. Got the worst beating of my life for that one. Sonia cracked up at that. Damn, you were wild back then. While they were chatting, a car pulled up next to them. Need a lift? I'm heading your way. Sonia and Ingrid stood up, waving it off. Nah, we're good. Walking helped shake off the legs. Isn't Senior Celia picking you up tonight? Before the sentence landed, the car sped off, yelling back. We broke up. Ingrid straightened up, turning to ask, You done resting yet? Yeah, time to bounce. Sonia looked up, answering coolly. You head back. I'm going straight to the meditation tower. As she walked off, she threw back. Gotta avoid Lois. You still haven't figured out what to do with the Riptide spirit. The question made her hesitate. It's not that. I just want to trade it for a sword spirit that suits me better. She flashed back to an earlier conversation. I'm willing to pay double the market rate. Back then, counting cash till my hands cramped was the dream, but I held it together. That's a huge chunk of change. The old me would have sold in a heartbeat. But I'm different now. Thanks to Professor Trozen, my eyes are finally open. Spirits are the real foundation of power. Money, that's just secondary resources, icing on the cake. While she was lost in thought, a voice cut in. Actually, there's option number 3, use it yourself. Turning around, the Watcher was already standing there. Sonia lit up immediately. You mean I can actually use Riptide myself? He smirked. Yeah. Don't you have some basics in the water faction? I recall the core spirits for the miracle sword art are Vibration Sword and Riptide. She jumped up, stammering Watcher. You know that miracle technique. You gonna give it to me? Watcher rubbed his chin, pretending to think. I dunno, but if you have these 2 spirits, you could invent this miracle yourself. Isn't that the whole fun of being a sorcerer? The conversation dragged on. Invent it myself. Even Professor Trozen took months. But how can she compare to you? You're the sword maiden. I found Sonia. Suddenly, crossing her arms and turning away. She let out a frustrated sigh. You talk a big game. Just hand over the miracle spell. Already, I'm not a 3-year-old. Then her eyes suddenly locked onto something. She whipped around, hyped up. Wait, Watcher, you let me have Riptide, so that's why you took the substitute spirit, right? You're actually so sweet to me. Hearing that, his eyes went wide. Watcher immediately turned away, acting cool. All right, quit the probing. I needed the substitute spirit, that's why I took it. Didn't you say you were heading to the meditation tower? As they walked, Sonia wouldn't let it go, trailing right behind him. Someone at your level needs a 1-wing spirit, he broke it down. First off, there are no weak spirits, only weak sorcerers. Second, right now, I'm a total weakling. Weaker than you even. My real body is locked up in prison and in serious danger. Not only am I weak, but I lost a ton of memories while waking up. So I gotta relearn sorcerer common sense through you. His expression, darkened eyes intense. Scary stuff. It's only been 2 days and she's already figured out how to block her inner thoughts. She can even lie to me in her mind. She really lives up to that Violet Frenzy title. Is letting her tap into her potential a good move or a mistake? Watcher leaned in, looking at her. I'm super weak right now and my memory's shot. Sonia followed him, biting her lip, thinking, is memory loss the price for a memory erasure miracle? No wonder he asked so many dumb questions, he's actually clueless. But if he's weak now, that means he used to be a beast. Sonia's eyes lit up at the thought. Doesn't that mean he's got god-tier potential? Climbing back to the top is way easier than starting from scratch. The Watcher returning to his peak. Give it enough time and he's basically guaranteed to become a supreme powerhouse again. A literal titan. Without hesitating, Sonia ran up and latched onto his arm. She beamed like a flower, rambling on. Picking a husband and picking a boss follow the exact same logic. Instead of joining some massive guild later just to be a grunt, it's way better to be a founding member with a boss who's got potential. Isn't that better than marrying into a rich family, watching their moods, and turning into a baby-making machine? Thinking about a future of chilling out versus dealing with nagging in-laws, Sonia looked at him with pure determination. Watcher, what kind of danger are you in? Need backup. Just say the word. I'll do whatever it takes to keep you safe. No questions asked. Watcher stayed silent for a beat, then spoke slowly. Later, when we explore the Void Realm, if we find the spirits needed for the Severance miracle, let me have them. Sonia looked at him confused. Severance miracle, Watcher explained. I'm locked in a cell right now. I need the Severance miracle to break out. Hearing that, a wave of excitement surged through Sonia. Can you tell me the details of this Severance miracle? Sonia shifted gears, eyes blazing. This is a miracle that's not even registered in the Starry Sky registry yet. Sonia looked at Watcher, a smirk playing on her lips. Is this a sword miracle you invented? He shook his head slightly. Nope, it's a sword miracle I stole from an enemy. So any trouble if I use it, relax. That enemy will absolutely never show their face in front of you. Absolutely not. Sonia nodded, a calculating look on her face. Deal. Then I'll definitely work extra hard to help you find those spirits. Internally, she connected the dots. That means the inventor is already dead. A miracle that's never appeared in the Starry Kingdom. A super practical sword miracle. Even silver-ranked sorcerers can use it to heal themselves. She drifted into a daydream, giggling like an idiot. Selling this would make me the richest chick in Gareth. If I fully deploy my silver wings to find the spirits for Severance, can't I just claim the miracle for myself and sell it? Sonia, who was previously just grateful for having her sword talent discovered and being guided through the void realm, was now buzzing with excitement. As they both held out their arms to reveal their bracelets, she thought, they say a promise for the future isn't as good as cash in hand. Spiritual fulfillment can't pay the bills like material stuff can. Otherwise, a nobody like Sonia wouldn't be a nobody. After mulling it over, she used telepathy to speak to him. Hey Watcher, actually, I've got a proposition for you. He cut right in, speaking inside the void realm. We got plenty of time in here. Wanna talk? Shoot. Spectator didn't hold back, adding bluntly, oh yeah. You hate it when I listen to your inner thoughts, right? So decided I won't bug you during the day anymore. From now on, no need to scream Spectator in your head before hitting the bathroom or shower. I ain't toilet paper or a towel, you know. Just save whatever you gotta say for the void realm. Won't be popping up in your real life anymore. Sonia got all awkward and stammered. If you don't listen to my thoughts, you're still welcome. Spectator kept a poker face. Got my own stuff to do. Not like I have time to watch you change clothes every day. Sonia frowned, eyes narrowing with suspicion. So you did peek at me changing? Spectator gave a forced laugh. That's not the point. He regained his composure, acting all indifferent. Anyway, the few hours in the void realm, that's our hangout time. Rest of the day, I'm ghosting. Even if you call, I ain't showing up. Hearing that, Sonia asked immediately, what if I have an emergency and really need you? Spectator's back looked lonely as he spoke slowly. Even if I descend next to you, I'm just a hologram. Can't even lift a single hair. Can't give you any real help. You call me and all I can do is mock you. Sonia walked over, face serious. Mocking is fine. So, will you show up if I call? Spectator looked stunned, a bit helpless. Really making demands that are hard to refuse, aren't you? Then he couldn't help but ask, but I'm curious. Need me to fill the void of missing fatherly love from your childhood or something? Sonia's eyes glittered as she asked seriously. So want me to call you Daddy? Spectator? Spectator waved his hands in terror. Past just Spectator is fine. The door closed and Spectator looked at it thoughtfully. Is letting her awaken early a good thing or bad? Not my problem anymore. Scene shifts to them fighting side by side. Sonia swung her sword, unleashing wave cutter slash. The monster opposite just raised a hand and caught it gently. Spectator's jaw dropped, caught it with one palm again. That guy stood there like a mountain, making Spectator suspicious. Same difficulty level on the map, so why is this one so much stronger than that gun sorcerer's shadow from last time? Sword Princess's attacks are just tickling him. The monster raised a hand and lunged. Both of them turned around, screaming in unison. Run! Sonia sat on the boat, gasping for air. Ascetic faction, sorcerer, and knows martial arts. Too tough to handle. Spectator wasn't doing any better. Sword Princess, you really couldn't scratch him. Sonia frowned, sounding troubled. Just learned a high-power move, but need to charge it up carefully. No opening. Spectator cried. For real, gotta gamble then. Bait tactic activated. Spectator latched onto the monster, struggling to pin it. Seizing the chance, he screamed, Sword, Princess Sonia, swing it. Difference between swordsmanship and butchery is precision. The sword pierced straight through the monster's thigh. Spectator activated it again. Explode. Sword energy surged, and the monster was destroyed. Sonia cheered. Yes, controlled the explosion inside his body, didn't blow you up. Spectator note, injuries in the void are fake. As long as you don't die instantly, sorcerers heal in a sec, but it drains a ton of soul energy. Pains ramped up 10 to 20% compared to reality. He looked at the few items on the ground with disdain. Sacrifice so much. Even if it's virtual, better drop some good loot. Loot dropped 2 woodhide spirits. Restriction, sorcerer must have skin covering muscle. Basic effect, turns skin into tree bark. While on the ground, transfers 10% of kinetic impact to the earth. Passive effect, daily training can permanently harden skin into bark. Note, wind frost, sun exposure, freezing cold. All natural suffering makes you tougher. Reading that, both their faces dropped, muttering, 2 of the same thing. Spectator wondered, why 2 identical spirits? Sonia sighed. Ascetic sorcerers love stacking passives. Spectator held out his hands, puppy eyes on full display, boosts defense. You want it? Sword Princess Sonia waved it off instantly. Nope. Ugly. Worthless. Thinking back, Spectator nodded in agreement. True, it is ugly. Just use it as fodder. After a bit, he decided, then you take that sorcerer's handbook. Sonia picked it up. Let me check. One look and she threw it in disgust. Gross. Spectator peeked inside, face, lighting up, eyes glued to the pages. Sonia sneered. Men. Have to say the book that Beastman left behind was how to put it politely, called a registry of beauties. Seriously, called Otherworld custom research material. Pleasure secrets effective only on males over 2 meters. Combat wild intuition. Close range dodge against sneak attacks works outside field of view. Spectator suddenly froze, staring ahead. Good stuff, but the island's sinking just like before. On the boat, Sonia sat legs crossed, looking at him seriously. You really gonna absorb that sorcerer's handbook? Your moral compass is. Spectator laughed awkwardly. Flexible. Very flexible. He shook it off, changing the subject. Let's hit the next zone. Sonya grumbled, annoyed. Spectator, try acting decent for once. Real talk, this run was way harder than the last. He pursed his lips, serious now. Best we find a small inheritance island. For a swordsman or a small memory island with a sword spirit. Sonya crossed her arms, chin up, whatever. It's still an ascetic sorcerer's island. Spectator's hand froze, frowning. Wait. Sonya saw they weren't moving and pushed. Why aren't we going? Spectator replied. Gotta wait a bit before we can move. Sonya was confused why how long. He shook his head, clueless, don't know. Sonya just rolled with it and spoke up.
Fine, we wait. Forgot to mention earlier, I wanted to talk about my daily training. Can you cancel the mandatory schedule? Spectator looked at her suspicious, thinking. Workers these days.
Refusing to produce surplus value, laziest person I've ever met. He clasped his hands, pretending to think deep thoughts. Sure. No problem. I respect the Sword Princess's wishes, but I want to hear your reason. He recalled the past, smiling nostalgically. I've got experience with this scene. Sonya started venting. Feel like I have zero personal time all day now. 8 a.m. starts with essential lectures or general knowledge, then sword theory, then practical combat training. Professor Trozin checks my sword progress every single morning, forces a sparring match. Seriously, no rest during the day. Force into repetitive sword drills that don't mean jack. If I have the wave sword, shouldn't that be the core to summon other support spirits? Actually makes sense way better than basic training. Of course, Sonya didn't say everything. Kept some stuff to herself, but yeah, it's exhausting zero chill time. Small issue though. I want leverage even if you refuse this time, whatever. Gotta make you remember every day how much effort I put in. One day I'll figure out your mental limits and how you think, then who controls who is up for grabs. After thinking a bit, Ash Heath nodded. You make a point. Sonya froze. That easy, he smirked. But let me ask, if you had 2 extra hours at night, what would you do? Sonya rested her chin on her hand, looking up at the sky, muttering. Probably read, watch movies, join clubs, make more friends. So basically just having fun, right? Met people richer than you? Met people richer and just as talented? Sonya squinted, answering mechanically. Yeah. Ignoring that, Ash Heath continued. Know what's the scariest thing in this world? It's when those richer than you talented as you work harder than you. While you're dying to rest, they're using that time to leave you in the dust. Don't waste your prime years being useless or chasing comfort. Too many people out there start at the finish line we're trying to reach. You okay with just watching others' backs forever? Okay with just being a nobody? Except in the sea of knowledge, you won't leave a mark anywhere. Sonya bit her lip, eyes burning with determination. I'm not okay with that. Ash Heath walked past, adding some comfort. So Sword Princess, don't blame me for being harsh. Don't let others' lives blind you. Want to end up average like them? You're growing, gotta step out of your comfort zone, use the grind to add value to your life. Don't let desire cloud your judgment. Desire just slows down your blade. Us sorcerers don't ask about the past. Don't beg for the next life. Just want this one to be epic, living free. Aura flared up, Sonya clenched her fists, eyes dead set. Ash Heath, you're right. Gotta fight for what I like, so even if I fail, I can blame the world with no regrets. Ash Heath turned away, sighing internally. No wonder the boss posts anxious stuff on social media. Gotta say, making others anxious is kind of fun. Then he checked the panel, so swapping 2 hours of training for one shouldn't hurt, right? In the corner, a square lit up showing 3 words. It is time. The boat started moving, getting closer to the island. Both stared at the tree in the center, shocked. Is that? Under the tree, a creature lay curled up. A dragon glow fox. Sonya signaled, pointing at it. Ash Heath nodded, then signaled he'd rush into attack. Sonya drew her sword. Ash Heath pursed his lips, thinking about a sniper rifle, but grabbed a sword instead, sighing. Real weapons are useless here. They landed, creeping toward the fox. Sonya raised her sword to slash, but got stopped. Ash Heath split into 2 clones, raising his hand. Sonya got it. All 3 swords struck down at once. The fox spat in pain, illusions vanishing. Didn't wait for it to recover, kept attacking until it was toast. Both stared at the loot, stoked. Awesome 4 spirit arts. We're emotionless hunters. First item, 1-winged foxfire spirit. Restriction. Sorcerer needs a tail. Effect. Tail shoots blue flames. The fire sticks to targets burning for a bit. Target won't feel pain, actually feels happy. Passive effect. Body hair gets thick and flammable. Pain and pleasure are just illusions. Burn away the disguise and you see the true self inside. Second, 1-winged lamp spirit. Restriction. Needs a light, medium, or nearby light source. Effect creates floating light. Moves how you want. Passive. In well-lit areas you get hyped up. Light doesn't banish darkness. Darkness chases light. Next, moon silk 1-winged spirit. Same restrictions. Creates temporary moonlight beams in the sky. Passive. You get lighter under moonlight. Watching moonlight cut the dark ash. Heath held up the last one, curious. One left. What's this? Sonya covered her mouth in shock, eyes glowing. It's an XP orb. No restrictions, no requirements. Absorb it, and you get all the insights from the intellect beast, instantly master a compatible spell class, maybe even level up your sorcerer rank. Smooth sailing. From there, no barriers. Exploring the void is a long journey. The XP orb is instant enlightenment. This is a light element XP orb. Absorb it, and even a total noob can instantly get silver rank light knowledge. Become a light specialist. If spirit arts are rare, XP orbs are priceless. Sonia got more excited, lifting the orb high. Ash Heath was confused. Isn't it just an XP pill? He looked at her blankly. Didn't we get it easily though? Why make it sound so rare? She got mad, face darkening. You, Ash Heath, you smooth-brained idiot. Then she suppressed the rage, smiling. True, theoretically, XP orbs aren't rare. Kill any intellect beast and it might drop, but those beasts can beat sorcerers of the same level. Sonia looked at him like he was a pitiful moron. Plus, she added, if they can't win, they run. Ash Heath realized the horror, mumbling, they know how to run. Sonia nodded, keeping it real. They'll even toss out a spell spirit on purpose to distract the sorcerer, total bait and switch to survive. Plus, XP orbs can chill anywhere inside a sentient creature. Nobody has a clue where they spawn. Go in swinging blindly and that XP orb gets wrecked. Get how lucky this drop is now. If the dragon-like fox hadn't been asleep, if the attack hadn't focused on the head of the fox, if the orb hadn't been right in its skull, or if that beast actually had the energy to fight back, we'd be toast. Spectator rubbed a chin, finally getting the picture. True that. Sonia froze, a weird thought hitting hard. Wait a sec. Spectator paused earlier. No doubt that was just to wait for the dragon-like fox. Realization hit Sonia like a truck. A sly grin formed. That is some next-level scumbag strategy. Absolute genius. Gotta get on Spectator's good side. Sonia held out the orb, voice dripping with fake concern. Here, take it. Isn't the situation dangerous? Surely some power-up items are needed. As soon as possible, not in a rush. Keep this one. Just don't fight for the sword art orb next time. Hearing that, Spectator didn't hesitate to grab it. But the orb wouldn't budge. Spectator glared. Let go already. Sonia squeezed eyes shut, looking totally pained. Letting go. Letting go. But these fingers just won't listen. Spectator looked at the orb in shock. Just touching it. The feeling is intense. Sensing the knowledge inside. It's more intense than binge-watching an anime only to have it get cancelled on a cliffhanger. The light essence orb, the dragon-light fox left behind, is packed with arcane knowledge. Sorcerers can't get this much light XP normally. Absorb this, and it's a massive XP boost. The value is obvious. Suddenly, Spectator let go. Sonia screamed, "What the hell?" Spectator just said, "Sword Maiden, absorb it." About to unleash a curse, Sonia froze. Giving it up, Sonia jumped up, pointing a finger with a pout. Got it. Must be an abyss dark type, conflicting with light elements. Just a total demon, right? Spectator forced a laugh. I know nothing, and surely the Sword Maiden knows that. Spectator looked at Sonia, dead serious. Because of the bond, Sonia getting stronger means I get stronger. Sonia stepped back, eyes wide, brain scrambling. A bond thought that was just a polite way of saying kidnapping victim. There are ways to control the situation. Getting stronger helps everyone, not just empty words. For real, Sonia grabbed the orb, hype levels rising. Then don't mind if I do. The orb vanished into Sonia. Eyes lit up, body glowing with raw data, light knowledge flooding in like a flashback. Spectator gasped, whoa. So this is light knowledge. Really can leech 30% of the Sword Maiden's XP. Being a light specialized sorcerer, absorbing it directly is 100% profit. But letting the Sword Maiden take it yields 130% total. That's what's called a win-win. The XP orb is just a tool, like a hoe. Doesn't matter how sick the hoe is, gotta give it to a farmer to make it work. Someone with zero talent, like this, just needs to sit back and leech, and get thanked for it. A scene played out in Spectator's head. Don't let this expectation down. Study the light knowledge well and don't slack on the sword arts training. Got it. Sonia replied, hyped. Thanks, Spectator. Based on the hoe for the farmer logic, the moon silk spell spirit is better off with the Sword Maiden. The other two got sold for cash. Sonia looked over puzzled, wanting help finding the miracle/spirit just to trade it in the void realm. No way. Spectator stared back. Why not? Sonia explained, looking bored. In the void realm, break the link and the spirit bolts instantly. Spectator mumbled, confused. Can't just catch it again? They run slow. Sonia nodded. That's cause the ones seen before were wild. We sorcerers are just tourists from the outside. In this void realm, spell spirits are the real bosses. If a captured spirit wants to bail, the whole realm helps it escape. Who knows what price they pay, but history proves it. Break the link in the void realm and poof, spirit's gone. No sorcerer has ever managed to recapture one. Another dead end. Then Sword Maiden mentioned the tree fruit was a resource. Spectator climbed up, following Sonia's orders. Yeah, that's the one. Just grab two, don't get greedy. Holding the red fruit, Sonia explained. This is a void fruit. Restores drained soul energy. Extends the exploration time. Spectator tossed one and chewing happily but confused. Why stop at 2 if it's this good? Barely 2 chews in, and the face went green. Sonia struggled to swallow the berry. Because nobody wants a second one. Tastes like literal crap. Spectator got it immediately. Agreed. Anything to keep the run going. But the 4 map tiles showed wasted effort. Death wish. Death wish. Run away. Guess the XP orb drained all the luck. They looked at each other, groaning. What is this garbage? Back in reality, Ash Heath sprawled on the bed, grinning. Ate crap for nothing. The trip had to end there. Ash Heath took the Black Fox Fire and other spirits to cash them in. Danger's knocking, no time to be stingy. Thank God for the first top-up double bonus. Praying for a single pull miracle. Eyes popped out. 2 purples, 1 orange, void telescope. Increases observation distance by 1 when exploring the void realm. Checking the map, Ash Heath cheered. Map looks sick now. Nice. Even got a silver coin from the Violet Maniac Sword Maiden, one of the 3 silver coins. Sonia lost. Years later, anyone bringing this coin to Sonia either gets a reward or gets killed. After expanding the bond function, Ash Heath stared curiously. Items full of hidden character mechanics. Upon use, the shout came out. Knew it. Sync stats went up. XP resonance jumped from 30% to 35%. Bond, greed resonance, better loot drop rates when acting together. Ash Heath mumbled happily, not bad. Sword Maiden gets the kill steal on monsters from now on. Then out came an Awakening combat card. General Danger level. Sets up a super high level battle for the character to trigger Awakening state. Ash Heath pouted, thinking it over. Character gained 250% combat experience, plus it's way easier to spark miracles, summon spirits, and break limits now. Then, Nita's whining face suddenly pops into mind going, I'm so exhausted. No time to rest at all. So Arthur's just straight up clicks Sword Maiden. Hey, I'm doing this for the job changer's own good. Meanwhile, in Starry Kingdom, a crowd at Swordflower University is whispering, look, that's her, Celia. Bet Sonia's gonna get dumped real quick too. Knew she was that type of trash the moment I saw her. Ingrid turns to Sonia looking confused. What kind of nonsense are they spouting? Her face goes cold. It's obvious. Word got out that Felix dumped Celia. And lately, the only woman seen next to Felix is me. Ingrid gasps, realizing what's up. For real, Sonia groans, totally fed up. Ugh, seriously. I just want to lay low and grind. Don't drag me into this mess. Both freeze right as they step inside. 3 people are standing right in the middle of the arena. The black-haired guy points his sword across the room, voice gritty. Felix, you dare play with my little sister's feelings. Draw your blade. Let's see if a Vudota has any backbone. That's Leon. 3rd-year sword student, 1-winged silver swordsman, and a member of the Swordflower University varsity team. Felix doesn't answer, just looks at Celia Sr. Is this what you wanted? She's tearing up, biting her lips silent. Sonia watches from the side thinking, even a hunter steps in their own trap sometimes. Celia actually caught feelings, so she pulled this stunt. Doesn't that just sever the last bit of chance she had? Leon suddenly notices the entrance and points his sword that way. Felix, heard you got a pretty new junior lately. As president, I won't bully the weak, and I won't let you guys use numbers to bully either. Get that junior of yours over here too. I'll take on both of you myself. Sonia's internally disgusted. Why's a clean-living person like me stepping in this pile of crap? If I agree to fight, won't I basically admit to being part of some trashy couple? On the outside, she puts on a naive smile. Sorry, Senior Leon, this is personal beef between you guys. I got zero reason to get involved. Suddenly, a hand lands on Sonia's shoulder. That doesn't make sense. The skill gap is way too huge. Isn't that just bullying? The girl steps up next to Sonia, smiling to calm things down. As a disciplinary commissioner, I won't allow this one-sided beatdown. But Junior Felix, Junior Sonia, if Professor Trozen knew you two couldn't even help each other out, he'd be super disappointed. The senior leans in and pats Sonia's shoulder, making her jump and turn her head to look. Leonie showing up out of nowhere makes everyone rub their eyes in disbelief, whispering, That's Senior Leonie, the orange dancer. Why's she at school? Did she just get back from the abyss? That was fast. A bunch of info about Leonie pops up. Nickname Orange Dancer. Most famous student at Swordflower University. Beat every single freshman in the sword department on her first day. Reached 1-winged silver rank in her 2nd year, taken in as an apprentice by the Rhythm Sword Saint Nadera, the other sword saint of Swordflower. Joined an Abyss Adventure team in 3rd year, grouping up with geniuses from Truth University. Scored big loot and lucky breaks in the Abyss. Even Truth University wanted to poach her. Tons of people see her as a sword saint seed, a future sword domain master. Leonie trots over happily, chatting up Sonia with a bright smile, but the words coming out are pure venom. Sure, Leon might be suspected of bullying the weak, but you guys are research apprentices of Professor Trozen. Him bullying you is basically spitting on the hidden sword saint. She uses her robotic arm to clamp down hard on Sonia's shoulder. It hurts like hell. Her hands like a tiger vice. But this is their personal drama. The witch hears that and deliberately shouts so the whole crowd hears. Since Leon said he wants to challenge you, even if it's just to protect the hidden sword saint's honor, you guys gotta accept the challenge. Junior Sonia get the logic besides 2 against 1. Those odds are huge. Refusing now would make you look way too weak. Leonie gives Sonia a provoking look. A swordsman needs the guts to step up. Along with sword skills, you need the logic to beat your enemy. You're the most logical person here, Junior Sonia. What do you think? Looking into her eyes, Sonia knows there's no running. Can't dodge this bullet. Sonia sinks into thought. Stuck in a spot where saying yes sucks but saying no is impossible. Professor Trozen is my biggest backer in reality right now. I can't gamble with anything that affects how Professor Trozen sees me. Not to mention with hundreds of eyes watching. News that I didn't care about Professor Trozen's face and bailed would spread across Sword Flower in 10 minutes. Sonia feels like a puppet right now, just letting people pull strings and play around. It makes her furious. Disgusting feeling. Being manipulated, forced, trapped, and finally forced into a fight she didn't want. From behind, a hand reaches out, touching her shoulder, snapping her awake. The spectator appears, offering an out. Need a hand, I guarantee. I can wipe out the frustration in your heart. Sonia agrees instantly. I do. He smirks. You promise that yourself, remember. Don't blame me. She turns back, staring Leonie dead in the eye, gaze rock solid. I refuse. I am absolutely not getting involved in their personal messy drama. Absolutely won't fight alongside Felix Vosroda and absolutely won't fight Senior Leon. The witch sees the reaction and thinks with a sneer. So much for genius Sonia. She starts to say, but if that's the case, but gets cut off before she can finish. Sonia screams in rage, stressing every word. As a student of Professor Trozen, I can't stand you using Professor Trozen's honor to provoke me over and over again. I can't tolerate you trying to manipulate student emotions and doubt Professor Trozen's teaching quality. And I definitely can't stand you using our win or loss to slander Professor Trozen's character. Hearing that she waves her hands in shock, didn't. Sonia rips her sword out before she can finish that sentence. Save the excuses. Like you said, beating the enemy into submission is the best logic. Sonia stands there, face set in stone. So Leonie, I want to challenge you. Those words turn everyone in the room to stone. Can't believe she'd do something that crazy. Leonie looks at her totally stunned. Sonia also suddenly realizes her reaction was way too extreme. Leonie calmly asks back, Junior Sonia, are you for real? You want to challenge me? Leonie Sonia's screaming internally, like a maniac, trying to deny it, desperately wanting to say she didn't mean it, but the words just won't come out. Fake total lie, the spectator totally hijacked my body just now. She starts freaking out, looking everywhere for that shameless little speaker called the spectator who just possessed her. Can't find him anywhere. Of course, the jerk bailed. Leonie's staring at her, figuring out her real game. Like everyone knows what's up. 6 months ago, Leonie went on some hardcore Abyss raid. Everyone knows she's desperate to level up her sword skills through actual combat. She hit the 2-wing rank after that, but Leonie has no clue that Sonia is totally losing it on the inside right now. It feels like the end of the world. Seriously, she's got her silver wings out. I've only been in the Void Realm for a few days. I'm basically a total noob compared to her. The power gap between us is huge, like a toddler fighting a grown-up. Her spirit arts, her skills, her combat experience. She beats me in everything. Spectator, why you gotta do me dirty like this? I'd rather just punch Leonie and get it over with. All of these thoughts are making her hopeless. If I lose badly, I can't face Professor Trozen. It's just like last time when you made me challenge Felix Vosloda. That's exactly why I'm in this mess today. The spectator's pulling the same stunt again. The thought of strangling that little guy actually makes her smile. But hey, spectator, you're not wrong. I am pretty pissed off right now. All I can think about is hunting you down in the Void Realm tonight and crushing you. Leonie gives her a provoking look and asks, Hey, Junior, you sure about this? She snaps back. Yeah, I'm sure, even though she desperately wants to bail. But nope, words out, can't take it back now. Leonie just shrugs. Gutsy. I like it. As a senior in the sword department, I can't say no to a challenge from a junior. She walks over to the weapon rack. But as a disciplinary committee member, I can't let an unfair fight happen here. She grabs a wooden sword and points it at Sonia. Here's the deal. If my sword touches you even once, I lose. But if you drop your sword, I win. Sonia stays quiet. Leonie smirks. And obviously, if you manage to disarm me, you win. Leonie looks over at the crowd. This rule works for you too also. Leon, you gotta beat Felix without hurting him. Got it. She glances at the other pair. Deal. Leonie looks hyped. Felix chimes in. You can make the rules harder if you want. I don't care. He figures this setup works for him too. With winning conditions that easy, why would I say no? Sonia suddenly realizes what's going on. These guys are pros. So that's the play. The whole thing with Celia was just a coincidence. What's her angle? Leonie's practically a sword saint. She's the apprentice of the Snow Song Sword Saint. Felix and I are apprentices of the Hidden Hand Sword Saint. Sonia steps toward them. This is a showdown between the disciples of sword saints. Is Leonie testing us for Sword Flower University? Whatever. I'm not backing down. But giving me such an advantage, she's totally looking down on me. Sonia stands her ground, no fear. I'm cool with that, Senior Leonie. Leonie gives her a look that says pathetic. Let the battle begin. The crowd goes wild. One professor wants to watch but remembers. Wait, I have a class. Someone grabs his shoulder. Who cares about class? Forget it. We don't need to interfere with a duel between sword saint apprentices. They watch with glee. Besides, with a skill gap this big, nobody's gonna get hurt. True. If they were evenly matched, it might get messy. Word spreads fast. The news blows up across campus. Students are ditching class left and right. Yo, skip class. Get to the combat hall. You love the orange dancer, right? She's there right now. Everyone rushes over. Forget class. Let's go. Lois and Adel look at each other confused. Is Celia fighting a homewrecker? At the arena, the crowd is chanting for Leonie. Leonie, Leonie. When Lois and Adel arrive, the fight's already on. They can't believe their eyes. It's actually Sonia down there. Leonie, Leonie. Sonia swings wildly, but Leonie blocks everything. She's going head-to-head with the orange dancer. Sonia winds up for a massive strike. Power erupts from Sonia like a hurricane shaking the ground. Leonie's long hair and dress flutter in the wind, but she just stands there calmly, raising her hand with a smile. Leonie's blade gently catches Sonia's attack. Not bad with that wave sword technique. Then with a shove, she sends Sonia flying back. Sparks fly on impact. Leonie adds, but you're making it too easy for me to use your own force against you. Sonia grits her teeth, frustrated. Sweat drips down Sonia's face, her hands shaking on the hilt. She watches Leonie. Slash, stab, cut. That's it. She's only using the 3 basic moves. She isn't even using her mana to pressure me. Leonie just stands there touching her blade with her left hand, smiling. She's glowing with this blinding aura so beautiful you can't look away. Sonia thinks it's like she knows every single move I'm about to make. Every second, every move. She's in total control. The scariest thing about a true sorcerer isn't power, it's knowledge. Sonia frowns hard. She has to admit it, this is the real deal. What was I even bragging about these last few days? Leonie notices the silence and speaks up. Come on, Junior Sonia. Show me what you've got. Sonia freezes, her face dark. Hearing, don't worry about hurting me, triggers something in her brain. She smiles. All right then, Senior. I'm going all out. Watch yourself. Sonia slowly raises her sword, circling her arms to her left. She drops into a stance, knees bent, holding the sword at a 90-degree angle across her chest, her left hand resting on the blade at her hip. Blue energy gathers around the sword, whipping up winds that blow her red ponytail back. Leonie eyes the technique. The I draw combined with the wave sword. Interesting. Sonia frowns and launches herself at Leonie, her blade wrapped in blinding light. Leonie charges too. The impact shakes Sonia to her core under her armor. She can't believe Leonie actually blocked that. She jumps back. Leonie's still smiling. Fun. But once you block the initial draw, Sonia doesn't let up, unleashing a barrage of attacks that forces Leonie to retreat. Nice move. Leonie decides it's time to end this. She tries to flip Sonia Sagi's sword up from below, grinning. Caught up to ya. Suddenly, Leonie's smile freezes. She looks down. Her chest, stomach, and thighs are tangled in glowing wires. Where they touch, little swirls appear, releasing long golden petals. Before they knew it, they were trapped in a web of crossed wires. Sonia Sagi smirks. Gotcha. Behind her, a fox-shaped spirit appears, clutching a massive crescent harp against its chest, hands gently strumming the strings. Ripples spread out like they're sitting on water. The crowd goes nuts, jaws dropping everywhere. What the hell kind of spirit art is that? Light attribute. Sonia Sagi's been a mage for like 2 days. How does she have that? Even the hidden hand, Sword Saint, doesn't use light magic. Leonie scowls while the crowd keeps yapping. Did she get that from the Void Realm? She's barely been there. Leonie lunges, thrusting hard. Sonia Sagi dodges barely. The blade grazes her cheek. Too close. That would have been a critical hit. Just as she dodges, Leonie launches a barrage of stabs. Sonia Sagi grits her teeth, blocking frantically, sweat pouring down. Junior Sonia Sagi, Leonie says, not stopping her assault. Gotta admit, I got a little ticked off earlier. Triggering my miracle guard. Felt like you were insulting me. Platinum wings snap open. She brings the sword down heavy, clang sparks fly, forcing Sonia Sagi back. Leonie continues. You've been a mage for what, a few days. If Professor Nadala hears about this, I'm getting an earful. They drift apart, staring each other down, a moment of silence in the packed arena. Behind Leonie, 2 guys are dueling in the distance. But I realized fast. I got no right to be mad. You're the one who should be pissed. You challenged me with everything you had. Wanted a real blood-pumping sword duel. And I treated you like a kid needing a lesson. Disrespected you. Leonie grins, raising a fist and pointing her thumb back at herself. My bad. I'm sorry. That light spirit woke me up. Prove you're not trash like Felix or Slada. You're a real sword mage. Her image starts flickering, vibrating before she even finishes. So here's my sincerest apology. I'm coming at you with everything I've got. Whoosh. She vanishes. Silence. Then the crowd erupts. Gone. Leonie just vanished. Sonia Sagi grips her sword, tight defensive stance, eyes darting everywhere. Flash of light from the left, Sonia Sagi swings up, blocks it just in time. The light shoots past her back. She tracks it, bam, attack from the right. Sonia Sagi blocks again, gasping for air. Leonie's voice echoes, that's two. Not just luck, but let's see how you handle the real deal. Leonie bursts from the blinding light sword swinging. Wham! Sonia Sagi gets launched into the air. Floating for a split second, Sonia Sagi spots the crowd below. She twists her body mid-air dodge. The energy blast misses her and slams into the wall. Boom. The crowd stares in terror at the glowing crater. Miracle art rhythmic melody dripping with sweat. Sonia Sagi realizes. 2 charge attacks, 1 burst attack. Leonie's figure flickers, leaving after images. Exactly. Sonia Sagi thinks. Looks harmless, but that rhythmic melody is a death song waiting to claim heads. It shreds defenses in seconds. Pure brute force to crush any resistance. The crowd goes wild. Senior Leonie learned the rhythm sword Saint's signature move. Wait, isn't that the technique the Saint created after ascending? She's got to be close to gold. Wing rank Sonia Sagi frowns, nerves pulled tight as a bowstring. She scans the area defensive. Here it comes, another explosive attack. Sonia Sagi backs off, snapping her light wires. Leonie's voice taunts sneaky little light traps. Think I'd fall for that. Sonia Sagi spins, blocking the massive energy blast. Leonie keeps talking. Useless. If I was that slow, I would have died in the abyss ages ago. Sonia Sagi lands hard, dropping to one knee, gripping her sword, planting it like she's giving up. Time seems to freeze. Dark mist closes in. Want to quit? Leonie asks. Sonia Sagi's hands shake, blood trickling down her knuckles. Next is the third strike, she tells herself. I can't tank another burst attack. I'll get crushed. A little devil version of Sonia Sagi whispers in her right ear. Quitting now isn't shameful. You fought Leonie this far, forced her to use Miracle Guard, made her unleash her melody. After this, nobody will question you being Professor Trozen's apprentice. You'll be the #1. Sword genius of the first years. The little devil skips around holding a balloon with Leonie's face on it. Perfect time to fold, the devil chirps. Play your cards right, and you could network with Leonie. Rumor is she's teaming up with Truth University elites. Flames burst around the imp. The balloon string snaps. It's your ticket to the upper class, it sneers. Sonia Sagi grits her teeth, eyes blazing with rage. But I'm not done. She growls internally, spectator. You planned this whole thing just to watch me fail. Didn't you? Well, screw that. I ain't playing your game. She grips her sword, eyes locking in. Forget benefits. Forget the future. Forget feelings. I just want to win. I refuse to lose. That's it. Sonia Sagi's eyes snap wide, light shifting in her pupils. Her blade splits the world in two, the noisy crowd on one side and the back of a young girl on the other. Standing still, sword in hand on rippling water reflecting the blinding light of a massive full moon. Sonia Sagi holds her long sword, moonlight dancing along the razor-sharp edge. Light steps gliding on water, the bright moon chilling and watching every move. Who is she? Why does she look exactly like me? That calm water suddenly ripples into a massive wave, drowning the little chick. A monster bursts out, looking totally savage, with a roar so loud it'd freak anyone out. But Sonia just gives a super soft smile, grips the sword tight, and gracefully winds up, swinging the blade over the shoulder, ready to unleash hell. The water starts going crazy, 2 waves, splashing everywhere from this petite girl's power. The blade slashes like it's ripping through space and time. As it swings down, it feels like the moon itself touched it, slicing the monster clean in half. The water parts ways too, like it's bowing down to let him pass. Hair brushes against that pretty face, looking a bit shook, but impressed. Damn, that was powerful, that single strike. Insane. The hand holding the sword trembles a bit, trying to feel that raw power again. Maybe, I can copy that. Sonia stands in the middle of the room, locking in on what happens next. Legs apart, knees bent, sword up. The urge to copy this is so intense the body just moves on its own. Before there's time to think, a flash zooms past at lightning speed. Didn't drop the sword. Not bad at all. Leonie grins, totally satisfied. As expected of the hidden sword, Saint's pick for a disciple. But I ain't holding back. Rushing straight at Sonia, zero hesitation. Hands up ready to strike. Suddenly, a blinding blue light flashes, caught off guard. Going all out is the only way to show respect to a miracle swordsman. Rhythm of the law, third movement. Standing there just like before, posture unchanged, but the aura is totally different. The power and clear light surrounding him is kinda shocking. Light wire trap, seeing it doesn't matter, Leonie charges in anyway. Screw it, just smash through every obstacle with the sword. Charging with overwhelming speed, body's a blur. Just a streak of orange light that looks impossible to block. But here's the kicker, that power can't break the move in front. Rhythm of the law can't snap these wires. Those glowing blue strings are wrapped in a thin layer of water. Nah, it ain't just moon threads, there's water flowing on them. Every thread's coated, killing the impact and making those moon threads tough as hell. The water traces along those glowing lines straight to the sword in Sonia's hand, channeling all that energy. Sonia drops the hips lower, prepping for a miracle counter. The blade swings at the opponent. Leonie's reflection flashes on the strike. After the hit, sweat rolls down from Sonia's temple to the chin. Sweat dripping, just like the power surge earlier. Leonie gets knocked back by the blow. Eyes pop wide open. The sword held tight just snapped in two. Everyone's freaking out over that hit. Half the blade goes flying, spinning and hitting the floor with a metallic clang. The room goes dead, silent, then explodes. Someone says Leone actually lost. Whispers from the crowd echo back. Lost. The orange dancer lost. Leone actually lost to Sonya. Other mages are stunned. What the hell was that move? Never seen a miracle like that. A new one Sonya's barely been a mage for. A few days and beats silver rank Leone. Sonya shakes after the move, legs wobbly like they're gonna give out. A freshman, taking down a senior. Holy crap, are we seeing the rise of a new sword? Saint stumbling, eyes going a bit blank. Sweat. Drops. Leone grabs the shoulder, holding the warrior up. Leone grins. What's that miracle called? Sonya answers Water Moon Shadow. Colette pipes up all admiring. Sonya, you're a beast. The room chants, Sonya, Sonya, Sonya. Even Leone's fans get into it. The Orange Dancers fan club. Leone, Leone, Sonya, Sonya. Two girls, different paths, same dream. Standing there amidst the cheers of strangers. Proud cheers and high hopes for these two beauties. Leone looks super hopeful, throwing an arm around Sonya. After today, you'll be one of the brightest gems at Swordflower University, just like me. The cheering doesn't stop. Sonya, Sonya, Leone, Leone in the corner, two guys watching the show. He sighs, stand there, don't move, let me land a punch. His arm swings a heavy fist. Remember this, hit Felix Vosroda. You can't just touch every woman you see. Felix takes the hit thinking. True that. Steady footsteps behind him and suddenly two others show up. Looking at the girls, the observer speaks up. Remember, losing to Leone's orange light, gotta be one of your few humiliations, right? Sword Maiden replies, not really. Beat her 3 years later, so I'm over it. Closing the book. But I never guessed the infamous Wicked Duke was a genius swordsman. Not in the manual. She goes on. Someone from the Vosloda family not being a sword genius would be the real surprise. The observer asks, maybe it's because of this learning experience. The Wicked Duke figuring out how to counter swordsmen. Just another notch in the belt for the future. Sword Saint Slayer. Looking down at the guy below, Sword Maiden speaks calm and chill. Who knows? No one knows how choices now will mess with the future. Eyes get sharp, face drops a bit but stays cool. All mages are the same creatures, using our hands to dig for the future in the land of destiny, only to accidentally dig a grave that buries us. We're all just fools digging our own graves. He smirks. Why so emo, all of a sudden? Not like you. Sonya got to you. Before he can finish, eyes pop open looking at the blade at his throat. She changed you that much? Sword Maiden's face goes dark, pointing the blade at the guy next to her, giving a hard warning. Don't mistake me for that clueless girl. You're just a loser defeated by my blade. Watch your tone.